Based After Dark.
All right, welcome to Based After Dark number 30. With our today we have myself, Ignoble Solid, along with some of our other fellow usual hosts, Mr. Prison Joe, Mr. Qneeks, Mr. Tasty Life, the one and only T Papa, who's still a hardcore.
It's definitely
and
29,
Zoe.
by the way. I was like, I swear it was 29.
Is it?
Is it 29?
No shot.
We leave
such
that.
confidence,
And
dude. I
you
was like,
literally
nah.
fucking ripped me
Number
for my
30.
intro. He called my intro low energy, and then he says the wrong date, says the wrong wrong number.
We leave it
and
for sure, though.
Oh, come on. Okay, fine. Number
you got to.
29.
It's too late now. We already pressed record.
It's too late. Yeah, we already
we're
did it.
going.
Nah. Good
Today
morning,
we have
Saeder,
a very
welcome.
special return guest, Mr. Saeder, or Mr. Saeder. Welcome.
Thank you.
Woo!
I'm very excited to be on, and I'm very impressed by your guys' consistency with the Base After Dark podcast. It's been really enjoyable to listen to. Most episodes, most.
We've came quite a
Pretty
way.
much all of them.
You see, we like
Pretty much all of them.
when you were here last time, we definitely didn't do any formal introduction. So
Yeah, we just fucking
We've,
It's nice
We've
though
improved on
sometimes just
that.
going into something. I think it's
Yeah.
refreshing.
we did that through criticism. Somebody said that we should a lot of people were saying we should do it. It's just good to do. Just a little basic, just so people know who's on the podcast before we start saying crazy shit. Which I
I
think is a
do
good
like
idea.
the cold open sometimes, though. Like, it's good
Yeah.
to mix them in.
Yeah, I think that would be.
my
Mine is
head-
just boring.
In my head, when I was saying that, I'm just like
No.
trying to channel my inner Saeder, just be like, "All right, welcome,
yeah, you know,
guys."
all right.
Like,
What I want to
Right.
see, I've just been waiting. I've been waiting for somebody to just get a compilation of every single intro and just see how low energy. Because almost every YouTuber, you go back to their old videos, it's just low energy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Mhm.
And then by the end, they're just bouncing off the wall. So if you were to just get a compilation of it, you would just see this lift from depression almost. And every single one's the exact same too, except for the first.
Funny.
all right, I'm just gonna get into it then. Tasty, you know what, dude? All right,
Rip
fine.
it away.
Dude,
I had
Saeder.
zero substance.
Okay. Saeder, last time we had you on, you looked like you were living in a dark, dingy basement. And now, if you look at your camera, I don't think the viewers can see it, but if you zoom out, there's plants in the back. There's a fucking candle on the dresser.
Are
Your
those real
bed
plants?
is made.
Yeah, real plants.
Bro,
No
Saeder
way.
fucks.
this motherfucker hung out with one girl that had energy crystals in her room. Now look at him, dude.
Yeah,
Look at him, bro.
Somewhere, bro. Like, goddamn.
You look
The
like
whole
you're
setup
dating
is
a white
Zodiac.
girl with tattoos on both arms. It works in a library or some shit, and she changed your entire perspective. Sorry, Zoe.
It's okay.
That's a compliment. That's a compliment.
Sorry.
This is
No,
good
this-
profiling. This is good profiling, Zoe.
Man.
This is
All
possible.
right. Anyways, how's the new room?
Well, thank you.
What
I'm
sparked the
glad you.
change?
I'm glad you guys have noticed. No, a lot of changes have actually taken place this year, and yeah, I guess mushrooms is the biggest reason. I can't. Genuinely,
Oh
they've
my
changed my
gosh,
life.
I need to try them, bro. What the heck?
Yeah.
Okay.
Should I go take a nibble right now, honestly, for the Sebe cast?
Whoa, allegedly.
Allegedly, you
Allegedly
should
taking
probably.
it.
Is that your bed behind you?
I'm
So
still
is
in.
it-
I'm still in the same room. Believe it or
Is
not.
that a queen or is
Wait,
it just like a
what?
twin bed?
No
It's a
way.
twin XL.
You're in
Wow,
the
okay.
same
I have.
room.
I have literally rotated my chair 90 degrees. I mean, I
Oh,
used to
so-
sit right
okay,
here with
okay.
my desk there, and I was facing this wall right here.
The desk was perpendicular to the wall.
Oh.
You should have
And-
told people that you bought a new house. Like everyone would have believed you.
It looks so different.
Yeah. Oh, it's completely different.
I thought you did move. No? Sorry. to
I
interrupt.
was
He's
planning
going
on
to, yeah.
moving. There was a lot of. I was planning on moving back in April to my brother's new house. He bought a home out here. Now he's flipping it because a lot of stuff changed. But I was gonna move in, and the house kept getting delayed, and I was literally just waiting to leave. So it felt like we were just here in this apartment, and there was no real reason to make any changes because I was just gonna leave anyway. And I just ended up staying in the same, I don't know, layout of my room where I really wanted to change it, but I was like, I'll just wait until we get into the new apartment. And then it was like June, August, September, October. And eventually we weren't even going to move in until late October. And then by that point, we just all, I don't know, long story, but it just didn't end up happening. But now I am going to be moving to Oregon, which I'm very excited about.
Which is tight. Love
Woo.
Oregon.
Hell yeah.
Did you
And-
reorganize your whole room?
Oh yeah.
Or just the desk? Isn't
Bought
that
new
fun?
things, threw
Isn't
away
that,
a bunch.
That's
Oh,
a
it
good
was
feeling. I
it
love
was
doing that.
therapeutic, man. It was
Yeah.
amazing. Yeah.
So it was all the shrooms that made you just like turn your entire life around, is what you're trying to say?
It wasn't all that. Now, I had already realized I was in a bad place last year. I was overweight. Well, I technically not overweight, but on the very, point of getting overweight, and I realized that, and I wasn't doing anything about it. And that was just playing RuneScape a lot, having really no aspirations outside. Like, obviously I wanted to do things, but I just, because of my horrible habits, I just pretty much camped in my room. And yeah, so this year I made a lot of actual resolutions, not just fake shit to just say stuff, like, oh, I'm gonna do this, but I actually did it. And so I lost a lot of weight. I started getting more active, and I just realized like I wanted to do more with my life. And then I did mushrooms, and it confirmed every single thing, and it opened my eyes to just so much more. And I don't want to like go into it because it's like I feel like it depends on people's mindsets when it comes to mushrooms, because I feel like people just see it as like a drug, but it has actually like healed me internally and like everything. So yeah, anyway, so that all led into that, and then because of my experiences with mushrooms, that has just exponentially like propelled me, and it also just convinced me to go to Oregon. So now I want to go to Oregon. And yeah, but a lot of changes. So
It has nothing
It's-
to do with the fact that shrooms are legal in Oregon or anything.
it's got a
Wait,
little
are they
bit.
legal?
Yeah.
Let's fucking go.
I think decriminalized.
They're
Yeah, yeah.
decriminalized,
Same
but they're
thing.
legal in like medical use.
Dude, doesn't it
Damn,
suck
you
so
get a
bad that
mushroom
like
card?
no matter how good of an idea you have while you're on mushrooms, if you tell someone you were on mushrooms while you had that idea, they're just gonna
Yeah.
think you're fucking crazy.
I'll,
Even if it's the
uh,
best idea you've ever
yeah.
had.
Unless they've done mushrooms themselves, then they'll
Yeah.
empathize with you and realize like you're right. But yeah.
Yeah, I mean, as someone who has done a good amount of psychedelic drugs in my past, like they're definitely a pretty powerful tool. Like you can go out and just do them as drugs and like have fun with your friends. But I feel like I've said this before, and I know other people like kind of think this, that it doesn't necessarily change your mindset, but it's kind of like a catalyst. Like if there's a seed of an idea somewhere in your head, then it kind of brings that forward a little bit quicker. Whether it's, healthy habits or potentially schizophrenia, but like, same thing.
I mean,
Yeah.
everybody has a different
Same
experience
idea.
with it. So I was going to tell you too, if you're moving out there, I wouldn't worry about legally speaking. It's not really something that, at least in my experience, that law enforcement are looking for is mushrooms. So I think you're good. By the way, you're good to go.
Yeah, and
I
they're-
wouldn't worry too much about it unless you have a large amount. You should be fine.
Yeah, and if you're doing criminal activity under an influence, that's a completely different story, Like if you're pulled over
be
for
good.
reckless driving and you're on shrooms, like yeah, no shit, you're gonna. But no, I think like initially I saw them more as just I don't know, I didn't even do mushrooms until September. But I had wanted to, and I had like a little bit of a experience with them. It was a very light dose where I barely even noticed anything. But I just wanted to like I don't know, everyone says like, oh, if you take this, you're gonna explore the galaxies basically, and like that just sounded fun because when you do fucking nothing with your life, just anything just sounds great. And so I was like, yeah, I want to do mushrooms, like that sounds fun. And then I did it, and the first time was the horrifying. I mean, truly the most fearful I've ever been in my life. Of course, it was just like in the pure euphoria, but pure fear as well. And there's a long story to it. Anyway, but after that I realized, oh, this isn't a drug you're supposed to abuse. It's something that is like a tool, and taking high doses, you don't really get that benefit. It's the low doses where you can truly break free of like past trauma and open your eyes to new possibilities and new ideas and things that you have never considered. But it takes you, and it takes effort. It takes like it takes open-mindedness, and you need to be able to let go of everything, because any bad trip that you can get is because of you. You're causing it on yourself for not letting go. It's like the most therapeutic thing because it allows you to let go, and it almost like holds your hand as you let go of things, and it just makes you more of like a pure person if you're willing to. Of course, people can just do it as like a party drug, but that's not how I see them.
Would you say your first trip was a bad trip or what?
My first trip was I took 5 grams What? Yeah.
Who let you do that?
That's a big number.
All right, well, yeah,
And
that'll
keep in
do
mind,
it.
I had never done. The only thing I had ever done is like
Holy.
weed, you know. So I had no idea what a
Holy
psychedelic was.
Yeah.
Damn,
I was
Saeder off the
looking up-
mushroom.
I
Yo,
looked up
QNeek's past the
videos
vape, bro.
I looked up videos online and I was like, oh, people say 5 grams the heroic dose. That's where you like get ego death and shit. And I'm like, let's do that. And you know what? The word bad trip happened because I was scared for his safety when we were peaking. And I was completely out of it. And there was a part where like I had like my ritual down. He had really no idea what he was doing, but he wanted to do it. I had done a lot of research on it, the minimal research I had done at the time, now since so much more. But I went into it with a completely different mindset. Like I wanted to feel more spiritual, I guess, and he just saw it as like I just want to get fucked up. And yeah, so halfway through, he's like, pants down, crying, yelling stuff, trying to leave the front door, and I'm like in my bed trying to like chill to some music, and I'm just singing that. And then that's when the bad trip started spiraling out of control. I remember I was eating raspberries and like listening to music, and he was doing his own thing. I thought he was like fine, but he was not fine. And so these raspberries, I was eating them, and you know how there's like seeds in raspberries? I thought I was eating my teeth. I genuinely thought I was eating my teeth, and then I'd look at my hand and there's raspberry juice on it. And I was like, I am actually like tearing up my mouth right now, like uncontrollably. Like I'm not even trying to, but my teeth are breaking. And then I remember looking at, he came in and he was just like so loopy and his face was like melting and stuff. And I remember having the really distinct thought. I was like, okay, like I've permanently put both of us into psychosis. Like we are both fucked permanently and it's all my fault. And I actually thought, I got to like the worst deep part where I thought I was like in this eternal loop of just endless misery of just repeating the same horrible thoughts nonstop, and it felt endless, and I had no prior experience to this. So I thought I seriously fucked up and I ruined my whole life and my younger brother's life. Anyway, we got out of it and I was totally fine. I'm like, holy shit, like that, I was not expecting that. Prior to him, the spiraling out of control was him approaching the front door at night, pantsless. And of course he didn't go outside. I held him back from it. I just like pretty much was trying to calm him down for like the next 2 hours. But before that, I was in pure euphoria and pure just like energy and wisdom and just all this amazing stuff. But man, those polarizing effects it can be very traumatic. So luckily I didn't traumatize myself that much, and after that I've used it a lot more responsibly. And it's been absolutely the most amazing thing ever. Like unbelievable, indescribable. And the best part is, for those that don't know, is it's not an addictive substance. It's actually like anti-addictive. It's stopped me from using other things, and it's helped clear my mind up and like be more healthy and realize what I'm putting in myself. It's amazing. It's like a miracle drug. It's a damn shame that it's like criminalized almost everywhere. But I think with new research coming out, it's going to get a little bit more. Anyway, so it sounds like I'm almost advocating for mushrooms. I am. I'm obsessed with them. I think
I was like, spent the first like 15 minutes
know.
just talking about how
I
awesome
think
shrooms
anybody
are.
that's ever dealt with depression where other medication hasn't done much, this can truly save your life. I mean, and
I'm
it's not
obsessed with
even
them
during
too.
the
I
trip.
just don't
it's
say
like
it out loud
afterward.
enough, but my friends know.
I mean, it's
So,
okay.
you're not
It's okay
alone.
to advocate for it. I mean, it's clearly made an impact on your life. Like we've all known you for a long time. Like we're just looking at you now. Like when you came in earlier, like damn, like Saeder looks good. Like Zoe's like damn, he's hot, and I was like yeah, he is. He's like he's it's
Don't out
definitely
me, bro.
changed
What
you,
the
and,
hell?
and that's okay. Like everybody uses a catalyst to forward their life, and if that's what it was for you, then that's what it is for you, and that's beautiful.
What was your experience, Zoe? Or do you not share?
No, I can share. There's actually, I shared something a while ago on the cast, related to streaming. Like I had one trip a few months ago when I was like really not enjoying streaming at all, and then I like tripped a little, sat in the shower, and kind of had a full turnaround. Which is usually when I use them as a tool, is when I'm just like stuck on something and I can't really figure out what the solution is, or even what the problem really is. I just like feel weird and feel stagnant, and I know I need to do something about it. And yeah, I was just having this time where I just like didn't enjoy streaming. I just wasn't having fun. I didn't really enjoy anything, to be honest, but like especially not streaming. And then yeah, the thought that changed it all, I think T Papa really liked this when I said it last time, was like, I don't need to enjoy every part of stream every time that I do it. I just need to find one thing to enjoy, whether it's the music, the game, the chat, something. Like just hang on to one thing. And then yeah, just that thought that like you can always enjoy at least one thing in the moment. Like not everything isn't always completely terrible. Yeah, I'm somebody who's like always had like really bad anxiety, depression, ADHD. And yeah, I went on medication for all of that recently, and it's been helping, but like the mushrooms help catalyze that a bit more, I think.
That was T Papa wisdom. That's T Papa spitting truth right now. That's good. That's good. I like that a lot.
That was on a podcast, wasn't he? He was talking about
No,
that?
I said
damn.
that. T Papa just
Oh,
liked it. He was like, damn.
I
okay.
was like, no way, T Papa's that smart.
Damn, dude.
I
You
keep
got
those secrets. I like everyone else depressed. It elevates myself. I
that's
have more
obviously-
ideas.
That's facts. That's facts, though. I see what you're saying.
So true.
That's true. I definitely do that too. Try and just find one thing, especially with streaming. Like if something's going bad, focus on something else. Because sometimes the chat is better and you're not enjoying the game that much, and sometimes you're enjoying the game and not really too worried about the chat. It just depends on the day. So
Yeah.
I like that too.
On the flip side, I will say, like I've always liked doing them like by myself or like with a friend, like in a small group. I may or may not allegedly have tried them before the Saturday party at TwitchCon, which was a bad idea. By the end of the night, I was like, I need to hide from everybody.
I would assume you felt overwhelmed. There was a lot of.
It was just
people.
overwhelming, yeah. And there
Some
were, like,
who were not invited. Sorry.
Well, that's the thing. There were like two people there. There were like two people there that I wanted to avoid just because of like past things, which like wouldn't have been a big deal normally, but like because
me.
I was under that influence, I kind of was like, where are they? Like, I don't want to get like trapped to talk to this person. You know what I mean? So yeah, not
It's
a
like
social drug.
It's definitely set and setting. I'm definitely more I want to do it alone. I do not want to feel responsible for anybody. So absolutely I will never trip with anybody else. Like that's just a rule I've made in my mind. I'm like just absolutely not. Like the potential for absolute spiraling out of control without your like consent is just fucked up. It's awful.
Not
so.
even me.
It depends on the person because I've only done it with people that have treated it more like just like to party and just to like spew out their gross stuff. I'm in it for more like purity, I guess. I know it sounds weird. It's difficult to explain as well if you've never done it, but.
Well, I'd say like I would say it's definitely possible. I'll give you my experience. I did it a few times when I was in college, and the first couple of times was that party, like let's try this, let's get crazy. And it wasn't really that great of a time. And then there was a time where it was some of my best friends were all good vibe together. None of us have issues with each other, and we all did it together. And we were just in a calm, controlled setting, and then it was a really good experience.
Yeah.
So I think
all the setting.
You hit it on the head with the setting and who you're doing it with is definitely important.
Don't people go to like Joshua Tree with on shrooms or something like that? Is that like the place? I forget. Something like that. Or am I just making things up?
Yeah, Joshua Tree. I've known people that have done that.
That sounds cool.
Yeah.
I wouldn't go to like I wouldn't go like camping and do mushrooms. I'd be like near a building, and then like if there's a forest nearby.
Yeah.
Like
If I was like an outdoorsman, maybe, but I don't be outside like that, so I'd be tripping probably.
Being out,
last thing you want to do is go 4 trees deep and lose your fucking tent. Like,
Yeah, a bit of glamping maybe. Maybe a little glamping trip.
Yeah. You have
I
like
will-
a tether to your tent.
So one of the things, one of the reasons why my room looks like this now, and I actually like made it look nice and presentable, is because it makes your whole trip just so much better if you're in a clean environment and things are organized. I mean, I deep clean for literally 6 hours straight on a trip. I just deep clean the entire apartment. I've done that multiple times. Just you see anything and you just want to clean it, and you have the biggest smile on your face, and you're just loving life. And you just see life, and you see things that are like unorganized, and you're like, okay, like let me work on this, and you just do it, and you're just, it's amazing. It's so cool. And so now it's kind of translated to my like sober life where I see things differently. I clean up after myself every time. It's changed habits. It's weird. Oh, it's weird, you know.
Sounds like
'Cause
such a positive
you don't think a
experience.
trip would like remain outside, but you really can stick with like the habits that you build.
I want to
Mushrooms
do
are
shrooms.
cool.
Yeah,
I
holy
want to
shit.
like. I've
Has
never
everybody
done
here
them.
done shrooms except T Papa?
Yeah.
I haven't done shrooms either.
No, I
What?
haven't. And it sounds like I fucking need to. I've definitely
No.
been in a darker place lately. That shit would be nice as hell.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's
If you
it
get QD
takes you out
sucked
of
up,
anything
it could be
dark.
good.
Yo,
Give
Saeder,
yourself
for
credit,
Christmas,
though.
can
Our
you just
living
like
room will
send
be
us all
cozy, don't worry.
shrooms for Christmas, just in the mail? Thanks.
That is not
Yeah,
a good idea.
absolutely
One,
not.
and I would definitely say to give yourself some credit too, because like you said, you're building that habit yourself at the end of the day. So you can't attribute it all to that. It's definitely you too.
Oh yeah,
True.
and I know that things were already happening before was even introduced, which is a nice thing as well. Knowing that I was already on a path beforehand, it gives me more confidence that it's not just like a substance that's causing all this. Um, and I will say, like you were talking about, like being near a building or something, being outside is the most glorious thing you'll ever experience. Like you see trees and they're like waving at you. They're like, "Hey," they're like, "Hey there,"
Yeah.
and I'm like, "Hey man, like what's up?" It's just like it's absolute
That's my
bliss.
friend.
It's absolute bliss, and the just moving your body as well. If you're stagnant in a place or if you're sitting in a room the whole trip, you are going to some weird places unless you get up and move and breathe and get some fresh air. So again,
Have you
yeah,
have you
Yeah, go for
experimented
it.
with exercise or no?
Dude.
Experiment.
dude, I
Yeah, what?
went.
No,
I
there's
run-
people. I know people who use mushroom-based
Oh.
substances
Oh,
when
with
they
them.
I thought you just meant like,
Yeah.
have you like
General.
No,
experimented?
Yeah.
no.
Hey, bro, you ever done a
Absolutely
bench
not.
press? You ever hit
Burn
that
the
bench press?
calories.
I knew-
Bro,
I knew-
listen,
I
I
knew
should
what
have
you were
prefaced
saying.
that with the mushroom. Yes, sorry.
No, okay, so we're gonna be talking about mushrooms for a while, I feel like, but we can
That's
move on to
okay.
another
That's
topic.
great.
No.
I will say-
I'm
This
so
is your
stoked.
cast.
This
This
is
is
the
good
most
comp.
excited I've been on a cast in
Yeah.
a long time. I am like, I am giddy right now. Like,
So,
dude,
No, get
the
up there.
I'm literally texting my dealer right now. It's like, hey, what you got?
I just texted my sister.
so
Allegedly.
Oh my
Papa gonna show up in
gosh.
in a suit next podcast.
it really is. So let me just also preface very heavily that it takes a willingness to let go of things. Like you have to be willing. If you're too prideful and your ego's too high and you're not willing to just accept what it's going to do, it's not going to be as amazing. It's not going to be as like medicinal, I guess. But exercise, like Prison Joe, because you said that, I remember the first time I went for a walk. First of all, you feel this absolute purity in your body where you can feel every single muscle in your body like simultaneously. At least for me, this is my own experience. You start feeling things. You breathe more controllably. You feel every single like breath in and out, and you feel your like muscles getting oxygenate or whatever the word is, having oxygen just flow through your body. I nailed it, yeah. But then I remember taking my first step running, and this was like a few more trips in, and I was outside, and I ran for like 6 miles, and it was.
Beast.
And keep in mind, when I'm sober, I can run like 3 miles and I'm like out of breath or I just want to stop. I'm just like, this is fucking awful. But I ran for 6 miles just straight and I had the biggest grin on my face the entire time. And I felt like I could have gone for so much longer. It's like, and it's not like a dangerous thing
That's
either.
wild.
Like, it's not like you're like, oh, your body's actually like deteriorating. No, you actually feel way more pure than you do in a sober state. And it feels absolutely incredible on all your muscles. It's like your muscles are just like thanking you, like thank you for moving us, basically. It's so strange, but it's amazing. And
That's why I asked.
Makes
I've heard multiple very similar experiences, like literally like almost word for word how you just explained it. So that's why I asked.
it's unbelievable. It's just so good. And it just
I ran on mushrooms one time, just once. I felt like I was going a million miles an hour. I felt like I was going
feels
so
good.
fucking fast.
It
I was
feels
like,
good.
go through a tunnel, dude.
PEDs.
And it's like it's like your legs feel as though they're really heavy in a way, but they're the lightest thing ever. It's so strange. It's like Mithril from Lord of the Rings, you know? Like Mithril. No, but straight up, like you just feel this energy, and it's like boundless. It's just like I can keep running. What's stopping me? You know, just keep running. It's insane. It's weird.
There's something that you learn in yoga, which is that like discomfort is just sensation, and I feel like mushrooms really kind of like hammer that in, because like even the discomfort is still enjoyable because you're just enjoying feeling something different, you know.
That's running too. I'm telling. I think that running is almost, if not 50%, probably maybe 60% mental. When it comes to like running, it's a very, it's a very difficult mental battle.
I just wish it wasn't so fucking boring. I'd do it more.
I don't think it's boring. I think it's just hard.
If you live somewhere beautiful, it's really nice.
That's nice,
that
but
would be
people will
nice.
do anything to avoid just going outside and running. Or they'll fucking whatever aerobic exercise. They'll do anything possible to avoid running, just because it's tough. I mean, it really taxes your body.
It's so good for it though.
It is. It is.
Oh yeah,
no, it is.
If you're gonna
It's
go
fun.
back in time,
Do not do that.
how much would you do? Like what if if you were trying to have a great first time experience?
2 grams.
One. I'll
2
take
grams.
1.5. 1 to 1.5.
Maybe
I will
2.
say, like, just it's your first time. You have to understand this is something completely different. If you've never experienced psychedelics, it is something you can't even describe. So, like what Zoe said, 1 gram.
I wanted to do it for so long. I just have like so many questions though. So like you need a trip sitter, and like how long until you were
You're
back
married.
at streaming? Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. Like I got to time up. I got to time up my day off with Annie's day off.
And she's a
so,
nurse.
I know
That's
it's
perfect.
pretty. I got a pretty good situation here. So
Yeah.
let's dial it in, okay? Let's.
We're
Like,
Did you, like
for
when
base
like
together, so
I
we
was
can
trying to
just,
get I want to hear what T Papa said. Like how if you did it during your streaming time, which you said around September of last year, how many days
this
away
year.
from? Oh my God. So how many
Yeah, it's like
days
3
away
months
from
ago.
like streaming? Yeah, did you take? Like
Yeah,
did you
did
take
you-
a little sabbatical?
It's not like that.
Well, I had taken a week off of streaming anyway, and that was for my own. I talked about it on the Tasty Prison Joe cast. I was taking a hair loss medication, and it was making me depressed. Like it was completely ruined. It was messing with my hormones, and I didn't even realize it. So there was a lot going on mentally, and I needed a break regardless. And the mushrooms definitely were like during that break. I wanted to do it because it was just lined up conveniently. But really, the trips last about 6 hours. The afterglow, probably another like 2 hours until you're just really back. And so, yeah, you pretty much need to like not do anything for like 8 hours.
That's it. Okay.
I would just take a day. I'm usually
Yeah, you
like,
don't want to. You
super high
don't. You don't
for
even
4
want to
hours.
have any obligations because
Does it feel like a day off though? Because like, do I want like okay, so like say I have one day off a week where I just like chill, like do I also want like my day off to chill, or is that like a good chill day too? Or am I gonna be like,
It's
dang, I gotta
perfect.
go? Yeah.
it'll be the chillest of days.
There's
It'll
only
be
one way to
amazing.
find out,
All right.
Yeah.
Also, I will
Where do we
say-
go?
It's not like I feel like people that smoke a lot of weed think that like all drugs make you feel that high, but shrooms is not one of them. It's like for the most part, other than like the tripping part, pretty sober. You know what I mean? It's like
Yeah.
still very clear-headed, all things considered. You're not like
Mhm.
you're not like on fucking tranquilizers or anything. Like
Well,
you're
yeah.
still like very much with it. You know?
One
Way to put
like
it.
1 gram or 1.5, even up to 2, I would say, is just you're actually in more of a clear headspace than you've probably been in a while. But they're just thoughts that have come up that haven't been there before, and you just judge things a lot more purely. It's the only
Yeah.
word I can describe. It's strange.
Yeah.
There's
If
very
you
little
take,
like
like, a-
cloudiness that would give you a hangover.
If
And
you
you
take
will
a
not
really low
sleep.
dose,
Your
take like
heartbeat
1 to 2
increases.
grams. It feels like weed, except you're not stupid. Like that's kind of what it feels like. Not exactly, but you
The
can only figure
gl-
out one way.
There's like a glow as well, is what I call it. Like, I feel like I don't know, you'll have to tell me yours, Zoe, but like when you come up, it's always exciting. It's always a little bit nerve-wracking. I'm like, okay, like did I take too much? Like, did I do this right? And then after about 2 hour mark, you're like, why was I ever stressed? Like, why was I ever like feeling nervous about this? This is like where I don't know if you've done other trips in the past, you're like, oh, I'm back to like this amazing plane where everything makes sense. You see things better. It's really cool, but the come up can be a little rough occasionally for people and nauseating. I would recommend
I
fasting.
get really bad nausea, yeah.
I don't, luckily, but I always
I
fast.
just always am nauseous anyway, so it, it
Hot
doesn't
girl
help.
tummy problems, yeah.
Yeah, just
Saeder, I got 2 questions. One,
Yeah.
do you think you could reach that same plane like in your mind if you just did something else like in a sober way, like consistent meditation or something like
Yes.
that? Okay.
Yes. I would say so. Actually, I listened to a Sam Harris video where he was talking about his trip, and then afterward, like, that's where you can really get deep into meditation. Now, I'm not a great meditator, but I've definitely incorporated waking up at a stable time most of the time, like at 7 a.m. I'll wake up and I will just sit and without my phone or anything, and I'll just sit for 5 to 10 minutes and just think of what I want in my life, which is like in the future, what I really aim for, how I want things to go, where I value happiness. And I will just think on that for 5 or 10 minutes. And then I don't do those stupid habits that I used to do years back where it's like wake up instantaneously, like, is McDonald's breakfast open? Like, holy like, oh my God, this is happening on Twitter. Like, oh, this like shit. And it's just this bad way to start your day. You know what I mean? So the meditation, I'm not great at it. I'm trying to work on it. But yeah, every day, if you can just sit, but meditation has become great because I've had mushroom trips. And so I can like recall those moments where I'm like, oh yeah, yeah. So meditation's fantastic, though. I didn't think it was anything until afterwards.
Dude,
Yeah.
meditation is hard. Like, I
It's
don't think
very
people
hard.
realize
Really
how hard it is to actually meditate for 10 minutes. It doesn't sound like that much time, but like sitting there and just like not being distracted for 10 minutes. When I tried to do that once for class in college, because I took a yoga course and we had like homework to go and meditate. And I was like, whatever. I went home and I tried it and I was like, holy fuck. Like, I need to stop watching so many YouTube videos, dude. Like,
Yeah.
what the hell is going on?
yeah.
This
Dude,
stuff.
TikTok and Twitter has like burned my brain because I feel like I'm in that boat where
it's
like
so bad.
Saeder's
It's
telling me
so
it's like the
bad.
first thing I wake up and it's like, okay, I just start like scrolling or sit at my PC without just like thinking. It's just instinctual habit. You're just like, why am I doing this? Why am I getting inundated with information when I could just, slowly work up to my day?
I think too, a lot of people like don't understand the purpose of meditating. I think obviously the shrooms help a lot because you kind of realize how much of your life is just controlled by your thoughts and how much of a change you can make just by like changing really simple things in your brain. I think that a lot of people think that meditating is just trying to quiet your brain, just trying to stop thinking, which can be the case. And that's like very much the hard part. But I think that, people don't know that setting intentions is the thing that really like makes a difference if you're trying to like move forward with meditation and actually have it make like some sort of difference in your life.
And you
It's just
brought up a
pretty
good
powerful.
point of like your mind creates narratives your whole life. And as soon as you've done one trip on like a good setting trip, that narrative will start breaking down powerfully. Like it's just like, dude, everything you've thought, everything you've built up, all your ego, your pride, you think you're the fucking best at something, you're not. Like you're literally
And you don't
like
want to be the best
humble
at
yourself.
something. It doesn't matter.
Yes, you just
It's
need
like
to
you
let
just live
go
such
of
a
it.
superficial life until, you realize that none of it really matters.
Yeah.
That's factual.
And I think it's easy for a lot of us, especially, being in, fucking high scores in RuneScape, streaming, YouTube, all this stuff. It's really easy to get caught up in things that are superficial. Like at the end of the day, nobody fucking cares. It doesn't matter.
No.
Like it's nice to be successful, obviously, and you're allowed to have goals that, you set for yourself that you want to reach. But like I've kind of changed my goals instead of being like from being numbers or being better than other people to being like, I want to be fulfilled in this. I want to feel happy in this. I want to be proud of what I did in this, which to me is like much more tangible and much more, well, it's less tangible, but it's more realistic and more healthy than setting like number goals or anything like that.
Oh, that's a great take. I think when we touched on it too, when me and Max were on there, just like how life, I mean, just a snap and it's over, And I think you really should focus on more so leaving an impact. Setting goals is great, like Zoe said, but at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter. A lot of the superficial things she was talking about.
You also realize other people matter. A lot of people already know that. Some people don't. But you just start caring about what others have to say. And it's also, I don't know, at least for me personally, I just realized like nobody chooses to be who they are. You know you know what I mean? Like we're all just born like without our consent. You know what I mean? And like
ask to
nobody
be born,
Yeah,
motherfucker.
good point.
no, like
I didn't choose to be born.
yeah, like nobody decided that like I want to be in this part and like I want to be this guy. And so I had an amazing experience where I just realized like everyone's just who they are. And of course you can be whoever you want, but like you didn't decide where you were born and how your childhood was. And so you gain, if you're willing, a lot of empathy for a lot of people because you just realize nobody chose that. They didn't choose to live, you know, like they didn't choose to be born in that family at
Every
that
day I
time.
look in the mirror.
Yeah, Jesus, dude.
So
Right. Sure,
it
buddy.
can just give a lot more empathy and a lot more like perspective to things, which is nice. Again, you come back to reality and you kind of start forgetting it, but you can meditate on it, which I've been
I wanted
trying to do.
to touch on you said narratives earlier, like in your head. Is there anybody here that doesn't have an inner monologue?
What, like
Yeah, I mean,
Everyone
one
does.
is popping
Like,
all the
thoughts?
fucking time.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
Do you?
I have a
Is
working
there anybody
brain.
who
P-Pop have
doesn't
been
talk to
giggling the whole
themselves?
time.
yeah.
Is there anybody because I've met people who say they don't like talk to themselves in their head. Like I'm talking to myself all day in my head. I'm
yeah.
having a constant conversation.
What do you mean you don't talk to yourself? You don't think? What does that mean?
I think
Some people don't have an
Conscience?
inner monologue, like a
Yeah.
going
Yeah, like people who
inner
are just
monologue.
they're just doing life. They're not really like discussing. I like
NPCs, bro.
Yeah, like an NPC basically, where you because like every day I go through life, it's like after each task, I'm like talking to myself, like, okay, we did this. Like, should we do this or should we do this next? Which it's just the entire day. It's very complex, honestly, for me. That's why I was asking you guys, like, how complex is it for you, or do you just kind of go and wing it? Because I feel like that's NPC behavior is when you just fucking send the fucking day and you're not really having that you're not having
Yeah,
those constant conversation.
I feel like people that don't have an inner monologue definitely wouldn't be in this situation that we're in.
That's a good
But
point.
yeah,
That's a good point.
Yeah,
That's a good point.
to an
That's fair.
extent, there might be
I would
some
just see if there's any
content creators that
imposters in
don't.
here, man.
Oh shit,
Wait,
they
No,
got
I
speaking of
definitely
which,
have one.
can I pivot for a second? I
Go
saw a
ahead.
tweet the other day where somebody said that it's like people listen to themselves in their monitor when they stream. Do y'all do that? Do you
Yeah.
hear
Yeah.
yourself
Not.
talk in your
I
monitor?
do.
I can't do
I
that.
do.
What?
If I
You
don't
do?
hear my,
It's
if I
slightly
can't-
delayed.
mine's not. If
Mine's
you
not.
have it like run straight to your interface, like my headphones do, I can hear myself, and I like it because when I'm playing music, it helps me continue my train of thought. Because sometimes when I
Yes.
can't hear myself, I'm like, holy.
Especially when you play the music loud like me.
Yeah, I have
It
to
is
hear
good.
myself.
Shut that up.
My Xbox headsets have like had this feature since I was like 10, so like I couldn't imagine
just
losing
comfortable.
it.
That's
I
insane.
It
will
feels
say
so
this.
good.
Let me.
Yeah.
Well, here's
Help
the
me
thing.
shut
At
that up,
first,
'cause I don't know how loud I am.
it is very weird and off-putting because nobody likes their own. Do any of you like the sound of your own voice? Because I don't. Really
It's
like
kind of
mine.
grown on me.
No,
I'm
I
not gonna
think
lie.
about it.
It's-
I kind of like it now.
Depends.
I-
If it
It's a little
really
iconic
makes me get
sometimes.
mad.
No
I don't
lie.
hate
Same
myself
here.
anymore. You know, like
Honestly,
I can
I
watch my
feel
vlog
like
and be like,
I'm not
okay.
disgusted by it anymore.
Well, for content creation, I think it's important to be okay with your voice and like Zoe said, let it grow on you. Because mine, like, I used to hate hearing myself talk, and now I'm like, it kind of makes you cringe a little bit, but not nearly as much as it used to. Because like I remember being in school when like if you hear like a recording of you talking in a video or something, you just like it just that feeling of just all the confidence leaving your body as soon as you hear yourself fucking talk.
It is
Yeah.
weird hearing your own voice, man.
I want to say like I feel like with streaming I'm pretty good with it, but when it comes down to like the environment of being alone and like trying to record something, like I've tried to sit down and do YouTube stuff before, and I have, and every time I watch them back, I'm like, oh god. But like I could see a Twitch clip of myself and be like, that's a fire clip or like whatever, you know. So it's
Yeah.
I think it just depends on the environment too.
You
The
just can't
YouTube
overthink
voice
it when you
is
say it.
distinct from the Twitch voice. Like the YouTube
Yeah.
voice is something else you have to train. Like
True.
watch my
You have
first
to
ever
train it,
YouTube
yeah.
video. You're like, wow, this guy's a dweeb. This guy sucks. Like,
I think that right now
Yeah.
about you. So
hey
you know.
guys, I'm a max player who wants to hunt pets.
Nick, have
and go
you
for
ever had?
collection.
Don't even watch my first ramble. It'll my god.
I'm going back. I'm
We're
sorting
gonna-
I
by
go back. I
We're
go
gonna-
back.
date
on your
added.
guys'-
It is
No, I go
bad.
back on your guys'
What?
YouTube channels all the time to see like what it was like when
no.
you guys all the time. Like probably I don't know. I've watched both of like you, Tasty and Sabe. Like I watched your first videos for sure
Oh,
multiple
God.
I
times.
didn't even watch my own first
Yeah.
videos, bro. I just got those suckers out.
There definitely is a YouTube voice because when you're on stream and you see a clip, you're already high energy. But when you're starting a YouTube, it's like, all right, record. Like, let's get this right.
So hard.
Hello.
So hard.
Getting in the
You're just
zone.
monotone and it's awful.
Alright.
Are you ever in a
Almost-
call with someone and you're like, wait, sorry, I gotta mute for this clip real quick, and you're like,
Yeah.
okay, YouTube.
Yeah.
I got
So
a cool
awkward.
drop.
I hate it.
Going back to the music thing that Seth was talking about, like on stream, to me, the way I treat music is when my headphones are in, like
Bro, what
that
were you listening
shuts-
to yesterday? Let me stop you.
That was some sad boy
what
shit,
happened?
bro.
Okay, this man. Let me preface. This man was live at like 6 in the morning playing some like Blink 182 remix, like acoustic version. Like I was like, what is happening?
him
I
do
was
his
like, you
thing,
okay,
man.
bro?
I was like, Ignoble's going through a breakup, and I had no idea.
That's what I said, bro. I was like, are you okay? was
I
like,
got
"No."
divorced last night,
And like
bro.
a good friend, I said, hey, you want to do some hard mode Tom, make it better?
Dude.
I was kind of, I don't know. I was really out of it yesterday. I don't know how to describe it. I would set it on stream like multiple times, like my head. Like I was like feeling super hazy last night, and like, that's why like having the first 30 minutes of this conversation was just like super eye-opening for me because I'm like I need to do some things to get my head straight. and
Bro,
I'm-
listen, if you can't find it, you come down here. There's a lot of nice fields with a lot of nice cows that like to graze and produce products. So, you know, we can go find it if you want. It could be a good vlog. That'd be a great vlog. Actually, be
Yeah.
a good video. We can make that happen.
Cow tipping with ignoble solid.
We took random
tip the
mushrooms
cows.
we found in the
No,
forest.
don't tip the
No mushrooms.
Contrary to
grow
popular
on
belief,
cow
nobody
shit.
tips a cow. And
Yeah, I don't think
learned
I've
out the
ever
hard
seen that,
way when I was
actually.
younger, when me and my cousins actually tried to tip a cow over. And they are heavy as fuck, and they will also fuck you up. So do not fuck with a cow.
Yeah, cow tipping is like some
That's sick that you have that
1950s
experience.
shit. That's like before the internet. You tipped cows over, but now that we have that, like we don't
Yeah,
have to commit animal
Exactly. That's
cruelty,
what it
you
was.
know?
Yeah.
I didn't know about cow tipping until that movie, Cars, where people are always talking about like, oh, you know, that shit.
Cars?
Aren't you from the
Disney
South?
movie?
I live there now, but
Are there
I'm,
cows in cars?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they
they're
like
talking
the
about cow tipping.
tractors.
Yeah.
They
They-
go,
they
they
fall
like,
over,
honk their horns,
they get
and they
startled
like,
and shit.
They like fall back.
Oh, damn.
That's the only time I heard
Yeah,
of it.
bro,
I'm just
Papa
like,
knows.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry to interrupt your thought. Go
Me and
ahead, Bill,
Cuniques
what were you
love
saying?
cars, bro.
fair.
I'm sorry I
Fair.
derailed you.
No,
Go
you're
ahead.
good. But for me, like on stream, whenever I play music, I put the headphones in. That's my way of like shutting off my inner monologue and just like talking. You know, like when I'm on stream, if I take my headphones out, I hear my voice for a second. I'm just like, like what am I'm like my thoughts just hit me. Like I can't like say things, but like when I got the music playing, I can be just an absolute idiot, just say whatever just coming out of my mind. There's no like thinking involved. It just spits right out, you know. I don't know if anyone else feels that way.
That makes a lot of
That
sense,
makes-
Ignoble, because you really be saying whatever the fuck.
Dude, you really do. Sometimes I'm watching the Ignoble stream and he says something and I'm like, damn, I
Yeah,
won't even
well,
say that.
Exactly, bro. He has the most
Yeah.
non-threatening, like calm voice, and all of a sudden he's like, "Yeah, I'll suck on your fucking feet," and you're just like, "Whoa, where did that come from, bro?" Fucking.
Dude,
Yeah.
it's like,
I th-
it's like. Go ahead.
I was just gonna ask for the people that do listen to themselves back in their headphones when they talk. Do you guys ever feel weird when you have to record something outside of when you can hear yourself talk? Like I feel like for me, like doing like an IRL stream or like not even just like taking my headphones off and just talking right now feels fucking weird. Like just doing
Bro.
this.
Oh,
I
man.
think if you go back and look at my YouTube videos, like half of them I have the headphones on because I couldn't get in the right headspace, and half of them I have them off because I could like finally talk without being able to hear myself.
Exactly.
Nick,
That's a hard
if you
conditioning
can see,
thing.
like I know you've watched all the vlogs I did for the base TwitchCon. The very first vlog when I'm in my kitchen with the white hoodie on, trying
You're
to
like-
record that, bro. I filmed that. Every other video I filmed from that point on, it was a one take. But that first video took me. I couldn't get it out, bro. I literally could not get it out.
That's what I'm
And
saying.
it was so weird. I just couldn't. And then I hit the camera in my sink on accident. It was bad, man. It was like a good hour process. But I know exactly what
Okay.
you're talking about.
Cool. All right. I'm glad I'm not alone with that. I just gotta work through it, I guess.
Yeah, it's tough.
Okay.
Yeah, making actual YouTube guides and stuff which I've made, this recording myself, it takes forever. It's like I retry 8 different times to just get a certain. I have to literally type out what I'm about to say just to get it right because I'm trying to make a nice precise guide. Rambles are completely different though. It's just like talk, just like a stream. So
Dude,
that's where
I'm impressed by your rambles. Like I
too.
can't sit there
Thank you.
and just do like having a consistent string of thought about something. If I say something that's longer than 2 sentences, I have to write it down, and then I have to pretend like I'm not reading it. Like, yo, what's up, guys? Tasty. For
Welcome
like,
to
you know, like.
I don't even care anymore. I just let people think I'm reading. It's fine. It's fine. What are they gonna do? You want me to read, or you want me to be like, oh, blah, 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 blah. Like, well, you pick one. You know, you can't have both.
Making
The
it seem
rambles are
natural is
consistent
so
too.
hard.
That
Yeah.
shit's hard.
You're consistent with the rambles too.
they're
Very
really fun to
consistent.
make. And the
So
other,
good.
I want to tell you this
to,
later. Oh, sorry, go.
Yeah,
go ahead.
No, you go first.
I just wanted to admit to you that I listen to your rambles, but I do it in the shower. So I put you on in the the only time I listen to your rambles are butt ass naked. I will put you on in the shower up in the corner, and I just let you talk, and I just I'm usually in there. Sometimes depending on how good the ramble's going, I might be in there 30 minutes. I might be in there 10. Depends on what the fuck you're talking about. But
There's definitely a distinct ramble voice I do. That's not exactly. I try to go like full energy from the get-go. That's the biggest thing, is you just have to understand I'm gonna be yelling at my wall basically with my monitors. Like if I were to just set like a camera down and just see myself talk to my computer like a ramble, like it would be the strangest thing ever, just because of like the energy, you know, like no person does that.
Yeah.
But you just have to get into the mood with it, and you also just have to like it's something I've had to work on, and of course you see it like throughout the duration of like the rambles from 1 to now 130 some, but you just can't think of what other people are going to think of what you say. Did I make any sense right there?
No, I understand that, dude. Someone asked me in my chat the other day, like, do you ever like feel really weird that you're sitting alone in a room and like yelling to yourself? And I was like, in my 2 years of streaming, I have never once thought of it like that.
You should have banned that
Like,
guy.
I feel like I'm talking to you guys. Like, I don't know.
Bro, that's actually where like the Annie meme, like where she like I didn't want her on stream because I didn't want her to like come in the room and just see me talking to my computer. Like it was like embarrassing. Like, I closed the door. Like I'm home alone right now, right? So you can't see, but like my door is open. I don't care if anybody's in the house. This door is closed, and I lower the volume by 10% because like I can't imagine like what they're thinking about me.
Yep.
And it's my wife or my sister or like an immediate family member. But in my head, I'm like, man, they think I'm the biggest fucking loser in the world.
Yeah, we really are just talking to people in our little boxes.
Like,
I've had
imagine
quite
setting
a
up
few.
a camera. Yeah. Go ahead, Sally.
I've had it quite a few times where I'm like, is this maybe a dream? And like in my dream, I like thought of this chat, and like none of these people actually exist. They're just like saying the things that I want them to say
The
to
Truman
me in
Show?
my chat.
The last 2 weeks, I have just had like a mental. This is like the craziest podcast ever to be having. The last couple weeks, like all I've been thinking about is like, what is the meaning of life? Like, why are we here? Like, what is going on?
Dude,
like, I have no answers. I've had this conversation with all my family members. Like, not my mom, my dad, but like cousins, wife,
You're Mormon,
sister,
sweetie.
like.
You know the meaning of life.
I grew up that
I'm
way,
telling you, man.
My eyes are opening a little bit, and I'm just like, what? Like, if that's how I always thought, then like, what is everything? You know, it's just like,
Keep
oh
up,
my
man.
gosh.
Listen.
And now I have Saeder to say and be like, dude, this room saved me, and I'm like, oh my god,
dude.
And he'd get me more than anybody else, you know? Like, it's just
It's time. It's
I
time.
think our periods are syncing up, T-Pop, because I've been in the same headspace for the last 2 weeks.
Dude, I get into those headspaces, and I definitely, especially when I was working, like there's a lot of times some shit I'd see where I'm like, that would be having those like heavy late night, like a lot of times it'd be when I get up in the middle of the night to go pee. Sometimes that's why it would always hit me. I call it, the late night thoughts, thinking about existence, what's the point, and I'd always like bring myself in by thinking about focusing on leaving impact, not focusing on material. But like, my purpose is to leave some type of impact that is positive. Like even if it's in my little space of the world and fucking Tennessee bumfuck, whatever you want to call it, like focus on the impact. That's how I get past it, at least for me.
I need to just tell this to T-Pop because we both grew up Mormon, and dude, mushrooms will. Listen.
Bro. Okay, hold on.
Okay,
Dude, is the hair loss medicine that you're on finasteride?
Yes.
Oh my god, bro! Like I just started that like 3 weeks ago too.
Oh,
like
you
this
better
is
get
the
off of that
fucking
shit,
weirdest
bro.
podcast.
Dude,
You need to get off of that.
That should put me in the worst brain fog of my life, dude.
I would
Don't.
be very careful using that. Now, it doesn't affect everyone. I was one of the minority that was affected by it heavily. I literally went through some really like hellish thoughts. It was not good. But that's up to you. Obviously, do your research and stuff. But if you do start feeling any differently, like
it's so good to know. Like I had no idea. Like
what does it matter? Why are you taking it? Like if you go bald, it doesn't matter. Like she's still there. It's just fuck it.
I don't like life isn't only like I still want personal happiness with hair. Like what do you mean?
Facts. I respect that.
Let it go, man. I just want you to join me and taste.
You gotta love yourself, bro. You gotta love yourself.
We need a third member, bro, and you're looking like you want to join, dude. The next podcast, you're gonna be the third guy in a hat, bro. Like, you know,
I just noticed.
Yeah, we got. That's why Joe's on fucking Papa's dick about it.
sorry.
So,
I'm trying
like,
to get him to join.
The problem is with finasteride is if okay, so I'm just kind of directing this toward T-Papa. If you're like me and your whole life was seeing side effects of medication and never having had any side effects using almost any medication, you're almost just like, oh, side effects don't affect me, you know, because I'm a healthy individual. Like, this is going to be fine. And that's why I started taking finasteride. I was like, oh, like, there's obviously severe side effects, but, like, I'm just going to be one of those people that's fine because I'm pretty healthy. I started walking and stuff. Dude, it's, I would just be aware if you ever have any, like, depressive thoughts that you've never had before, like, you write it down.
Yeah, no
and see if it
depression.
gets
I've
worse.
had like all these since I started taking it, I've had all these weird thoughts just about life, liberty, the pursuit of happiness, and why we're here. You know, so
but finasteride literally alters your hormone profile.
It's
like
bad.
it interferes with your hormones, which are like you don't want to fuck with that much.
You
might
don't want
wanna
to.
start taking TRT.
I thought I did want to fuck with it. I thought I'd be fine. And I was not fine. So.
I was
Have you
on
had
it
Someone
for a
who's
few
taken
months
many
as well,
birth
and it was just
controls, like, oh my god.
Yeah, I don't know how women do it, honestly.
No,
Shout the
dude.
fuck out, women.
Honestly, it's
we
kind
don't
of
deserve
helped
it,
me
bro.
in a way because now whenever I get like it just when you're not depressed necessarily, you just feel fucking weird, like something's just off. Like I've just come to deduce that the vast majority of the time it's just some sort of chemical something, whether it's hormones, whether it's like, you know, serotonin loss, whatever. Like it all comes down to just chemicals. Like you will be fine. You just need to figure out what the fuck you need to do to balance it out, and it's going to be fine. That's helped me a lot. So, you know, I'm glad that I was, you know, 12 years old crying in my bedroom for a month straight. It's fine. It all
Yeah, you
worked
gotta
out.
find an alley. Maybe
yeah.
for T-Papa it is shrooms. Maybe it's not shrooms. You know. Or maybe it's some type of affirmation that you need.
God,
maybe
I
some
hope
type
it's
of maybe it's some type of experience. You know, you gotta everybody
Yeah.
like kind of find something to get out of that headspace because
You need the bright one.
been there.
That'll fix you, bro.
I
Tell
know,
you.
You just gotta
it
find
will.
something. Well, I'll just see this before you took the finasteride. Did you have an experience like this, or this is the first
Finasteride
time?
has had like no, so like I don't know how like you got it, but it's actually so easy to get on the internet. It's a prescription drug that you can get for like hair loss. There's so many websites that like you can just have like some really like
Just
it
some
was pretty
online
sketch.
doctor just be like,
Yeah, like, you just send a
take one
message, you're
photo
like-
of your head and you're good. Here you go, here's your
Exactly.
medicine.
So I did that. I had no information about it. I've actually been on it for like I think 2 or 3 months now. I was just thinking about it, and I had a doctor's appointment last week, and then he went through all of the potential side effects of it that I did not get from the website, and I was just mind blown. I had none of them. I haven't had any adverse effects that he told me or that you've mentioned, but like I had no idea. And it's just so crazy that I've had all these thoughts. Then you come in and you're saying like, yeah, I was on this medication for my hair. And I'm like, no shot. Like, what the heck is going on?
I had started at very end of May, so it was like pretty much the beginning of June, and I didn't even know I was experiencing anything. In fact, for like 4 months, I felt completely fine. But I noticed like a few things were off, but it was too hard to say. It was like, oh, maybe I'm just like really fucking high. Maybe I need to like stop vaping so much, or like maybe my diet wasn't great, or just something, or maybe it's just this is aging. I don't know what it was, but yeah, there was just after 6 months of it, almost 6 months of it, that was when it was like, okay, this is very apparent that this is horribly affecting me. I had like no motivation to do anything. Loss of motivation. I would just be like, what's the point of doing fucking anything? I would just get really depressed, and then I'd be on these like really nice health streaks, and then I'd be like, fuck it, I'm reordering DoorDash, just order like a ton of Thai food and just like eat 7,000 fucking calories a night and just wake up and just like, what the fuck is wrong with me? And like, it was bad. Like truly, it's not something to mess with. Again, it doesn't affect everyone, but it is doing something to your hormones. You know, does things to hormones. So
I'm gonna jump
be
on the
aware.
train here with you, Saeder. I took it like a few years ago because I was just like, oh man, I gotta fucking do this early. And then like I took it for a few months, and then I had extreme side effects. It's just like a couple weeks in, my dick was just like, whoop, just not wanting to not wanting to exist.
Sorry, what was
Dude.
it like?
It was a fucking inflatable pool noodle, just like whoop,
Got it.
whoop, whoop,
Dude,
whoop,
okay,
whoop, whoop.
listen, T Papa. As soon as I stop, and this is for you, Ignoble, as soon as I stopped taking it, like 48 hours later, I started waking up rock hard again.
Yeah, yeah.
And I forgot that I even like used to wake up
Let's go.
with a boner. You know what I mean? Like,
Oh yeah, that's.
I'm sorry, Zoe, you're
taking
in this call, but
bro.
seriously,
I still wake up with P-boners for sure.
She's heard much worse.
Okay,
I got it.
that's
I got
good. If you stop getting those, I didn't even
I'm
realize
so
I
glad you
stopped
told
getting
me
them.
this. Like, I'm
I
going
didn't
to be
have it for
attentive
3
now.
months. I didn't have it for like 3 months or so. I bet.
Yep.
I don't even know because I didn't even
MD.
notice it.
Dude, 100%.
But literally 48 hours after I stopped taking it, rock hard for every single morning since. And I'm like, oh, I actually like women. I kind of forgot about that.
Right?
Fucking
You're just like, holy shit.
depressed.
You have to,
Depressed
like,
as shit. You know?
mentally like challenge yourself, like, just like focus on really, I'm getting up there, and it's just like not even all.
Oh,
Yeah.
no.
Anyway,
It's
Mental
not
challenge.
good.
it was
It's
bad.
not
Like
good.
I think the dosage is like 1 milligram or something like that. My doctor was
Yep.
like, hey, just start having that. You know, take smaller doses. Maybe that's better for you. Even as I went to smaller doses, like that was the one physical side effect. The second one was like, when I say brain fogs, and just like I was having, and it's such a hard time like piecing thoughts together. You know how you just like jump from one thing to another in your brain. You just like move from one to another. I felt like I was always stuck on one platform, and I couldn't move to the next thought. I was just like there, and like I was like searching for that next thing to jump to, but I was like, where am I? I don't know what I'm doing. Like, where do I go from? It was terrifying. And like once I finally got off the medication, within a few weeks, everything came back, and I was like, holy shit! Like that was one of the worst experiences of my life.
Yeah.
Just-
And
so.
I remember even thinking before I started taking it, I was like, even if I do get depressed on this, I feel like knowing my hair is going to be like good will make it so I'm not depressed, you know? No, I did not know what depression was. You do not want depression. So.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, that is a lot of negatives.
Don't fuck with your
yeah.
hormones. That's
Also,
it.
I also wanted to say one thing to T Papa again. I just because you had mentioned finasteride, I went on that whole tangent. But because you grew up Mormon, and I did too. I don't know how ingrained you were into it, but I know it sounds crazy. It's just my personal experience. You might experience it as well if you ever do it. But with mushrooms, like it really comes to show you that everybody is just a primate. I know that sounds really weird, but you see other
you're not
humans
wrong.
as just like we all evolved, you know? Like we are a part of the animal kingdom. We're a primate. And when you think that a random primate, just imagine imagine humans became extinct and you just have like a bunch of apes that now have gotten smarter. And now there's a random ape that claims he saw Jesus and God. And he's now going to just put a bunch of rules on you. Like,
I'm ready for shrooms.
Like,
I'm ready.
Like, does that make I think so far with this, and then I'm like, okay, in Mormon doctrine, they claim God is a human. You know, like God and Jesus are humans, and that is what you want. And then when you realize, like, we're in a nonstop state of evolving. Why the fuck did God decide to be a human? Like, it's like deciding to be a fucking monkey, like, years ago. Like, God's a monkey, guys. Like, this is the absolute top form. Like,
he's
you know what I
gonna
mean?
evolve to the point of telling everyone about it.
So I'm like very atheist now. I'm very spiritual though, I will say, because of mushrooms. Like, I know there's something after this, but anybody that claims to know what it is a fucking narcissistic liar. That's my take.
Mm-hmm.
Period.
I think that's becoming a more common take as society advances. So I don't think you're, at least, I don't think anybody here would disagree with that. At
Did
least
you guys
from what I
talk
know.
about the Fermi paradox? Anyone know what the
No.
Fermi
What is
paradox
that?
is?
The
I've
Fermi
watched
paradox,
several
you
YouTube
fucking
videos.
nerd.
Okay,
about the
I
Fermi
can't break it
paradox.
down. I just didn't know if we could go down that path if we all knew. It's just like that's what fucked me was like the Fermi paradox and like trying to solve that problem. And then, anyways, whatever.
I was about to topple all these PhD.
Dude, there's no,
Oh.
there are no PhD or doctors in here, but well, except for Tasty, but it's
Well,
lining up.
Ignoble-
Mormon,
Ignoble doctor.
finasteride, mushrooms, life changed. It could work for you.
No.
Go for it.
It's healed me a lot. and Mormonism has been a big part of my life, and I've been able to get to the very core of why I was so affected and the things I was holding on to, and I was just able to let them go. It's really nice.
Not to
Very
get too
nice.
far into the I don't want to derail us, but in Mormonism, Jesus and God are humans. What do you
They're
mean?
human beings.
Like
Ain't
they're
it that
people
Joseph guy?
And
Where are
so
they?
Joseph Smith.
They're in Utah.
So Joseph
They're literally
Smith.
in Utah, right?
First of all, Joseph Smith was an underage. He raped underage women, basically.
Yeah, I know that much.
And then his predecessor, Brigham Young, which is what their school names are literally named off of, he commanded people to go murder innocent people. And he's also like the biggest racist in history. Like, absolutely. If you just look up anything on him, it's just total fucking ignorant racist. And the Joseph Smith, like, there was no internet back then. We just got to keep in mind, like, when this religion was founded, it was Joseph Smith. He probably took mushrooms in the sacred grove and thought he fucking saw two angels and then started claiming this stuff. And there's no way to disprove it. There's no like actual books or anything. He didn't know how to read. You know, he didn't know how to write. He just had somebody else write down stuff for him. Just a great storyteller. But dude, it's, I don't know.
See, like, I've moved past
where's
all
God?
of. Okay, so God, according to Mormonism, like, where are we gonna say? Is it Kolob? Is that like Sabe's probably he probably knows way more
you can
than
make
me.
up whatever the fuck you want because it's just very close.
Yeah, there you go.
He lives
out somewhere.
Lives in Missouri. He's gonna live in Missouri though.
He's
like currently
true.
here on Earth somewhere,
no,
theoretically.
no.
What?
But he's
No.
coming to America, right?
But he's coming.
Yes.
It makes no
Hell
sense,
yeah.
dude.
America, baby.
I was gonna say, like, why aren't
Wait.
you guys just looking for him? Like, using all the money?
He's not here
Like, I
yet.
don't know.
You'll know.
listen,
You'll know when he's here.
They also claim that there's like 3 or 4 people walking around the earth that are like 2,000 years old that just are immortal. I actually
Right.
believed that. This is the scarring thing, and this is what makes me. It actually breaks my heart is knowing that I have friends that are like really still in the faith, and just realizing how I grew up. My mind was so skewed. I would go to church and be told as a child, like a 5-year-old, my brain's still developing, and they're claiming these things that can't be proven. And then I go to my science class, and they're like, "Oh, we're talking about evolution and how the world's 13.8 billion, or like the universe is 13.8 billion years old." And I was like, "Oh, you guys are lying to you guys are just Satan, because at church I just learned that the earth is 6,000 years old." So I had this like conflicting thing my whole fucking life, and that like, believe it or not, that actually like really screws with you. And my dad, like I love my dad to death, but he really didn't do much to help with that. Like, I would even ask questions, and it always just was like, "Oh, like, pray about it or something." I'm like, "What the fuck?" Like,
Dude,
Jesus.
yeah,
when
it's
you
not
said that
great.
when you said that about the class, it gave me like this very vivid memory. I will tell you, dude, environmental science in any college in the South is a crazy the introductory just class is a fucking wild class because there's just so much diversity of people in there. It gets fucking wild in there, man.
no.
I sure people argue. It was when they get to evolution, it gets pretty crazy.
Why are they taking a biological sciences class if they don't want to hear?
Well, it's like you have to. It's like one of the basic. You have to take it.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
you should take it.
And you should.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Papa.
That's a good point.
It's science.
Yes, sir.
Papa, were you talking the Fermi paradox? You talking about a game?
No.
No.
No,
It's not a
no,
game.
it's this. It's like why we haven't
Why is
had
there
major
no
communication with another civilization.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
If you take a look at how big everything is, like, we mathematically should have, and
This
there's different reasons why we haven't. And there's some great videos explaining it, and I think that kind of got the ball rolling for me.
Fermi?
I watched Fermi. I watched a movie. I don't know if any of you guys have seen it, but it's Everything Everywhere All at Once, and it
I watched
basically
half of it.
like
Yep.
yeah,
I've
and
heard
it
good
kind of
things.
covers like
Don't
how,
spoil it, please. I do want to watch it.
Yeah. Don't.
Cool.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I would say if you watch it, it definitely makes
gonna
you
queue it
think
up
about
so I
how you're
actually watch
how
this
you
then.
could be in an alternative universe. That's all I'm gonna say. Like me in an alternate universe, I could be a fucking athlete, like professional
Chad?
athlete that drives fucking insane sports
projecting?
cars. No, I mean it just it kind of like I'm not gonna spoil, but it shows you that like even if you could witness all of your different versions of yourself, in the end you would still just pretty much be happy with whatever situation you're stuck in, just because you learn to appreciate the people and things you have in your life. And the real happiness comes from how you value other people in your life, or, you know, whatever it is, like the relationships and things you have. It's just finding happiness in whatever you have. It's pretty beautiful.
That's 100% factual, and it goes back to just accepting the insignificance that is life and making the most of what you got. And like Nick said, like valuing what you have is the best way to move past those existence thoughts for me, at least. But I know it sounds corny, but it really does help just to stop for a minute and realize what you got and value it, because it can be gone very fast.
Speaking of what like Nick was saying, like I've been overwhelmed before thinking of just like how if you just sit down and think about a decision that you made that you thought was completely inconsequential has potentially completely like changed the entire trajectory of your life.
The
Like,
butterfly effect.
yeah,
Going live on Twitch for me.
yeah, it's just even this just super small things of like, okay, like I stayed in a particular dorm my freshman year in college, and like I just randomly chose a dorm. I didn't choose, like I was just like, all right, whatever. But like because I was randomly placed on this one floor with these other people, like I now have my best friend for like 10 years now, you know? And like if I made just like the small decision a couple months to like go on a different dorm, lived in a different school, just like, and my brain goes backwards, and sometimes I get like overwhelmed. I'm just like all those potential branching pathways, my brain is just like, I'm like, I gotta breathe and bring myself back to the present, because otherwise, like,
Bro, just think about the branching pathway that has all 6 or 7 of us sitting in this call here. I mean, if you just think about that, like, if
That
you
is
think about
some
how
trippy
all those,
thinking.
the entire story.
About that.
Yeah, that is
2 years
insane.
ago, 2 years ago, I didn't know any of you. Like, none.
Yeah, dude. Oh my god.
And now we've all almost died together, besides Saeder, but that'll happen soon.
It will happen
I have
soon.
my own death.
Yeah, you had your own death. Get a metaphorical one. Ours was closer to physical, but
it's just crazy to think about, because it's like I don't know. I get overwhelmed by that every so often. I just have to like sort of like ground myself back in reality. Be like, hey man, you're living this particular situation, like trying to make the best of it and make good decisions, because what's done in the past is like you can't change that, right? That's like I've watched Tenet, and I'm just like, oh fuck, what? Oh, my brain goes crazy when you see those kinds of movies. But like, you just have to be happy with the decisions you've made and just move forward from that.
I did want to touch. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say I really personally enjoy having an existential crisis at least once a month. Kind of,
dude.
I need them. They make me work. They get me to go do shit.
I just enjoy it. I just think it's fun. I don't know.
What? I
don't know.
want to die every
Like it.
time.
I
that
feel
happens.
like,
It's
I feel
oh,
like for
man.
me, when I have an existential crisis, I just jump to being like, I don't know. I go from like really scared to just being like, nothing matters. Fuck it. Let's have fun. Let's do something.
Yeah, like that's ultimately it's just like fuck it, we ball at the end, you know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's QD's getting on the private jet. That was it. That was he said, "Fuck
we
it, bro."
ball, yeah.
Fuck
He
it,
said,
we ball.
Fuck it. I'm gonna
Fuck
die
it.
one day.
Oh, yeah,
And
I'm
also,
gonna
I
die.
feel like
Might as well.
I feel like a
Imagine
lot
the
of
path
people.
if we all died on the private jet. Dude.
Oh my
Like,
Bro, that'd have been sick.
been
Honestly, that'd be
insane.
best in slot death.
Yo,
Best in slot death.
true.
I know it would have
God.
been actually
I'd have been
though.
okay.
Bro,
Yeah,
top
bro.
of the
Let's
RuneScape
go.
section would have been up for grabs, man. Oh,
oh
man.
yeah.
And as you best believe, as we're going down, I'm making jokes. Like you guys would
Okay.
be panicking for your
What would-
life. Like I'm
Wait,
cracking jokes.
what would
100%.
what would the news headlines be if we died in that private jet? Would it be "Tasty Life dies in jet,
Yeah.
7 other
YouTube.
streamers dead"?
Tasty for YouTube
Yeah.
dies a private jet. Some others
7 other
accompanied.
YouTube, 7 other streamers dead, or some shit. Yeah, probably.
But I was gonna say I have this written down. Since it's just kind of like a year in review kind of podcast, kind of looking back.
Oh,
I wanted to go around and ask everybody, where were you at the beginning of this year in like January? Like, what were you doing? What was life like? Like, it's interesting to think about because mine is just like so different from now. So I was curious to see what you
kick
guys
it
had to
off,
say.
man. Yeah, you got.
Yeah,
you
take
got
us
quite a
out.
Story.
Me,
Please.
Shit.
Go for it, dude.
dude. Honestly, lost. Really lost. I think. Wait, was it January?
In January?
January
think.
2022?
No, that was probably later. Well, I was even streaming. I don't think I was streaming at that. I didn't start streaming again until. Or wait, how long have we been streaming? No, I was streaming. Okay, never mind. That
Yeah,
was the
you're
year
thinking
before.
of
Sorry.
2021.
I'm thinking 2021. So yeah, the beginning of this year, I was definitely kind of lost. I'd recently gotten partnered, And yeah, I was kind of having that like partner fall off where I was just confused with content. I didn't really know him. Like I knew other streamers, like I knew Saeder, I knew a couple other streamers I was like friends with, but I didn't really have like a network, anything to fall back on. I didn't really have any content ideas. I still wasn't like fully aware what Twitch culture even was. I just winged it and gotten partner just off being a loud idiot and just, like pushing as hard as I could to get it. And I was working and like my career was progressing really fast and I was getting promoted and like everything was going great in my like personal life. But as far as streaming goes, yeah, I was lost. And then I went and it was recently after seeing Zoe and meeting them, and that's when we got. I'm pretty sure when did we actually start based? Do you know the actual date? I don't. Zoe might.
It's before that because we did taste giving.
We started, but we definitely
we had
started before
Taste
that.
Giving.
Yeah.
But we started, yeah, like we started.
I gotta
kind
figure out
of,
when Kujino Con was, because that's when it
must have
happened.
been September.
Let me.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go back into
Summertime,
camera roll while you
summertime.
talk. I'll figure it out.
Yeah,
It was
well, I
definitely
I
around
remember
July.
feeling kind of lost, but and then we had started base definitely a couple months before that, and like started adding people. I started becoming friends with you guys, and yeah, you guys. A lot of you honestly like opened my eyes to like what content creation is, what you can do. I actually started watching streams. I started learning more about like Twitch culture. Started learning more about YouTube, talking with like Max and T Papa and other people who do YouTube, and yeah, that definitely helped push me forward. I think as a content creator, and has honestly led me to where I'm at now. So it's been it's like I feel like this year, as far as like in content creation, has 100% been the biggest year of growth by far. And that's just, and I attribute it to you guys like 100%. Like not all of it, but a lot of it is really like just all the different minds and influences has definitely helped me a ton. But that's for me, at least. Hope that all made sense. The timeline's a little shaky
that's
though.
huge.
Kujino Con
No.
was in June 2021, so like right after.
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah.
in July. Yeah.
I think for me, going from the beginning of this year to now, I hate to say this because this sounds like it's a really negative thing, and I don't want it to be like a completely negative thing, but I think for me at the start of the year, I was almost in a better place mentally than I was now, being completely honest.
That's fair.
I think I was more into myself. I was more proud of myself. I felt like I was doing things better and more efficiently. And like recently I've started to make change to be better and take better care of myself and like try and push to do better things. But I think I'm just going to look back at this year as like a whole year of just like building and just character building. This year is definitely just a character building year for me. Like it's been insane. Twitch has been good. The growth has been good. I'm really happy with what I have, but I think it's just something I need to like, this is going to be the year where I look back and I'm like, damn, that year kind of sucked for me mentally wise, but I'm glad I had it because if I didn't, I wouldn't be where I'd be next year or the year after or whatever. So hopefully we can see some more change in the next year. That's all I have to say for me.
That's okay.
I know this year
you know?
will be good for him. Yeah, because I know like I'm pretty close to Nick. I know like a lot of it's been beat down. Like he's been beat around. He's been the shit beat out of him. Like that's like like if I could use an analogy, like he's just been getting beat around all year. And I feel like like you're gonna come out strong on the other end from that. And I'm sure you've learned a ton.
Yeah. And I don't want to play down like we had the subathon. I like not to just be in like RuneScape mode, but like I have improved a lot this year through RuneScape at least.
Good job. You're allowed to get better at your job.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, my ego in game has grown for sure. Like I'm very proud of the player I've become, like the cape and everything else on my Iron Man. So I'm happy with that, but just a lot of other things I want to do better. And I hope I can look back at this and be like, you did better. So yeah.
Yeah, not all progress is linear.
Yeah,
keep saying it.
exactly.
Like
Real.
you can grow laterally.
I think one of the like things like I've been told in order to make sure you're always, moving in a relatively positive direction. I've not been following this very well, but like at the end of every week or month or whatever schedule you want to do, like you should take a step like back and sort of like review what happened that week. Like what'd you do that week? How'd you feel? Like, are you making progress in the direction you want to, whether it's on like a weekly basis, monthly basis? And these goals could be RuneScape related, job related, whether it's RuneScape or content creation or, fitness goal, whatever it is. Like just taking a step back and really figuring out, are you making progress? And if you're not, sort of alter your course to, to get back on path. And doing these type of reviews, like in review, like sitting down, like pulling out the journal and like checking off those boxes, it's like it could be very, very eye-opening for yourself.
Yeah.
It's a lot to
for
think
sure.
about. Like I was like when I was thinking about me talking, I was like, I had to think for a second all the stuff that like because I mean it's a year is a long time. It really is. It really is.
Yeah.
Because
And
I know all of
mean,
us have grown a lot over this year, 100%. As
Oh, yeah.
friends, as creators, et cetera, et cetera. So
a lot of good, little mental bad. I think everything else outside of the mental has been huge on my end. So
I don't know. My year, it was good. I'm stoked. I hated my old house. I lived in a different place at the beginning of the year. I sold that piece of shit. It was flooding. Sold it, moved here, have a nice house. Like Annie graduated college. Like I'm an adult now, you know? Like I'm no longer in college. And then a year ago, almost exactly, I pulled up my YouTube because I want to see what I was doing because I knew I was making a video around Christmas. And it was the how to play while sleeping. And I thought that shit would pop off so good. And it wasn't until like I made that video at the beginning of the year. And then 3 months later, I made the how to be cringe in RuneScape. And that popped off, which brought my other video to pop off, which popped off my Twitch. And it was a good year. I was like, I think I worked hard, but definitely like it is 110% impossible without the ecosystem that we have made with each other. Like I couldn't have done it. Not even like I wouldn't have done the escort video in Vegas. I went to like one of the most turning points for me this year was one time I brought a bunch of like video ideas to talk about with Tasty, and then he grilled me for 2 hours about how shitty all the ideas were, and then
do that. I was like, no.
But dude, so we go through like 2 hours of sheer pain, but then out of that conversation, I leave with the idea to make the how to be cringe in RuneScape video, and then boom, that was it. Like that video caused everything else, which caused partner, which caused money, which caused this to be job, and now here we are. You know what I mean? Like it was good. It was, I don't know. It was hard though. Yeah. I guess that's where I am.
Yeah. I think I don't want to butt in again real quick, but I do want to say, yeah, like I feel like without any I'm just happy that throughout this year I've been able to like build the relationship that I have with a lot of you guys, because yeah, we definitely are the product of each other. So it's pretty cool. It's nice to have everyone around.
I think one thing that I think to keep my mental as good as it can be is, especially with what we do, I think it's so easy to compare ourselves to each other. And I try to do that never. Like I try my hardest to never look at obviously I look at your guys' streams and everybody else's stream, but like to do a side-by-side comparison, like that's so unhealthy. And what I found is if I do a comparison to a previous me, it's just like I feel so much better mentally. Like I go back, okay, if I compare myself to me versus Tasty now or me versus me a year ago, like that's the actual comparison that should be made. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think that has helped my psyche really good. Like I don't know. I think because it helps me realize like what I've done. I'm alive every day and I do shit. So clearly I'm getting shit done.
That's true. I do that too. That's I 100% compare. Like I'm fighting against myself. Like I all the time. And like I've been doing it the last few months. Like I look back to my community. I was just kind of lost. Like I said, I didn't really know where I was going. My community was kind of like overlapping and wasn't really that set. Now I have like a core community of people who support me and love me and have all of you guys. And like I know what the product is and I see how much it's grown. And like that comparison is just, it's not even close. And I'm really excited to do it next year to see the growth there. Because this year it's just been, I just feel like I haven't stopped. Like I feel like this last couple weeks I finally stopped. Like after moving on from my job, it's just been going and going and going and going. And I finally like had the time to just sit down and plan just all kinds of stuff. And I'm really stoked for next year. I really am.
Damn.
Is it my turn? Whose turn is it?
There's always yours.
Go for it.
Who's in order? Are we going in camera order?
Oh no, we've been all over the place. I think so.
Go
Nick,
ahead.
Seth,
I'm stalling because I'm
sorry,
getting
I kind of went
emotional.
twice. Sorry, my bad.
I'll go.
We
after.
talking?
We'll set it. Yeah, anybody can go. We're good.
Yeah. Like the last 2 years of my life have been pretty fucking crazy. It hasn't been like a perfect year, but number one, that's like an unreasonable expectation. And like I don't even know if I really want that, but I don't think I can really be anything but grateful for the year that I've had, honestly. Like I definitely started 2022 on a bit of a peak. Like my viewership was really up, like subs are up. I was feeling really good. I was motivated to do content, things like that. And then like the first half of the year, there was a definite dip. Like I would say up until the TOA release, like people really started to just burn out and start dropping like flies. Like not even content creators, but just players in general. Like a lot of the high level raiders. So I don't know. I'd say like halfway through the year, I started feeling fairly unmotivated. But then like TOA came out, numbers went up, like TwitchCon happened, and I definitely felt kind of like a bit of a reset, especially around TwitchCon. Because I think we hadn't really done that much previous, like since Vegas, between Vegas and TwitchCon, like I didn't do anything. Like I literally sat in my room. I didn't work out. Like I didn't fucking exercise. My diet was shit. Like I did nothing but stream RuneScape. And towards the end, I definitely started to feel burnt. But like especially the last 3 months, I've definitely been pretty heavy on the up. Like I'm arguably in the best shape that I've been in like 2 to 3 years, probably since I fucked up my shoulder again.
I see that
Like
jawline
I'm
hanging. I see
feeling,
you.
yeah, well, I'm down 10 pounds since TwitchCon. Like we've been eating vegetables and shit. I definitely
Snatch.
I feel a lot better. Um, like I don't know, like my whole shift. I've had a really big paradigm shift in how I'm viewing the content that I want to make over the past couple months. Probably catalyzed by like me being healthier and being more motivated to go do things. So I don't know. I feel very very grateful for the whole year and just like super hopeful for the next year. I'm very excited for it.
I wanted to
So
ask
it's been
you in
awesome.
regards to the content direction you want to go in, was TwitchCon inspirational for you in that sense? Because for me, as far as just all of us, just streaming in general, like just being there and just seeing the whole like ecosystem that Twitch is was like just super like
Yeah.
inspiring and motivating for me. It was
You
huge.
know, not even immediately. Not even immediately, but then I would say probably like a couple weeks after we got back from TwitchCon, and I looked at like the videos that I had put out on YouTube and like the videos that I could have done on YouTube for the past, couple months. I was like, I'm not really in love with any of these videos. Like I feel like I'm making these just because there's an expectation for me to put out videos. And then I thought about it, like when did I really love making RuneScape videos? Like I had a couple series, like I love my Road to Grandmaster. I love the IRL videos I filmed. Like people would always talk about, like the MVP top video, like that kind of stuff. And so I was like, that's, yeah, like I want to go back in that direction. Like that's a good place to take content. And then just even thinking about all the stuff we did at TwitchCon together, how like all the streams were fucking incredible. Like watching those vlogs, watching all the actual like interactions take place, and just regardless of RuneScape, just us together. I was like this is fun. Like this is what I like. This is what I enjoy. So yeah, I would say definitely, yeah. Yeah, that's been my year.
Good
Been a
year in
year,
review.
huh? Okay, I'll
It's
bite.
been a year,
Send it,
yeah.
Zoe.
I'm sorry. I'm stalling because I feel very emotional about this year. It's been like by far the most defining year of my life. Beginning of this year was by far the most depressed I've ever been. Like I've always been depressed, but this year, I know that I took like a lot of time off stream, and I know that a lot of my friends know this, and I'm pretty good at not saying too much about what's going on. But when I say like I was like curled up in a ball, like profusely sobbing every single day for like the past 2 years, like I really mean that. And it got really, really, really bad in the middle of the year. And then it was mostly because like I moved back home. I felt like I had no purpose in life. I had worked my whole life to like be an actor, and then all of that kind of fell out from under me when the pandemic happened, and I lost all my friends because I didn't like acting anymore, and that's all they wanted to talk about. And it's like I just felt like I had literally nothing. Like I literally just I didn't streaming was okay, but I knew that it wasn't like sustainable for me forever if I only streamed, but I couldn't do anything else. Like it was just really bad. And then all of a sudden, it's like everything just started falling into place. Like the past few months have been absolutely the best. I started a new antidepressant, which like changed my life completely. I've never had in my life like the combination of me being like good at something and the luck falling into place happen simultaneously as it has recently. Like just getting really lucky with like based and everything, and getting lucky with like Illinois games and like all those kinds of things. It's like it all just came together so well. Like I decided to stop working with my agent, decided to like stop acting completely, and it really went from like me being completely suicidal at the beginning of the year to being like actually really excited about the future. And it's been a fucking year, man. But yeah,
It's been a
good
year.
Now.
That's
it's
good to
good
hear.
now.
I like
It's
to
really
hear
good
that.
now. It was really, really, really bad, and I think I like downplayed how bad it was. But now it's pretty fucking good. So yeah,
Is that
very
Zoe
grateful.
from
Good to hear.
Eleanor Games?
Oh
Is
my
that-
God,
is that
no
Zoe from
way.
Eleanor Games?
No,
You
like
know
really,
what?
I mean, to put it into perspective, like my entire life, like I'm gonna say, like I was pretty good at acting. Like I was always pretty good at that. Like I went to a really good school, you know, like technically decent. But I never had the luck, and I never had like the money. The people that do well are the people that have the money, and the people that have the connections, the people that have the luck. And I've never been in anything where I had that. And it just so happened that like with streaming and everything, I got so lucky with my friends. I got so lucky with like the people I've made connections with. And I never, this is like the first time I've gotten to experience that luck, and it's fucking awesome. It's really cool.
That's awesome.
Motivating.
No, no,
Yeah.
yeah.
Love you.
And like, it's not just luck. Like you and every single person in this call has put in a lot of work. Luck
Right,
is
but like we're
when
lucky that we met
opportunity
each
and
other.
effort.
There's plenty of people that could
meet
be
whatever
here
the
right
quote is.
now.
I
You know,
think
there's
it's a
plenty of
mix
people
of
that could be
luck
friends with
and
us.
and the
Yeah,
the
oh, yeah.
capability to do
No,
it. It's
there's-
both, and
yeah.
I think you
Yeah.
capitalized on whatever luck that came by.
Little
You
luck is always nice.
used it to its fullest. Yeah,
Yeah, right place, right time.
it's good to
Yeah.
hear.
Proud
I
of you.
guess I'll drop in before Saeder. I'm gonna leave Saeder for last because I feel like he's had an entire life-changing experience.
Saeder's just like, here we go. I'm
Oh,
Last
man.
few months has been a bit crazy for
Yeah.
him. I can't think about the whole year. Holy
Yeah.
shit.
I guess for me, I would say it was like it was very neutral, with like just painfully just the same, with just lots of spikes in between, and I would say they were big. Like the biggest spikes I think are just like April, May, when we did the Vegas trip with all of Based. It was just amazing to see everybody back together again. And then I had some other trips with some like I had like 3 to 4 weeks like straight every weekend I was out of town meeting with like different friends. It was just like the biggest rush of dopamine, and just I was loving life at that point. So I guess that was the peak. But then sort of summer came around, whatever, my work stuff picked up, et cetera, and then I think so TwitchCon was like early October, right? I think September, or like the months before leading up to October, I literally was just like in a headspace of like I'm finishing up school in like right now about 6 to 8 months, and I was just like, all right, I need to figure out what's coming on after and all that kind of stuff. And I was just coming to the realization that like it's like I'm gonna step away from streaming. I literally like read before TwitchCon. I was like sincerely thinking like, guys, like I'm gonna hang it up. Like it's time for me to be like, oh cool, this is a great experience. I'm ready to dive into all the other aspects of real life. And then like TwitchCon came around, and all these things, like just being able to hang out with everybody, and just even before that, getting to know all you guys so much better across this year. I'm just like, I don't want to lose those types of friendships or those connections, because like since I've gotten to know you guys so much better across these last like 1.5, 2 years, I'm just like, I want to be friends with you guys, and that's not something I want to lose. And for me, I'm just like, I don't want to lose this community. I don't want to lose these people. So TwitchCon just like reinvigorated me. Like it got to the point, I literally had like a little, like I typed something up in like a text file. I was like, all right, guys, this is it. But then like I came home after TwitchCon and I deleted it. And I was just like, I'm not leaving. I'm not fucking leaving. I'm not fucking leaving. I'm fucking leaving.
longer.
I knew it was
Yeah.
coming.
But like that was definitely one of those peaks where I was just like, dude, like I want that. But then I think in the last month and a half, November, December, like it's been trailing down a little bit more as I'm trying to balance my like a lot of my like schoolwork, real life work with like content creation stuff, which I'm not as anywhere near as involved as you guys are, but still I feel sort of overwhelmed at times, because I'm like, I really want to dive into a lot of things in content creation, but like I feel like I'm really overwhelmed by just a lot of the real life school stuff going on. And in my brain, I'm just like, look, Ignoble, of all the things that you're most likely going to take going on in the future, you should put more effort into school, because that is the more tried and true way of finding, success forward. But that doesn't mean you should leave your stream and content creation behind, because then you lose all the friends and the people you make. So it's like, I've been sort of trying to balance that. It's been super hard trying to do that, but I don't know. I want to get better, and I still don't know how to do it. Like some weeks I'm just like super into like my like real life work, spending like hours and hours in lab, just getting all my shit done, and I feel very happy. Then I come home and see everybody on Twitch. I'm just like, fuck, man. I feel like I didn't talk to anybody. I want to go live, but like I'm way too tired. It's like 10 p.m. But like I can't have a good stream if I'm like running on 4 hours of sleep. And then the next week I'm just like, I want to stream. I stream like 3, 4, 5 days a week. But my schoolwork suffers. So it's like, that balance is just insanely hard to find, and I don't know how people can balance like a real life thing and like content creation stuff. It's just like maybe I don't know what it is, but I'm jealous of anybody who can put those two things together.
Ignoble, I'll tell you, I relate super hard when you're going through talking about that. It's an insane lifestyle. It's literally just a psychopath lifestyle. And when you said the thing about writing the note down, where you said you were like gonna quit, I've wrote that note like 4 times to myself, and then I also, when things started like going on the uptrend, I wrote the note of like, I'm gonna quit, like I'm gonna move on, I'm gonna go after this. I did it multiple times, and then finally, like you said, TwitchCon is what pushed me over. It kind of gave me the like nudge I needed to be like, you know what, fuck it, let's do it. Like what do I have to lose? I have nothing to lose. So I fucking sent it.
Like, what TwitchCon did you guys go through? You had these spiritual experiences.
Dude, I had some real.
Coming back with these insights from TwitchCon. You know what I came back with? A nose that did not function, bro. I'm so confused. We went to different TwitchCons. Where was my spiritual awakening?
Real.
You didn't do
You
enough.
come
is
back
what I'm
more
gonna say.
motivated at all?
I did not.
Dude, I
came back less
know.
motivated.
I was less motivated for like 2 weeks, and then I was like, I'll stop being a little bitch, and then I got motivated. It was like,
Yeah, like
That is crazy to think about in the year, like this past year, how many times we've all hung out, though. That is pretty cool. I mean, what, 2? Was it only 2 times? Was it 3?
2 times. Me and T Pompa went to Whistler, so
Okay, so 3 for
Yeah.
y'all.
like a mini.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Papa's journey at TwitchCon was heavily induced, most of it. So I don't think he was taking in anything else besides
I was
substances.
partying, bro.
There was
Like-
I was too, but there was
think we all
some
were,
fleeting moments where I took it in. You know,
Okay.
sometime like sometimes I wasn't hanging out with you guys too, because like we weren't all together every day like there. So
I think
2 months ago, bro. I miss Twitch.
That's-
dude,
I
the
missed that.
note
Yeah.
though,
Fun,
the
dude.
quitting note is the I'm gonna quit streaming note. I've wrote that note to myself like 4 times.
Honestly,
I'm gonna pack it up.
like I was kind of, I don't want to interject for like the 10th time about this, but I want to say that I have, when I was down in the dumps, like the past couple days, I saw everybody's like Twitch recaps, and the amount of people that I was on, whether it was my emotes or I was at the top of like their most watched, or if I was just intermingled in that, I almost didn't go
one. I
live.
didn't want to
You're my
post
number
it.
one streamer
Yeah.
too,
You're
man.
You're my number one too.
You're my number one.
I honestly, it was the subathon, but you know, in the end, I was still juiced
Yeah,
about
you
it. But
fucking
you were
put
my
I'm
number
only
2,
sleeping in
sorry.
all of our top categories, you fucking bitch.
I definitely did. But I saw that there was like a day or 2 ago where I was like, man, I really don't want to fucking go live. And then all those tweets came out. Like people weren't even adding me. I would just see an emote or my name on that, and I'd be like, man, like I'm like a lot of people's top streamer. Like I gotta go live. Like I need to do this. And so finding motivation in that was really cool. So shout out to anybody that watches us, that had us in their top watch streams and stuff, because it really does change how we view stuff, and it makes us feel very important. So yeah, so thanks for watching.
I might act like I don't care, but oh my god, I care so much. I gobble it up. You know, I don't want to show all my cards, but yeah.
I am the number 1 T Papa Slice super fan. All right.
Yeah, it's
My
kinda
number 1.
tasty.
Top
is.
1%.
I had all
top
base
1%
people on
of all
my
mine.
recap. It was great. I had
Yeah, me too.
it's fucking dank.
Pretty sick.
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
my
I don't
top
wanna-
4 was. Yeah, mine was.
I
Yeah,
don't-
mine was too.
Yeah, I don't want to cut Saeder off. Saeder needs to tell us about his year.
Yeah.
Before I jump
Yeah,
into
yeah,
Saeder's,
yeah.
I know like, I'm gonna have
Oh.
a spiritual awakening just listening to Saeder. I just want to jump back to the
Yeah.
TwitchCon thing very quickly. Just like I remember specifically at times, just like literally walking through the the glass door from the outside to the inside at the place where we're staying, just like taking it all in, being like, dude, these are like some of the top creators across this game, all in one spot. We're all here, and I was just like, I am accepted into this community. And that was just like one of the most like positive feelings that I've ever had. Cause I'm just like, I get to call a lot of these people my friends, and these people also be like, he's, they acknowledge my existence, like I just to have that in my brain. I'm just like, because I set up my PC like 3 years ago, like when I first hit the go live button, I would never think that I would be like in an Airbnb with all of the like the top RuneScape creators in this section and just
100 RuneScape streamers, bro.
yeah, like 100
Insane,
RuneScape
it's
streamers.
crazy.
Like
that was actually insane. Yeah.
to put that into perspective, you're just like that's insane. Like you never think that the first time when you get a hit go live, those people who have like hundreds of viewers, thousands of viewers are gonna be like, yo, what's up, Big Noble? How's it going? Want to take a drink? Like you would never think about that.
Take a drink.
And yeah.
I'm still
Drink.
a fan.
Yeah.
Ignoble takes a lot of drinks.
Hey, I asked you to take a drink.
Hey,
And not to mention, they were staying at the B&B that most of y'all were sleeping in. Pretty cool.
yeah, true. We did host.
That was the pad.
Sorry,
that
Saeder.
was the accidental part
No,
of
you're
it.
good.
I feel
I love
like-
hearing it.
Yeah, we should let Saeder speak his journey.
him
I'm
cook.
excited for this.
Yeah,
No,
let
I
him
just
cook.
love hearing, and like I love how like honest you guys are with this kind of stuff. It's not like you're trying to, I don't know,
Nah, but we've been through some shit.
put a front on anything.
We've been through some shit.
This
bro.
is the most
The war
therapeutic cast that I have had in a long
This is
time.
like crazy
Like
for me. This
zero
cast is.
dicks.
Usually we're out here
W.
talking about our dicks and how many times we've come
Yeah.
in the last 7 days, but like
Hey, we
this has
gotta,
been,
we
like-
gotta
I
bring
saw
it
the
I'm
together.
so
sometimes.
happy. Like I'm so happy right now. This is so good.
yeah.
I love that.
That's why it's
See,
after dark. It can go anywhere.
I'm glad like we've focused a lot on this because just like reading the Twitter topics, I'm like, "Ah, this is just depressing. Just like every fucking thing is sexual, and I'm like, yeah.
What boss would you remove from RuneScape?
No, there's one. I like one of the Twitter questions, but we'll do your story first.
We'll get
yeah.
there.
No, but my year was really good. It was probably, I mean, not even probably, it was the best year of my life. And even though like not everything is just ups, there was definitely a lot of like ups and downs. I really started getting a little bit, or not a little bit, but a lot more autonomy, I guess, in a way where I feel like I have a lot more control over my life. For like so many years, like 3 years prior, just getting into streaming. I was always pretty healthy and I was active in college and even before then. But like getting into content creation, I just like went full degen mode and, you know, just gaining weight slowly, just not being active, just being depressed and not really having like a clear vision of like what I even wanted to do. But this year that all really changed. And I think the biggest thing was just like I said, autonomy, just being able to control my weight, being able to control what I eat, being able to control what I watch, being able to just all these things. And then toward the end of the year, I was able to like right now I'm in this weird transition where like there's a lot of negative energy where I am at currently. And that's to deal with just my like living situation, which is unfortunate to say, but like it's with my two brothers. But even then it's just we don't meet eye to eye on a lot of things. And so I just realized like I need to move out on my own. And I also, one thing that was holding me back from streaming is like for so long, I was able to just do a certain stream, you know, just like the traditional RuneScape stream. I made a tweet on it. You guys probably already saw it, but just this
I read it.
feeling of boxing yourself into a certain piece of content and then refusing to like do anything else because you feel this expectation. Like in my mind, it feels so overwhelming and so daunting, and it has felt this way for so long that I need to do this because I've already built up an audience that likes this. So if I try to do anything, I'm basically betraying my own audience in a way. And I hate that because that's not why I started streaming. I started streaming because I just absolutely fucking loved playing RuneScape, you know? And I just wanted to do my thing. And now that that's been shifting, I haven't changed how I stream, but like mentally I'm changing, and yet I'm like refusing to like listen to my mental and just like, hey, you need to do something else, like venture off, do something else. So it's tough doing it right now just because there's a lot of things going on, but I think next year is going to be like a really fantastic year where I just really cater my content to exactly what I want, and I stop with that just toxic mindset of like thinking of what a few negative people have to say about my stream and being like, why aren't you doing this? Why aren't you doing this? Why aren't you doing TOA? Why aren't you? And then, I don't know, something happened as well where I just realized, like, why do I stream and just hate it? You know, like 2 months ago was probably the worst. of course, a lot of other hormones and shit were happening. But on top of that, it was like, I'm just sitting here on stream for 3 or 4 hours because I can't do any longer than that because I'm fucking depressed. And I'm just hating it. I just was doing TOA because I felt that was expected of me. Like, time to do TOA, time to do this, and time to answer everybody's goddamn RuneScape questions 30,000 times, and just trying to be happy. And I was like, why am I doing this to myself? Like, I know I'm grateful for like being a streamer, but this isn't what a streamer is. Like, you don't need to box yourself into one particular thing for the rest of your life, or like, everyone's gonna hate you if you move on. So I realize I am going to stop just listening to people that want me to do a certain thing with my content. I want to decide what I do. If people want to unsub, I just have to let that go. That's easy to let go of. It's just this idea of like people will keep subbing, just kind of like, but still trying to control my content in a way. You know what I mean? Like, if you have like great supporters that have been supporting you for a long time and they were supporting you because of a certain thing you were doing, certain content you were doing, I can't hold on to that of being like, oh, they're great supporters, so I have to keep doing what they want me to do. I have to do my own thing. And that's what I realized. Even if I lose like, viewers, support, you can grow from something else that you truly love. And that's what I realized. I was like, I will have so much more fun, and I think people will actually see that if I just do what I want to do. So next year I have some big plans, and like, I don't know, I'm excited to just move on my own as well, just live in my own apartment and just do whatever the fuck I want. So I'm excited. But yeah, this year was a great learning year, and mushrooms definitely. I know I can't shout out mushrooms enough. I can't give the credit to myself. It's like, it would be dishonest to me. So
it's within you. I think it's brought out by the mushrooms, but I think it's still within
Catalyst, bro.
Yeah.
It's like a tool assisted speed run, Sometimes you just need to run the Taz bot and then you got to figure it out.
I definitely.
It is.
There's so many great ideas there, and just life changes that have been encouraged by whatever substance you want to name. Like mushrooms is the only. Like, there's been people who have been inspired to do and then have gone on to doing insane things. There's a plethora of different things, substances, habits, whatever it may be. So I think you're just gonna fall right in there with that.
Yeah. I definitely I was gonna pitch in and say that I definitely feel the weight of trying to do a certain thing or be a certain way for stream, and sometimes I do think about it, and I think that's what sometimes when I'm like, man, I don't want to go live, it's because I'm like, damn, I gotta be this certain guy, or I gotta do this certain thing.
It's awful.
Yeah, so I respect you with your skilling therapy stuff. I think that's is that kind of like partly what you're pushing towards too, or is that just like another
skilling? So just to like paint a broader picture, because this is the other problem I have, is I have ideas and I never share them. So people get a wrong idea that I'm like really burnt and I don't know what I'm doing. But like in my mind, I know what I'm doing. I just don't know how to word it. So I put up a tweet today just to like, I felt like it was a good representation of what I want. The skilling therapy is really just because I don't want to do a normal stream. And the reason I don't want to do a normal stream is because I don't want to keep going down that rabbit hole of like, this is who I am as a streamer. This is who I am as a streamer. This is who I am, like every single fucking day doing the same thing. Because people get really attached to that. And I already noticed it because as soon as I started doing these like music streams, which again is not what my content is going to be. This is me in a weird transition. I'm going on vacation next week. I'm getting a moving truck. I'm going across the country late January, early February. Just like a lot of things going on. But I don't want to hold on to this archaic version of my content, which is me just doing a normal RS stream and not enjoying it. So this is like a little transition. I think it's nice just being live still, but I realize just so many people coming in and like, when's the normal streams coming back? My God damn, you're like making me depressed just thinking about like, just this is me for the next 5, 10, 15 fucking years doing the same shit because you guys want it, you degenerate unsubbers. Like, God damn it.
Dance monkey dance.
And like, I love my viewers, but it's not everyone that goes in. It's just the people that don't even support you as content. They just expect and demand that you are a certain way on your stream. And I take that like negativity in, and I'm like, holy shit, I need to stop. I need to stop with that. Like,
damn.
These people
Saeder,
don't
like,
see
5
you
years ahead of
as
us,
like
bro.
they don't see you as a person. They see you as just, you're my entertainment. Like just literally
know.
dance for me.
And it's
I'll
always
pivot.
the people that
That's
aren't
why I don't see the
it's like,
chatters
oh,
as
yeah.
people either.
I'll pivot though. I feel like I feel like a lot of that falls on you though, don't you think? Do you feel like you've bred that kind of environment and you feel like you're responsible for it, or do you think it's just your community?
No, I think and it's not really my community. My community has been extremely positive. What I consider my community, but I've always had people come into my stream, just random people that pop in, and they're always the ones that are saying that stuff. So when I say like my viewers are coming in saying that, it's really just the average guy that pops around every single stream and just living on Twitch. It's like, why aren't you doing a normal stream so I can like ask you questions and harass you? Like. That's how I've taken it. And of course, I'm singling out a few different names in my mind. Most people that come in and question it, I'm totally cool with because they're respectful about it. They're not just like, oh, you're not literally. I've had people just come in and be like, oh, you're not live again or something like that. Like, well, this is boring. See ya. I'm just like, well, why'd you
Why
even
the fuck
come
do you
in?
need to?
Like,
Yeah,
why
like
people
why do you
Jesus
need
spend their
Christ.
own time doing
So
that, bro?
I always like, unfortunately, because how my mind works, I always like look at the negative stuff, and it's really hard for me to see all the positive stuff. But that is what I'm trying to grow out of, is this idea of trying to please everybody. I just can't do it. I need to just do my thing. If people want to watch,
No
you
change.
can. If you don't want to support my channel, please just don't support my channel.
Fuck
That's
off.
fine. Like that's fine.
That's what he wants to say.
I hate the expectation. I hate it. And like, okay, listen, I also have to say this because I've had like Zoe Pancakes on. I had Nunu, Nels on. I had Nick Too Hard. Like, female streamers deal with this a lot more of this. Some random oil prince that starts donating a bunch. And then you have this expectation to almost keep them around because they're supporting you so much. And it ends up being this toxic environment of like, this guy that you feel like you need to please almost because he's going to support your rent for next month. You know what I mean? And I know like guys get that as well when you're a smaller streamer. It's not fun. I've dealt with that a tiny bit, and it's just like, no, the pure form of streaming is when you first start and you realize you have no expectations. Nobody gives a fuck. You don't give a fuck. You're just doing your thing. And that's what I love about streaming. And you build up these walls and boxes, and it's like, holy, I need to like tear it down.
Yeah.
I think early on in as far as you're talking about female streamers, like that is like the premier time of where those type of viewers like try and take hold. They try and take a hold early.
Just take advantage. Yeah.
Exactly.
dude.
They try and take advantage of that 100%.
There are people who literally scroll around like the bottom of the section to be like, oh, look at this new girl in here. I'm gonna be her number one, person. It's just
And it's
so
ignoble.
It's always Ignoble's alt.
Ignoble's out here just describing himself.
Yeah, I'm
poor
just
guy.
like, come on, man.
Doesn't
I
even
do
realize
think-
what he's doing.
Man.
I do think it's pretty cool that like all of us are at a level now where it sounds kind of shitty to say, but to like those chatters that Saeder's talking about, the ones that come in and are like, where's the content? I'm leaving. Like, it's cool that we can have those type of chatters though, where we literally value them as much as they value us. Like, we do not give a fuck about you. Like, on a serious note, like there are multiple chatters like probably come into my stream tonight, yesterday, day before, and all I see them is I just read their message and I don't value anything else they have to say. Like, I don't, like, they're not special to me because they aren't there to support, but they're watching the stream and they're chatting, so I'm going to read their message. But it's cool that we all have people like that show up.
Something else you just brought up something into my mind is like, I wasn't in a good place when I started streaming, just generally speaking, And so now I am trying to repair what my stream has kind of been. And now I will never turn into like a total degenerate streamer where just every one of my viewers is just like bullying me, luckily.
Dwight
And
stream.
so I've always had like great viewers, and now I value them a lot more, the people that actually create a positive environment. Because when I think of when I think now of like next year and what I want my stream to be, it involves no one being toxic. And I used to just kind of accept it, a little bit of toxicity here and there, because it's like, whatever, this is a stream, this is Twitch. But now I'm like, I want my place, like I want my stream to be my home in a way, and to make it like people are here to vibe out, to chill, to relax, and not have weird ass trolls come in and just ruin the vibe. So I take banning people a lot more seriously now. And I take, even if I see a message and I get a bad feeling from it, I'm just going to time them out. And it doesn't even matter if they were like, well, I didn't mean it that way, you bastard. Like, I don't care. It's just my stream. I'm not gonna like take it anymore. And so that's another thing. It's just not taking bullshit, realizing it's my own stream. I can do whatever I want, and that's really liberating once you can accept that. And I also just want to say, I know everything I've stated has been sort of negative. There's a lot of really positive things.
Same.
And, like,
You wouldn't do it if there wasn't, obviously.
I just have to say the negatives because it's like, yeah, but truly, I really am optimistic about the future, and I'm really optimistic about like just changing things and doing more of what I really want to do. So,
Hell yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah. I feel like I kind of shit on my year, but I definitely had a good year. And there's a lot of
Yeah.
positive from it,
There's
but
a
there's
lot of
also a lot
ups
of
and
things I want to
downs.
change. Yeah.
Bro, I also
There's
like
ups and downs.
I saw Q-Nix's dick so much. Like you
too.
like I don't think you realize like how what you've done. You live on your own. Like how old are you? Like 18? Like it's insane.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, that is true. It is weird to think about. I've been living, and I didn't even talk about this, but going next year, I'll be moving in with my little brother for a short time. And I've lived on my own since I was 20, and I'm 25 next year. So,
wow.
Like that is
Oh,
insane.
yeah, it is pretty crazy to think about. So, there's a lot of stress with that too. And I'm excited to get back and kind of have a cheaper rent and see how that goes for a little bit, because
Having a good roommate is fun, dude. Like it's if you have
Yes.
a good
Yeah. A
roommate.
good roommate.
And my brother,
A good
he
roommate.
works out,
Any
he
roommate.
eats, like my brother is going to, I hope it's not like we clash, because like he works out, he eats good, like everything that I lack in, like he's a very confident person, and I think moving in with him, he's gonna whip me into shape a little bit. So I'm
That's
excited.
Jack Q Nix 2023.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like
Not
I've
for too long though, right? Because I'm not staying at home for that much longer, Nick. You better figure it out.
No, yeah. Don't, no, yeah. I'm still
Okay,
trying to
I'm
get
just
out of
saying.
here. Trust me.
I feel like I always look forward to, like, in the future, like always, whether it's a good or bad thing, but putting. So Nick says his little brothers could potentially, like, whip him into shape, right? It's like I always see that in other persons, like, oh, like I want to be closer friends with this person because I think that they're going to push me in a positive direction. That's a good way of choosing your friends. But sometimes I'm scared because I'm just like, why do I not just do it myself? Do I just lack the internal, like, I don't know,
Drive.
It's like
yeah.
the mushrooms, baby. You just need a little help. Sometimes you need a little tool.
Yeah, 'cause
I'm
we
just,
all-
like shutting my mouth. I'm like,
I saw the
Everybody
look in
definitely-
Saeder's eye. I was like, I know he's thinking it too.
it helps with everything.
Yeah. I think everybody has the ability to do what they want. It's just the drive and the will and the mental power to do it, and finding that is definitely very liberating and freeing.
I think
I
what it
think-
is for a lot of stuff, is like you just need, for everybody has a different level of like catalytic energy that they need to start a task. Like I have ADHD, so for me that level is like way higher than most people for basic things, but everybody has that where it's like you just need something to help you get over the hump, and once you're there, you're good. But like everybody needs that, whether it's a friend, whether it's like you hear a podcast that inspires you, you read a book, you do a drug, whatever. It's like everybody has a version of that. You just got to find something that just like takes you to that level of being like, okay, I'm starting now. Because yeah, it's not that easy. Which also, honestly, New Year's resolution, now that we're doing this like, year-end recap, New Year's resolutions are a big thing for a lot of people for that reason. And I was talking to someone recently who thought New Year's resolutions are stupid. Like, if you want to do this, why don't you just do it now? But it's just so clear that like humans just need a distinct beginning and end of something before they can just go forward and make
Yeah.
the change that they want to make.
It
I think
helps.
people get caught up in the term New Year's resolution is just kind of like corny or whatever. Like really, what it is, just set some goals for yourself next year. It's not really you don't have to have like some insane resolution. I mean, I feel like I've written down a few things like of things I want to accomplish within like the next first half of the year, I guess. Just I feel like that's I mean it's healthy. It gives you, like Zoe said, it gives you a path, something to work towards. So
Yeah, there's like also just breaking habits is a huge thing. If you're not, like, at least for me, just breaking the habit of ordering food every goddamn day. Just stop. Like, just
That's
stop.
big, yeah.
Just stop ordering. And then, like, these habits take a minute to break. Like, most of the time, it takes about a month to break a habit. And then you're pretty much easy coasting. And that's with, like, almost everything in life. But you have to push through the first bit. And like that was with me with walking and just getting into exercising and getting into a lot more like calisthenics and stuff, was just building the habit. You have to take it step by step. Don't do anything extreme. Just like literally build up to it. It's so much more rewarding And if you see it as a lifelong pursuit, it's a lot nicer as well. Because any day, at least for me, where I'm just like, oh, this is something I can actually see myself doing for the rest of my life, it's so much better than like, I'm going to go like super fucking hard this week. And you can't actually see yourself doing that the next week or the next week. Like, just do something that can fit your lifestyle. It's so much easier that way. And just see it as like your whole life's a journey, you know? Like, you're going to have setbacks and stuff, but just push forward in a way, in a nice, I know I'm trying to like be all inspirational, but truly it's benefited my life this year. And so I feel like I have a little bit to say on it.
I think it could definitely be inspirational just because, like, the product is there. Like, you've shot, like, just your room, like, where you're sitting right
Just
now.
the room,
The way you look, you're tannish, like, you look good.
I mean, you definitely,
Just going
you've
outside
obviously, you've
and
obviously
a
turned a new
miracle.
leaf. Like, you know,
you
the
look
product
so
is
much
real.
healthier. I don't know like
You're not-
what
Fuck
it
the high
is,
level
but you're just
community.
Yeah, you're not selling
I
no bullshit.
am
though.
healthier. I am a lot healthier. That's it is crazy as well how like
Uh.
even your mentality makes your actual outside presence like you just look healthier, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Even if it's just internal, it's weird. I've noticed that with people as well.
I'm not trying to dissect your eating habits, but as someone who chronically orders food, what has been your approach to break those chains that may have bound you?
You just have to know what you're going to eat the next day. And I'm still working on that. My breakfast is solved because I've found something that really just works for me. And the other thing is just getting protein intake.
What is
I
it?
didn't
How do
take
you
that
know?
seriously at all, but truly
Protein.
like macros and getting enough protein every day is so essential to feeling good, not being lethargic, having energy. I don't even nap anymore. Like I will choose to nap on like maybe once or twice a month, you know, just because it's like, okay, I want to nap. But I have energy all day now because I was telling it on the prison joke. I was gonna just like Max. I'm like, what's your name again, Tasty?
Who are you, bro?
Yeah, whatever.
you here,
Max
bro?
and Seth.
Who do you know here,
podcast.
Tasty?
But no, like there was like this amazing vegan protein powder mix with mushroom blend, not psychedelic.
Hold
I
on,
wish
I
it was
love that
name of
stuff
that?
too, by the way.
I'm on Amazon right
Listen,
now. What is
listen.
the name of
Can I
this?
just bring it down here? Can I
Dude,
show
please,
you
go
guys?
ahead.
what I
Grab it.
Yeah, go get it, you know?
I will literally order that right now.
Whoa,
Holy
damn,
shit, you got the
that's
legs,
so
bro.
good.
Boy.
We
Damn.
baited him into showing leg again.
Yeah.
That was perfect.
We did it.
If you're not
too?
watching the video and you can go back and somehow skip
Yeah.
back to the last 10 seconds, you should do it. I swear, it's
Yeah.
worth it.
Ooh, he turned the light on too. Look at his room with
His
the
room
light
is
on.
so good. It's like having that type of like
I bet it smells
space
good.
is-
I just got like the image when he was talking about cleaning. He's just like smiling with this grin by himself, just kind of vacuuming the floor.
High as hell.
Yeah, that's so good.
That's me at every base party, honestly. 4 a.m. just fucking vacuuming.
Yeah.
I've been that. Yeah, you've been that person.
And Nick, I was gonna tell you with food,
fun,
like there's
man.
so many just like meal prep instructional on YouTube. Just find one and just give it a go. Like just get the ingredients, give it. It's gonna be cheap too. It's gonna be way cheaper than ordering. You'll save money. If you fuck it up, it's not gonna be that big a loss.
No.
But just do your best.
Yeah, I think that's the move.
With crystals at Sprouts, and I still save money.
Okay. This is my Okay, let me put my headphones in. I feel weird. Damn it, T-Pop. I do feel weird without my headphones. And these aren't even the ones that show
Can
my
you hear us without your headphones?
This.
What is that?
You see it?
I
know
see
it's
vegan
backward,
protein.
probably.
Sprouts.
Oh,
Vegan
it's from
protein.
Sprouts.
Oh, it is from Sprouts.
Yeah, it's Sprouts. This is what Tasty was not listening to me at all on the fucking
I
podcast.
was. I didn't realize it
listen.
was from
So,
Sprouts.
And then
I was
this,
listening to you
so
too,
listen,
but
I put a scoop of this into a blender bottle, which is 20 grams of protein and like very low carbs, very low fat. And then I put this. You guys see that?
What does it say?
Greens blend.
It's like it's berry flavored, but it's literally just like you smell it smells like grass. Like it's just all green, organic stuff. And it's just got a lot of like great nutrients, just 30 calories, but it's like just the vitamins and all that shit is amazing. And then I put this, which is a chia and flaxseed mix. And I put 3 tablespoons of that, which is 170 calories. And then I mix it all with some nice fucking oat milk. And I mix that, and I put some cinnamon in it, occasionally a little bit of honey, but it's already just tasting fantastic. I gotta go put this back up. But it literally, okay, listen. So I know everyone can have their own different breakfast, but if you make a dedicated breakfast and you wake up every single morning and just eat something that fuels your body, you will feel fucking great the whole day.
Yeah,
Like
it's
you
good.
literally will. And so this has been my every single day. I just drink it. And it tastes great. I've never gotten burnt of it. I've been doing it for like 2.5 months now. And literally now the rest of the day you need to plan out as well. Because if you just have this, then like later you're gonna be like, oh, what am I gonna do for dinner or lunch? And then you might order something. But you don't want to do that. You just want to say like plan a meal or two if you're gonna eat that way. I only usually do one meal and then I eat at like I ate right before this podcast for dinner, and then I will usually just have like a snack and like have like healthy snacks like available. If you have like candy and shit, which I used to carry around my apartment, that's just bad news. Just don't
I have
Don't
like
buy
a
it.
bag
Don't
full of
buy the
candy
candy.
beside my desk.
I feel like I'm
Sugar
getting
is the
fucking
worst.
called out right now. I have like Reese's peanut butter cups just sitting next to me.
That's what I'm saying.
Sugar is the worst. That is the number one enemy.
Nah,
I'll say too,
100%.
Nick, like if you're used to ordering food a lot, and you're trying to make the switch, I feel like a lot of people go way too hard. Like you don't have to, you can eat like frozen food and stuff. Like what I'll do normally is I'll just make a protein, a carb, and a vegetable. Like just plain and simple.
True.
I like
Yeah.
when I'm lazy, I just make some sweet potato fries in the air fryer, like regular fries even. Fuck it, it's fine. Like,
Yeah,
you know,
it's better than
sometimes if I'm
candy.
lazy, yeah, I'll do like broccoli and like a baked sweet potato and fish sticks. Like it's fine. Just like get those things in somehow. They don't all have to be perfect. You just have to be like, you know, hitting the food groups in the most efficient way possible. You don't have to be perfect with it.
That's what throws people off is people see the like these meal prep videos and these like
Don't eat
I
fucking
guess
plain
live
chicken.
coaches
You're gonna kill yourself.
And they make them look so perfect. Yeah, like they're like, here's how it looks.
Yeah, well, you
and
got
mine
these
just
are
looks
people.
like a pile
Those are
of
people
shit.
who've been doing and living that lifestyle for years. I mean, like Zoe said, you should like it's okay to have a night where you just kind of throw something together, but it's better than just like ordering some fast food off
McDonald's.
DoorDash or eating candy or whatever
Yeah.
degenerate style meal you get. Like, just something simple. I do it too. Like that's what I do tonight. Do something together really simple tonight. I mean,
I feel like
it's amazing.
HelloFresh and Factor unironically have to be cheaper than DoorDash too, right? Like, isn't that?
They are.
yeah, they
And
100%.
I would
100%.
assume, yeah, meal per value, definitely.
Yeah,
All right,
yeah.
fine. Drop a fucking HelloFresh code, T-Pop.
I don't
and do
got
it.
one. That's why I say unironically not sponsored.
One, bro.
I'm about to pick up a sponsor just to get some HelloFresh. Honestly,
It's
Yeah.
fuck
good,
it.
man.
Yeah.
Honestly,
Yeah.
HelloFresh is good too. I'm sorry, this is not sponsored, but HelloFresh is good too because I've scammed the system a few times. You know, I've gotten hella free boxes. I don't care. Different addresses, different names, whatever. Send it to my neighbor, pick it up. Who cares? Shut up.
That might be a
Anyway,
good way to like.
you get the recipe cards.
it's
Yeah,
like
like
how
I
you-
have like
Yeah.
20 recipe cards, and I still make a bunch of the recipes all the time. They're super
That's
easy.
smart.
They, you know,
And-
yeah.
Really
And you
smart.
just build up that confidence of being like, oh, I can prepare a meal that doesn't
Yeah.
taste like shit, and it's cheaper than ordering McDonald's for $20
That
at 3 in the
is-
morning.
I'm telling you, is the most satisfying thing is when you can prepare a meal that tastes good, that has decent nutritional value. That is when you really will feel really good about yourself, 100%.
And for me, I don't eat a lot, so I could prep like one time. Like I could make one meal and eat it for like 3 days or some shit. Like
Yeah.
that's big for me. So hopefully
And
I'll
for
eat
the
more.
days
but
when
yeah.
I'm like when I want to order food or something, I'm sorry, but I fucking keep chicken fingers and French fries in the freezer. What are you gonna do about it? I force myself to eat a little salad too, but sometimes you just gotta have a little something that makes you happy. I'm not like spending
Yeah.
$20 on McDonald's. I'm spending probably like $1.50 from my freezer,
Yeah.
and it made me happy.
Moderation is the key.
Dope.
Also,
Dude,
like
Yeah.
ordering food is still on the table. You could still do it, but make it like a monthly thing.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah, I still order
don't
at
eliminate
Chipotle.
stuff. I'm against
Yeah, well.
eliminating any like.
Yeah,
I don't
as
eat
you
cheese
said,
anymore, but yeah.
like when it comes down to it, breaking habits is hard. So like you can't just jump straight to the extreme and be like, I'm not ordering food anymore again. Like
Yeah,
you
you'll
definitely
just go
can-
back into it like 3 days
Yeah,
later.
you're just gonna be like, oh, cool. I had a week where I did really good. I'm gonna order food now, and then you just
I think
slump back
it's
into what you're
worth
doing.
it getting that habit because when you do have that day where you order that food, you actually enjoy it. It's definitely more rewarding to you.
Mhm.
When
You can
do
plan it
real.
as well. You like plan a
Yeah.
day where like, hey, this is the day I'm gonna order Thai
Yeah.
food. Like, let's go.
I get so horny about food, like more than anything. I know that day where I get to be a glutton and really just get into it. Like I get so like fried food, the fucking like Southern comfort. Oh man, like I'm so pumped. Like when I know it's about to go down. That's why I'm excited for the holiday because my mother, she whips it and she whips it unhealthy and she whips it hard, and I'm fucking pumped.
Yeah. Wait. I don't want to jump into like anything. Is this gonna be one of our last pods before Christmas? Are we gonna have one more? Or because a week from now is the 23rd, and I'm gonna be.
One more
I don't know if
before
I'm gonna be here. One more.
Here.
We can
Probably
figure it
one
out.
more.
Okay.
Yeah, we can do. Yeah, we'll talk about it after.
I was
So-
I
Yeah.
was gonna
Anybody have any
plug-
plans for Christmas?
But before we jump to Christmas, I want to
good.
stay on the habit thing. Just a little. I'm still on the bettering myself train at the moment, but I'm
I
literally.
want to talk about Christmas with Q-Neeks. Fuck
wanna-
you, Ignoble.
Fuck y'all.
No, we
I
can get to that. We
I
can
wanna-
get to that.
Man.
I want to know what Ignoble like struggles with
Yeah, go on.
when it comes with like diet or something like.
Oh.
I thought you were going to say habits. I was
Lifestyle.
about to tell you.
I mean, habits as
Lifestyle
well.
changes.
That's what
Yeah.
I mean. Like,
What
Porn.
lifestyle changes could the
I
beautiful
think-
Ignoble Solid have?
Oh boy. All right, we're gonna dissect my brain. I was gonna do one thing before I did dive into that. I have a book on my bedstand, which I think has changed my life in terms of understanding habits. It's called. I'm not sponsored by this dude, but it's called The Power of Habit by Charles Duhigg.
It's a
Dude,
really
I'm-
good book. I've read that.
Incredible
I'm not
book.
kidding. I have it sitting on the floor beside my desk as well. I'm pretty
Dude,
sure.
on the floor.
Okay, at least mine's on my
Well,
bedstand,
listen.
like feet away.
He ain't reading
I
that.
don't have
Q-Neeks
a
did
desk.
not read the book.
I have a
Did not
lamp.
read the book.
Man, fuck you, man. My mom bought me it. Okay,
But
whatever.
no, I think it's a really
That's when you know
popular
you're
book
not
in
gonna
that
read
space.
it when somebody else buys it for you. It's just like, yeah, I'm not doing this shit.
Yeah, but it really helps you understand like it truly the power of habit, how once something's ingrained in you and how to build up to that point. It's really eye opening. So if anybody struggles with that, that's a great way to learn a little bit more about it. But what I struggle with is like I see myself. So I'm just gonna use the example of like exercising. Ideal case, I'm like, okay, I want to be at the gym 3 to 4 days a week and like putting all time into cardio, and I envision myself, at my peak doing all those things. But I best case, I want to build up to that, right? But to me, I'm just like, oh my God, that's overwhelming. There's way too many things. Like in order to get to that point, I have to drop all of my habits. Like I'm not going to have time to sit at my PC and play RuneScape or watch Twitch or like do all these other things. Like, and that sort of freezes me in position and I get stuck. I'm like, oh, that's too much. Like I would not be able to sustain that kind of stuff in my life. Why should I bother doing that or getting to that point? And I'm in this negative headspace of like, I don't see a point in doing that because it's going to ruin the other aspects of my life. And I don't want, for example, fitness to take over everything. So why bother even starting? And then I just get lost.
I think the best, like,
it's a
I'll
bad-
just share
it's a bad
my
space, but
thoughts.
yeah.
I'll share my thoughts because I was exactly with you. Like a year and a half ago, I was like, what the fuck is the point of trying to get healthy? Like every single time I like just go back to my old ways, like 4 days later. Like this is so stupid. It's so hard. This isn't even me as a person, like why am I trying to do this? Me like, 30 pounds heavier than I am right now. And you realize like if you get into some habits, like you start realizing like exercise is fun as hell. Like it's actually probably like the most fun you can have if you do it your way. So not what like I don't even go to a gym. I don't go to a gym. I don't enjoy going to a gym. I hate waiting at a bench or something. There is so much more to like just fitness in general than having to go to a gym 3 times a week. I feel like that was ingrained in my mind for so goddamn long. Just this idea. Now I don't know if it's the same with you. Maybe you enjoy the gym, but for me, I just absolutely did not enjoy doing it. I would always try to find an excuse not to go. And you can literally do so much cardio in your own room. I mean, you can literally just do jumping jacks and like other like burpees and stuff, but just do things that you like. And also, I will say, dude, I had this 5-hour trip again, just going back to it, where I literally danced. I danced for like 5 goddamn hours in my room. I
It's
Oh,
the
had
best.
I had the biggest smile on my face, and I was just drenched in sweat. And I was just like, oh my God, like I have just discovered why dancing is so great. I thought dancing was stupid. Like, no, dude. Then you start realizing, and if you have good music as well, that's a key important thing. Like, dude, moving your body is so thrilling. Now, it won't be thrilling if you put a bunch of shit into your fucking mouth and just let it sit there like ordering DoorDash every goddamn day like I was doing. Then you're not going to feel great and up to it. But as soon as you get your diet squared away, everything else just falls into place, I feel like.
So you guys have actually done that dance because I have literally in my house, I have a decent speaker in my kitchen. I've like just threw some music on and like I just like shadow boxed and danced in my house like a psychopath for like 2 hours
Always.
straight. And I was just
So
drenched in
good.
sweat.
I was
'Cause
like,
I'd,
why have I not been doing this my whole life?
it was just fun. I don't know. It was spontaneous too. I've done it a few times. I don't know.
Are you saying you do this sober or when you're on shrooms?
I do
I
this
was
sober
sober.
too now.
Okay.
I
I
do
did
this
it
sober
sober.
now too.
Yeah,
Okay.
I did it
I think it's
sober.
yes. I have to bring up that me and Papa both had to get sturdy, and I don't know if he's feeling the way I did, which
Bro,
some of
I
y'all-
was sore for like 2
Y'all
days
popped
after
off.
getting sturdy for an
Okay, I was
hour.
about to say, yeah, that just shows the lack of physical movement our bodies go through day in and day out. Because
I
after
was
I
not
attempted,
about to tell anyone that I was sore from dancing. Yeah, that was.
yeah, no, literally,
Why
I
are you gonna
spent it.
out us, Cuniques? I didn't want to ask you or anything. I was like, yeah, that was
Sorry,
fun, huh?
my bad. Yeah, we literally like I spent like an hour trying to learn a dance on stream, and for the next like even to this day, if I stand up right now, my legs are still a little sore, and it's
Yeah,
like,
I'm still
damn,
sore.
like,
How long
what is
ago
going
this?
on?
Bro, dance is
Uh,
hard.
It
No,
is
Dan-
true. It's a good workout. It makes you realize.
That was
Yeah.
my job for a long time. That shit's hard as fuck.
Learning an actual dance is hard as fuck, but if you're just like dancing, and I mean just like doing whatever the hell you
Jumping
want,
around.
that feels good. Yeah, it feels great. And
Yeah.
you can like clean while you do it too.
It'll gas you out, man. Like when I put on the lobster suit and dance, because it's like a redemption on my stream. It's fucking yeah. Like I go hard for 2 or 3 minutes too, and like when I sit down, I'm breathing. Like it's I'm running and working out pretty regularly, so it definitely will gas you out.
That's the best way to exercise, by the way, dancing. It's such a big calorie burner too if you're like trying to lose fat.
Yeah,
So
I noticed
good.
that with the fucking trying to get sturdy, bro. I sat down, I literally had sweat like running down my face, and I weigh like 100 pounds. I was like, bro, how am I sweating right now? Like, what the fuck is going on? Yeah, it was fun.
I feel like
Yeah.
dancing
You gotta
on
wear
this
your Apple Watch to
headspace-
the rave. You
Oh,
burn like
dude.
5,000
Oh,
calories,
yeah.
legit.
It's
Those
one
are
of those
insane.
things where it's like it's not endurance based, but it's not. It's kind of like in the middle of like the burst endurance and like the long term endurance. It's kind of like a good median. So you kind of get both.
Yeah.
It's fun. I don't know. And again, everything's step by step. You can't just see somebody like fucking taste and be like, I want that jawline tomorrow. Like you just can't get that. Everything is step by step. But
Yeah.
just make it a lifelong thing. Like I want to do this for my own health because I want this when I'm 50. Like you got to see like long term like what you want. At least that's helped me just being like seeing my grandparents that are just incredibly unhealthy and overweight, and I'm like every time I've ever visited them, it's like just complaining about their back or their feet. I'm like, holy shit, like that is not a great life for like as many years as you have as like an older person. Like that
Yeah.
sounds miserable.
Kinda
So you
shows the
Yeah.
lack of action they took in their early years.
I know, and like
Mhm.
it's just like that I do not want that to be me. I want to live like a healthy life and not be aching because I know what aching feels like. It sucks.
The
So
worst.
like doing that for the last 30 years of your life is not a fucking optimal route.
Before we jump into the Christmas thing, Nick, I want to make one more pivot while we're here in my therapy session. So you talked about dancing. I think like dancing in your kitchen, like when you're like, alone in your house, in your kitchen, bedroom, awesome, great, right? But then I feel like in my mind, if I put like another person in the situation, I always have this idea of just like how I am perceived by them. Like I don't want to dance my heart out because I'm worrying about what they think of me.
Yep.
And like, I mean, so like even if going out to like a bar or something, the only time I'm down to like just have a great time is after I have like a bunch of drinks in me, or if I'm at a rave doing, certain substances. When I'm not in my sober mind, it's just like when I'm sober, I'm just like care way too much about how other people perceive me. I'm trying not to be weird and enjoy myself. It's just such an awesome thing. I don't know if you guys have all felt that way and if you guys have beat it. So
Yeah, bro, I had to
no.
get sturdy on stream for an hour the other day, dude. Do you think I want to dance?
Low key, that helped me because I'm definitely
Yeah.
one of those people that if I'm in a social environment, I do not want to dance around people. Like literally, Zoe was there, Tasty was probably there, at Boris, and I was just kind of standing there because I was like, man, I don't know, I don't feel free spirited enough. It sucks. I
Lopsy
hate feeling
put a
that.
can between his feet, and the can didn't move the whole time. The can stayed exactly where it was.
Okay, but what's funny is I was still enjoying the music. I just was like, man, people are gonna think I'm weird when it's like
Yeah.
nobody cares, bro. Everybody else
Right.
is turning up. Like,
Yeah.
it's such a hard thing to
I
beat.
forgot
The
you were
perception.
there, dude. Like, I was just-
Yeah.
Yeah, I was
Substances
killing
help.
wyverns.
I will
Yeah,
say that.
that's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. I think
Is there a way
I
to
should have
not
taken
I,
some.
literally- I saw this guy pull out his phone and start killing wyverns. I was furious. I was we're at Boris Brescia. Like, this is our first time meeting like some
Gaming.
of our best
True
friends.
gamer.
Like,
Oh, that's a
Put that
hardcore
away,
too,
dude.
bro.
I
Yeah,
think
you're like, come
you
on.
can naturally overcome that as well, Ignoble. I was gonna ask you, like in your like working and in school, you don't feel like you've overcome that at all?
It's all about like it's weird, like as in how I feel about my presence in the room, as in like if everybody around me is like younger than me or looks up to me as like a mentor or something, I feel like in charge and I can be myself and do whatever because I am, you know, not better than them, but in a place that is more experienced than they are. But if I'm in like a place where there are people who are in a higher position than me, such as like a potential boss or somebody who has more experience or higher role than me, I look around and like I care so much about how I'm perceived by them. I'm like sitting down and like, oh man, do they think I'm weird if I don't move my hand? Okay, I'm gonna move here, grab my glass of water and drink it to be normal. You know, it's just like my inner monologue is just like caring way too much about how these other people perceive me, which is like,
it's definitely a journey because I feel like in my former career, like it forced me to get past that 100%. Just like people on their worst day, just I'm there and I'm dealing with it, and like I have to just let go of like perception. And just being in that position in general, you have to just let go of perception and not give a fuck. Because I mean, if you do, like you're done for. You're not gonna last. So that's why I asked you if working had done that, because I feel like being in that constant social environment, eventually you just get to that point. Because especially if you like, it's always like at any like workplace, the person who's been there for a long time is always that person who just doesn't give a fuck because they have gotten they've worked past that. And I feel like people, like depending on what their trajectory is, they get past it quicker than others.
Yeah. I think for me, like especially with work stuff, as I said, like I like keeping my like stream stuff and work stuff very separate, because like the last thing I want in my life is like somebody in my professional life judging me for some of the dumb shit I might say, you know, off in a non-professional sense. And like I do care a lot about how my colleagues potentially see me, but I don't know. That
was gonna be my next question, because when you're streaming, like you just say whatever the fuck you want. You don't give a fuck. So like if you could channel some of that into your personal life, I mean, you'll be fine. Because you just, you know, and that's great for streaming. Like that's like one of the number one things is to not take yourself too seriously, like 100%. So.
Yeah. And I have to give props. Yeah. Oh, sorry.
No, go for it.
I was just saying, I just want to give props to Papa, because I literally went from my getting sturdy thing to rating him, and the amount of Riz Papa had versus me trying to learn that shit, bro. Papa, you were doing you were just like, I could just tell, like you're way more free spirited than I am.
Bro, Kinix, the second I realized I had to get sturdy, I pumped with performance enhancers, bro. Just
yeah, you did drink. He did drink.
He drank. It was all of them. I was on the performance enhancers.
It really is though, dude. Because like when I drink, that's when I really get like, because like normally I don't kind of really, you know, like obviously everybody has that like that social boundary, but like when I start drinking, I really like it just goes out the window. Like we're at the dinner spending $19,000 and I'm like putting my foot up on the table, showing my American socks and talking shit to Bodie. Like I just didn't give a fuck, you know.
Like man asked for a Miller Lite, bro. I swear to God. You know, you slowly divulge. So.
I'll just say before we move on to the Christmas stuff, ignoble, like one last thing I'll say is I feel like autonomy, I know I used that word earlier, but just having full control over your life will just make you so much more confident in every single situation. Now, I'm not like trust me, I'm not like the golden child, like this is me, but I'm working on it as well. But seriously, just gaining control over things. So for example, like if you want to go to the gym and you're not doing it, you don't have control, you know, like because you want to do it, but you're not doing it. So as soon as you start building those habits in, everything else in your life just gets a lot better. So things that you want to do that you're not doing are going to make you so much less confident in every single situation. I directly experienced that for years. Just this idea of me that just wasn't me, because I wanted to do things. I never did them because I was too fucking lazy. And I was like, yeah, that's too hard. But
damn.
It's what you want to do. Like, can you do what you want to do? And if you can't, you're going to just be like not in a good place almost in any social situation.
Yeah.
So, and I'm still working on it, a ton of it, but
all of us are.
What I've seen.
Yeah. So I think like to me, the ideal person, like the person I want to be, is like I want to be able to go out to a bar, go out to a rave, and enjoy myself completely without caring what anybody thinks, and dance my ass off and live my life. Like that's like the peak of, you know, I've hit my confidence level that I want to be at.
And then you got to like break it down of like what gets you to that vision. Like you see everything about yourself like in the perfect ideal setting, and you're like, what got me to that point? And then you just break it down step by step, and then everything becomes really easy. But again, it's just breaking bad habits. which is like the only tough part, and it's only tough for like a month.
I think too, you really gotta.
Oh.
Sorry.
I was just gonna say that I feel like that confidence, when you do become that like autonomous person, really plays into other things too, even outside of like
Everything.
dancing at a rave. Yeah, like you just carry yourself so much differently. And I still feel like I definitely struggle with like having control of myself. And so when it comes to other relationships or me doing things in life, I feel like I see myself as a lesser person than a lot of people because of that. And I'm like, people think I'm a loser if I do this, when like nobody fucking cares. It's like, bro, if you think you're the man, you're the man. Who cares what anybody else says? So it's just really how you perceive yourself. Yeah.
But it's hard to fake that. You really do have to have your life in order to really just embody it.
I don't know.
That is
I was gonna
true.
say, to a certain
That's
degree,
true.
I think you gotta fake it for a bit. Like that's what I've noticed is that like for a long time I felt like I didn't deserve to be confident. Like I felt like I didn't have enough to you know what I mean? Like a lot of
I
people,
relate.
it seems like they have everything together. It seems like they deserve confidence because they've worked for it. They're cooler, they're smarter, they're better, whatever. Like everybody deserves confidence no matter what. You have to fake that confidence to a certain extent until you start believing it yourself. I feel like that's something I learned a lot in like theater school when it's like sometimes you get fucking like 2 hours to learn something and you feel like shit about it. Like, you know, it's not going to be a good performance, but what are you going to do? Like go up there and like apologize for it? You can't. You have to just go up there and just fake it. And eventually you'll see that nobody's dissecting everything you do as much as you are. Nobody notices all the little things. Nobody cares.
Yeah.
Once you
Man.
realize that none of that matters, like you're good.
That's true.
And I think faking it in the beginning, even if you think you're not there yet, is totally fine.
No,
And
yeah,
maybe I was gonna say maybe that's part of the like building into becoming that autonomous person where you are just that person. Like you kind of do have to fake that stuff and really believe it, and then you become
Yeah.
it. So I think it's a part of that process too.
I think
Sorry,
Saeder's a
Max.
product of that with his like recent journey, and like what he's been saying is that he wants to stand up for himself more and not care as much about what people are thinking. And I think the journey he's made, and like you said, having your life in order makes being confident and like you believing in yourself makes it way easier.
Way
So-
easier.
I'm just saying you can
100%.
start with either one. You can start with the steps or you can start with the confidence. Somehow you're going to meet in the middle and
Yeah.
you're going to come to a place where you're happy eventually. But you can
love
start
that.
either way.
Yeah, when I very first started like going to the gym at all, I was a fucking beanpole. Like I had the least impressive body out of anyone in this entire like chat right now, and I would only go with my friends because I didn't want to go alone and like look like an idiot and look weak on the machines. Like I would have to have someone with me. And I did that for like a couple months before I like finally got the courage to just start going alone. And then I realized like a year in, no one even knows you're there unless you're one, lifting really heavy, or two, a really hot girl. If that's the case, you got to figure something else out. But like, if you're neither of those
True.
things, like
Nobody cares.
no one
True.
gives a fuck about you. Like,
No.
they
If
don't
If anything,
even
they're
know that
happy
you're
you're there on
No,
your own
I'm
as
happy.
some
Like,
scrawny
dude,
guy.
when I see a scrawny dude at the gym, or just like somebody
Oh, yeah.
who's clearly like out of shape and they're really just trying to get after it, like that's
Big time, dude.
encouraging. And like, if I had the balls to, I'd be like, hey, like you're doing a good. Like, I don't want to feel.
Keep
I
it
just
up.
feel weird to tell them to say something.
Yeah.
It might feel
I
weird
wish
for
I could
them,
tell
too.
them. I wish
If I
like,
see someone,
yeah.
if I see someone repeatedly, like if I see a scrawny dude repeatedly at the gym like over a month, I'll go up and be like, "Yo, dude, like good work. Like I'm seeing gains," and they light up. They love that.
yeah.
That's amazing.
Man,
Good
I
for you.
love that. Good job, Tasty.
good for them, bro.
No, good for you for acting on that though, because a lot of people want to give compliments and like be that guy that just like encourages somebody, but we just don't because we're like, oh, that'd be awkward.
Yeah.
But when
Yeah.
you actually just
I-
go over there and
I
just,
had someone do that to
be a
me when I
pal.
was
It's
like
awesome.
first starting out. He's like, "Oh, dude, your biceps are coming in." I was like, "Oh, no way."
Really? Let's go.
That's got to be such a
Fucking
motivating
awesome.
thing, like, you know, and I'm sure you carry that with you today, right? Just like you see that, like you're like that one dude changed my life, and now I
Yeah,
deadlift.
like
Everybody
seriously,
has
Tasty
like,
still remembers
especially
that guy.
with gym culture. Everybody has like their what is it called? Like your someone who like kind of brings you into it and like sets you. I forgot what
Your
the term
mentor?
is.
You're
No,
Judas.
there's a different word for it.
Your-
It's like bro something. I forgot what it is, but there's always somebody who like gets you into it and gives you those compliments. Because I had someone like that too. Didn't know him at all. So like Tasty, like started coming up to me, talking to me, then like started showing me like different stuff in weightlifting culture, and really got me like into it. It made me feel confident. Because like when someone gives you that confident, like just that little comment, it really can just change everything. Like, because then you're validated in your progress.
Yeah.
One compliment. I still think of one compliment from 7th grade that a girl gave me, and I still remember it. I still remember like perfectly because you don't get compliments as a middle schooler. You know what I mean?
All 3 compliments girls have ever given me, I remember them, dude.
All 3.
Oh yeah,
That sounds like one of your YouTube videos.
Literally. No, but when it's a genuine compliment from somebody that just actually wants the best for you, it's like, holy moly, that just changed my life. Yeah, that's cool.
I think for me. Sorry, what'd you say, Max?
What was Saeder's compliment?
Oh yeah, I want to know. Yeah, I want to know that. What'd she say?
What
She just said, "You're looking really nice today." That was literally it. And I'm like,
Dude,
I have never heard
so
that
wholesome.
before, ever.
It goes to
I'm
show,
gonna
man.
cry.
Damn,
Yeah,
dude.
dude, like it goes to show that like just being nice to someone in your day can be so effective to that
so
person's
powerful.
life, bro. Oh my god.
Just
And
a
I didn't even
throwaway
believe
comment.
it. I was like looking behind me. I was like, "Who are you talking to?" Like, I've never
You're
heard
not
that
talking to
before
me.
ever to me.
The best compliment I've ever gotten in my entire life. I was a freshman in college, walking to class. Some random girl walks past me, and she's like, "I really like your outfit." That's the best comment I've ever gotten in my entire life. It was just like it was a pants and shirt, but I was like, "Oh, he likes my outfit."
Didn't take that shirt off for the next month.
Oh, I got one recently. I got one recently from an old lady. I got one recently that made me feel so good, and I felt like a hero already. It was a lady. I went shopping. I got like a bunch of groceries, and she was in front of me, and she just left her car just sitting there, and like she was long gone by the time like I realized this was a car, and I was like, "Whose is this?" And they're like, "Oh, it's that lady's." And like I ran out, like I was like ran out of the fucking Kroger,
Ma'am.
trying to find her. And I found her, and I felt so fucking like good giving it to her. And then she told me I was handsome, and I was like,
Aw.
I was like, let's
Nice.
Like, I'd let you lay it down for sure.
Whoa,
Sorry.
Jesus, Nick,
Sorry.
bro.
And
Sorry.
We're having a
then
wholesome
later
moment.
that night,
I'm
we
sorry.
got the
I'm
snap,
sorry.
dude. I remember. I remember that one.
Oh no.
I felt so good though.
Movie. He
It's
filmed
like-
a movie with her after.
It's so awesome because I had a kind of moment like that. There was somebody who lives in the apartment building where I live right now, and a couple months ago, she parked in the handicap space. She has trouble walking, has a walker, and she's sitting in her car, and like she's about to get out. You know, I was walking to my car because I was about to drive and leave off. Like before I left, I walked to the trash bin because I had to throw some shit out, and I noticed her just like sitting there, just like trying to figure stuff out, like trying to get out. I was like, what's going on? Should I figure? I walked to my car. I sat in there for 2 minutes, and I was just like, you know what? Fuck it. So I got out, and I talked to her. I was like, hey, like, is everything okay? Need a hand? And she's just like, yeah, can you please help me just, like, get out, like, get to my apartment with these groceries that I bought. I'm having some trouble. And, like, I helped her out, and she was just like, just very wholesome, just like, you know, God bless you. Thank you for, you know, helping me out. And I'm just like, all I did was just, you know,
Just shaking. Just
yeah, like all I did was grab your groceries and walk you like 2 steps up. Like I'm happy to do it, but like at part of me is just like, why did I not just immediately do that? Because like I want to help my fellow person and just, you know, like why do I care about like, oh, what does she think? Just go in there, do it, do something positive. It was a 5-minute interaction, and she was so happy about it, and she made my day by just saying such positive things about me. And I was like, I don't know, it.
Yeah.
good.
Good interaction. It just
That's
feels good,
amazing.
man. You know.
Giving and taking, like just
Yes,
giving
being on both
the-
ends.
Yeah, giving the favor and just receiving a favor is just amazing. Yeah.
This has been the Christmas conversation all along. Look at us go.
Damn.
Honestly, true, man. Really, like, you know, the material gifts. Fuck that. Go out in the community, do something. I did a lot of stuff in the community, and at my job when I was working. I'm excited to just as like a, you know, as a freelance, just regular person, just go out there and get involved. Yeah, as a civilian. Yeah, I guess you could say I'm
Civvy.
excited to go do some things and help some people out, make some people's days. I don't know what's going to be, but I'm going to look around and find something to do. So.
I will say one place where you can make an immediate impact is if you like go out like on the weekends or something like that and you meet up with your guy friends, compliment them on something that they've done. Whether it's like they got a haircut, they like got a beard trim, they got new clothes or something, their shoes. Make just one small thing like, hey dude, I love your boots. They will be fucking beaming, like shining about that the entire night. Just from one small comment. And don't just like say it for the sake of saying, you know, just genuinely mean it. Be like, you know, I like your sweater, dude. I like
Be like, I'm
this.
fucking with the fit tonight, my man.
Yeah.
Like,
No,
this is
don't
fire. Yeah,
don't
like,
do that.
let
It's
them
got to
know.
be like got to be like sincere, you know, just slightly sincere. Get yourself a little bit like, you know.
Yeah, a little out of your own comfort zone.
Yeah,
I've definitely done that before.
Be a little
I do that to my mom more. I do it to my
be
siblings.
tender.
I used to shit on my siblings all the time, and now when I see them, like, you look good today, like you, like genuinely, I'd be like, you look pretty today, like to my sister, and because I used to be so mean to her, so it's just nice, and I know it definitely affects her confidence, so it's good to do that.
Compliment is free, you know. It's like you're not
I know.
hurting your. It's not. You don't have to pay for it. You don't have to do anything. You see something you like, you say it, and that's a net positive for everybody. And so why not just do it?
I've wrote down an idea about like trying to involve, because I mean everybody does like your standard, you know, charity stream where whatever company contracts you to push whatever the charity is. But like I've wanted to like do like some type of, my idea was like an IRL stream where I'm cooking, like going to whatever kitchen that's providing food to people, and I wanted to spend it as just like cooking and like just show the whole process of the cooking, giving the food out to people, and then all the money like have a donation goes up and see how much money I can like exploit out of people who are watching. And obviously all that money is going to go towards, all that money is going to go. I just don't know what to do with the money. Like, I guess it depends on who I'm working with, but I've been like, that's been something in my head that I want to do. I feel like that'd be really cool. And it'd be a different way of doing a charity stream instead of just sitting in a chair playing a game. Well, nothing wrong with that. That's great. If you're doing that, keep doing it. But I just want to do something different.
Yeah, I think if you just set it to where like your normal donations it goes to you, but then after you get it all, you make sure to write a check for that money. I'm pretty sure that like whoever you give that to in donation, like if it's a local place, they'll give you something for like, I'm not sure if you care about tax write-offs, but they'll give you some legal stuff, and you can.
That's the only reason I feel bad about doing it that way is because that's what people. Oh, you only did it for a tax write-off.
Yeah.
So it's,
Damn, there's me being slimy. I don't know.
I'd have to figure it out. So. But that would be really fun.
Christmas plans.
Christmas? Yeah, Christmas.
I'm going to Mexico.
Dude, wait, where are you going?
Cancun.
I'm going to Cancun.
No, you're not.
I'm not kidding.
What?
I'm going to Cancun for Christmas.
Like you're gonna
I
be
think
there.
We leave a little bit before Christmas and we come back after Christmas.
Yeah, same.
You guys should.
Okay, no, I got it.
Wait. I got this. Type the resort you're gonna stay in the.
I need
in the
to
chat.
actually.
I don't remember.
I don't even know either yet.
Don't say it. Don't say it out loud.
Yeah, my parents have all set
Dude,
it up. We'll definitely
meet
be in
up, dude.
touch.
We'll
Yeah,
meet
dude,
up.
that'd be so
Gotta
cool.
meet up for sure.
That'd be
That-
sick, bro.
You
So,
guys
I
better
had
have
no
a
idea.
nice. You better have a nice dinner together, like something real nice, wholesome. You better take a wholesome photo.
Yes,
Yeah.
bro. I'll come
Oh,
over to your
absolutely.
resort, or you'll come over to mine. I'm
Absolutely.
pretty sure
Yeah.
mine's gonna be all inclusive, so you could definitely.
Mine's
just
all
pull
inclusive
up.
too.
God damn.
Bro, that's
Dude,
what
maybe,
we-
what if it's the same fucking
If it's the same
resort?
place, that would be so funny.
Dude, I'll find out for sure. That
You
is
guys are gonna be
crazy.
together
That
every
is
day.
awesome.
Yeah, that was part of the reason why I brought it up. I wanted to be like, yeah, I'm going to Mexico,
Yeah, I'm going
bitch.
to.
But
This is the first time I'm going to Cancun. Like, this is an actual
Really?
vacation. I never go on vacations. So, like,
I've
I
been
mean, I went to
to-
Miami a couple years ago, but nothing.
is this your first time out of the country?
It's not my first time out of the country, but it's my first time out of the country on a vacation.
Okay.
Congrats, you deserve it.
Good shit.
I hope you guys both have a good time. That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
I've been to Cancun once, and I was younger, and I got sun poisoning, and I'm dumb.
Sun
I've been-
poisoning?
Yeah, I'm gonna be caked up in sunscreen.
Is sun poisoning a
Please.
thing?
You gotta
Yes.
be wet.
Yeah,
poisoning's a
I
real
got
thing,
it
yeah.
once.
Yep.
It's
I've gotten it
so
once, too.
bad.
It is a terrible.
I'm sorry.
time.
This
It
is something
ruined-
that I've never
ruined it
experienced
for me.
before. I need to know
Yeah.
about this.
I didn't understand how close to the equator we were.
Yeah,
I thought I'd be all right.
I'm trying
I
to
was
come
not.
back like a couple shades darker for sure.
I'm
Wear
not.
sunscreen,
That's not
please,
worth
still.
risking.
The
dude.
sun there,
Please.
is a different ball game. It's a different beast.
Especially if you're
Yeah,
by
I've
the
been okay. No,
ocean.
You will
Yes,
still get
yeah.
tan with sun
Fuck.
lotion. With sunscreen.
yeah.
I
I'm not
definitely will.
kidding.
Yeah.
One time, because I've been to Cancun, like this will be like my fourth time. I went one time during a summer, and I came back to like this running camp that I'd been a part of, and I left for like that couple days to go to Mexico. And I came back, and I wasn't like super good friends with all of my like runner friends yet, and they were like, "Bro, did you get a spray tan?" And I was like, "No." So I went to Mexico. They genuinely thought like it was like for whatever reason I just went from being the whitest kid ever to being pretty tan and like not burnt. And they're like, "What happened?" And I was like, "I went to Mexico." And they're like, "Oh," and that was it. But yeah, I love Cancun. I'm excited.
Damn. I'm so excited. What
That'll
about
be
you guys?
gas. We get to meet. Yeah. What does everyone else do?
I got
you know,
family coming in then. I'm cruising,
Yeah.
just chilling. Which
I'm
I'm
gonna be
excited
with
for.
I'm gonna be with Big Cheryl, my mother, for most
Some
of
good
it.
cooking.
You know, just good cooking, hanging out. I plan to make content out of it too. I'm very excited to make my mom a YouTube star. So I hope you guys look forward to that. Should be good.
Yes, bro.
Extorting my
sick.
mother for clout.
We could kick Prison Joe out, add Shirley into base. Hell yeah.
I don't know what it is, dude. Every time my mom has come on, there's people love my mom. So I feel like she has a redeeming value as content. I don't know if that sounds bad, but she's all for it. She likes it because every time she's on there, people say super nice stuff to her, and she like actually makes her day. Because like I remember the one time we went to Red Lobster together, and like I like showed her like just the chat, and everybody was just saying the most nice stuff. Honestly, I'm surprised there's not like an incel comment, and there's nothing. They're just all happy, like really nice comments. Like, cause like she's lost a bunch of weight and she's on like a big health fitness journey, and yeah, like made her whole week. So
That's
great.
amazing.
yeah, I love involving her.
I'm going to the in-laws for 4 days, but besides that, I'll be here chilling. At the in-laws though, I play my favorite game. It's like get high and then see if no one notices because they're super Mormon.
God,
Beautiful.
I just forgot about all that. Jesus Christ.
So like Annie's family is all Mormon, so then all the extended family comes over and they're all Mormon, and I'm just sitting there in the back with like, I'll usually take half of an edible and I'm just chilling, just watching.
God damn, bro.
I'm picturing T Papa sitting in the back wearing like a fuck pregnant bitch's shirt, just like high as fuck.
My favorite story. So there was like, I don't know how many people were over. There was like probably 15 people over. We were all playing Jackbox and I was fried out of my mind, dude. And I won like every game on Jackbox.
They don't even know
like,
what being high is. That's the best part, though. So like, they don't even know you're high. They just think you're tired. You're like, oh, you're tired.
Don't. And yeah, I smoked him on Jackbox for 2 hours, and Annie was getting so mad because she knew I was high, and she was just livid that I was beating him. I was talking smack too, and yeah. It was great. So I'm really looking forward to get high around the in-laws and have, play like it's almost like I'm an FBI agent. Like I can't have them find out. So, and I pay my own bills. Like there's no repercussions if they do. So like, it's so much fun.
Man,
that would be a good
stressful.
YouTube video. My Mormon relatives called the cops on me. Like, that would be a good video. That would be.
They wouldn't call the cops. They'd call their bishop or their.
They would. They would. Oh, the missionaries are coming over to talk to you tomorrow.
He'd give you a blessing or something. Like he's acting weird. It's just marijuana, guys. Give him a blessing.
I'm gonna be visiting family for Christmas. It's actually pretty cool because my sister's birthday, my birthday, and like my parents' anniversary are all like around the Christmas time. So it's like and I don't get to see them prior, like a couple months before Christmas, couple months after. So we all get together and celebrate all of the things, the holidays, birthdays, anniversaries, and it's just a very wholesome time. Go back, enjoy.
Nice.
Cute.
Zoe?
I think it's just Zoe.
I'm one of those sad Christmas people, so I'm gonna just spend probably the day with my mom, and then I'm probably gonna try to stream a lot because I know how it is to have bad stuff revolving around Christmas, and I know that like stream and stuff can be a very comforting place, so I'm gonna try to be there while most people are gone.
Noble, I like that.
Cool.
Annie
That's
works
good.
like
Awesome.
Christmas Eve and Christmas. I'll be alone. I might stream too. We'll see. She's got
Might
to
as
work.
well.
On
No, there's gonna
Christmas?
be.
Damn.
Yeah. She has to work Christmas Eve and Christmas. So I think I'll probably pot the holiday stream. We'll see. We'll see what's going on. I
it's a good-
imagine.
On a late nighter, maybe.
Well, I did for the first time ever this year. I streamed on Thanksgiving, and that was like one of the most epic streams ever because like nobody else was really live, and it was just I was just like there's obviously a lot of people there who just kind of needed somewhere to be.
Yeah,
it
people
felt
need
like.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's
and
nice.
I felt really good. I felt awesome. Like people were like drinking, like having a good time. Like it was awesome. So do it for sure, 100%.
I guess Nick and I will also be streaming in Mexico.
Oh,
Dude,
my
you
God.
guys do an IRL
Honestly,
stream?
that's
Just
so
leave it.
I've never
sad.
streamed with my
Yes,
phone
dude.
before, so I don't even know how to do it.
It's so easy.
Yeah.
Go live
It's
for your
easy,
phone.
yeah.
It's really easy. Just
Yeah. And if it
I'll
goes
give
bad,
Saeder
who
or
cares?
me.
Just end it. It's not a big deal.
Yeah,
Be
it
at
could be
the
like
beach.
a 10-minute stream, just being like, yeah,
Well, let me ask you this. I have some
beach,
experience with the phone streams, of course. What's your provider?
I have
You have
AT&T.
Verizon? You have AT&T?
T-Mobile.
You have T-Mobile? Okay. Probably better for Nick to try, but
Yeah.
does AT&T have the 5G?
Yeah, I'm
So-
honestly, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, it'll
Can
definitely.
you turn off the 5G? Because a lot of time, what I do on my phone to get it to where it works is I turn off the 5G and use the 4G towers, which is still for Verizon. They still work. Like you still get LTE 4G. So
they
I
don't
usually
turn
stream
them
off.
into a
I
liberal.
usually stream off of that, and it's way better. Because the
Okay.
5G
I
is
mean-
way more. It's being used. I guess because it's being used so much by everybody around. I guess it's. I don't know. I don't know what the difference is, but the 4G has always worked better for streaming on the phone.
Yeah, I'm honestly curious because I don't even know if my phone's gonna work there. Would it? Like,
yeah, I don't know if
for
mine is
this-
either.
Yours
I mean,
has
I mean-
Wi-Fi too. Just
Yeah, if they're
Yeah,
really
we
good.
just
Fine.
Wi-Fi.
I'm
You
just
can use a
expecting being on
Wi-Fi,
the
yo.
beach, but yeah.
Yeah, we'll just
It's
snipe
not
some
worth getting
Wi-Fi
like a
somewhere.
SIM card for it. Just get a
Dude,
I know
shouldn't they service there?
Verizon-
Shouldn't AT&T service there? Or no, I don't know.
I'm gonna ask
when
my
I went
parents.
to Cancun, I had internet with AT&T, but
Oh,
you know.
Okay.
I mean, you have internet everywhere. You might just be charged for roaming. You should
Yeah.
just check.
I
Yeah,
know for
I'ma
Verizon,
talk to mommy
it's
and
just
daddy.
like you just use it, and then for it's like $10 a day or something like that.
Dude, we
And-
better be in the same resort.
Dude,
What
oh
if,
Dude.
man?
God, this
What
is
if?
blowing my mind. I'm still I'm giddy about it. I'm not gonna lie, but yeah.
We'll do a
Sick.
Saeder cast in person. First one.
Dude, that would be
that'd
so
Dude.
good.
Unique
On the
side.
beach.
down to
On the beach.
That'd be
On the
awesome. That'd be
beach.
tight as
With
fuck,
the waves in the
actually.
background, like some
Oh, God.
ASMR.
Oh my
I'm
god.
so
Y'all should
pumped.
definitely. That's free. Yeah, that's free content. 'Cause you're not gonna have the both of you in Cancun, Mexico, probably ever again. So you might as well. You
Oh,
should
yeah.
make something out of it for sure. Definitely.
Haven't you like
100%.
not met anyone too, Saeder? From
I've never.
from
Yeah, I've met one.
You met Ryan.
I met Ryan. Yeah.
Yeah. Shout out
That's
hi
it.
Ryan.
Nick's great. He's a harmless little guy. So you know it'll be
It's
it'll
pretty
be
cool,
good.
yeah.
I would love to.
Yeah.
I would love to just fucking hang out, dude.
That's awesome.
At least get a drink and some food. Yeah. for
I'm
sure.
real okay. I gotta say though, like the last base after dark, I mean, that I was on, I pretty much just denied you guys to go to like TwitchCon and stuff. Was not in a great mental space, but I will say, like any future events, I'm totally down. I just needed some
Come
time.
in Tennessee, brother.
Dude,
Yeah, we'll definitely be going.
now is the perfect time, I think, to plug, a base trip that we're doing in Tennessee in April, I think. I was wondering
Yeah,
to
yeah.
figure out the dates.
Yeah, I'll
are,
be
so-
there. It would have been a lot
Let's
nicer if I stayed in
go.
Alabama, but I'll be in Oregon. So, but I'll still fly
It's
over
fine.
Let's
Yeah.
fucking
flight.
go. Dude,
Dude, that is so exciting. Hell yeah.
Oh my
yeah.
gosh. Yes.
It'll be
Oh my
cheap.
God.
It'll be good. It will be the cheapest trip we have took by far, thus far. Not even close. So it'll be good.
Yeah.
Cool.
Oh man,
be
now
your guide.
we're just gonna be out in the woods doing shrooms with Saeder. That's it.
That is another thing, dude. Saeder, Tennessee,
Yeah.
like where we going to Tennessee, Gallenberg. If you want to experience like what you've been going, like I'm telling you, it's one of the best. There's so many beautiful sights to see there where you can really, really hone in on that 100%. So I think you really
Zoe?
enjoy it.
She's gonna bring him, right? Or wait,
Oh.
what? What are we talking about?
Me?
Whoa.
Ignoble's in charge in this next one. Send
I got you, don't
Ignoble
worry.
all your
Actually, T
requests.
Papa will have some by then.
You
Let's bring
don't
him.
have to be-
You probably find them naturally growing in Gatlinburg. I'm sure.
We are not
There's
eating
plenty of
mushrooms
places.
out of the ground.
Just
I
find
love
them.
you guys. We're not doing
Just find some
that.
cow poop and like they grow on cow poop. So you just,
They do, yes,
Yeah.
they do. Yeah.
Perfect.
We'll be like, Nick, come on, just eat the cow poop, dude. This will heal you.
I'll tell you. I'm gonna after
Or
this
Nick,
is over. I'm
every
gonna tell
time
you a
we're
funny
trying to
story
get him to do
about that.
something new.
I'm saying, dude. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Have we
Try
seen
this
you wrong
substance.
yet? Have we seen
No,
you wrong
honestly, every time, and just like Saeder said, bro, it's like you have the nerves, and then whatever it is, you do it, and then you're like, this was pretty dope. Like, this is good.
yeah, that's a little bit of a slippery slope when it comes to certain drugs, but it's
yeah, you know,
Don't wanna
you have to try
overdo certain
shrooms,
things.
but yeah,
good shit.
shrooms in Cancun. No.
Yeah, no, I'm
Probably
going
get
to be
drugs in Mexico.
completely sober there. That's my plan.
yeah. No drinking.
Well, as far as gift giving goes, have you guys has anybody bought any like crazy gift or a funny gift they'd like to share? Anything wild?
Ooh.
I mean, we got the base Secret
Not
Santa.
for the
like,
Secret
you
Santa,
know what I mean?
obviously,
Like,
not
I
that.
got a killer one.
Oh,
you know?
speaking
so.
of, hold on. I'm going to call Saeder out right here. I messaged you, Saeder, like, hey, you want to join the base Secret Santa? And you never messaged me back.
I take that
I'm
as a
like
no.
checking. I'm like, no. I mean, I clearly can't remember that. Yeah, I just.
Wow.
There's a lot of stuff. Okay, I'm not trying to be like Mr. Popular, but I get a lot of DMs,
are
and I
Mr.
literally,
Popular.
You
and
are.
almost every time I get a DM, I'm like high out of my fucking mind, and I'm like, all right, I'll read that later, and then I just don't because
Free
the
time.
notification's gone, and I'm just like,
I gotta.
That probably wasn't that important, and if it was, they'll message me back.
I'm a psycho with
bad,
stuff like that.
dude.
I
So
have to
sorry.
read it. I can't not read it. I'm like the
Yeah.
exact opposite, bro. I'm the worst. Like
I will
like
literally- yeah.
messaging Nick kills me, bro. Because I know he reads my shit, and he's like, I'll
Dude,
respond later, and I'm
I
like, fucking looking
do.
at my phone.
I
like,
do that to Joe. Yeah, Joe hits me up, and I literally will take like until the next morning to respond. And I'm like, I just, I don't know. It's my bad.
I'm trying
Yeah,
to get
dude.
better at like responding
Yeah.
immediately. It's just really tough
Oh.
when you have like a lot that you're like working on or something. Or just a lot. Yeah, like work. Yeah, I'm working. No, but when you just have stuff going on and your mind's somewhere else and you see a message, the worst thing is like as soon as you see it, the notification goes away. So then you forget that somebody messaged you, and then you get like 4 other ones. So then like the actual message that I forgot to respond to was like 5 messages down, and I'm like, I forgot. You know,
Yep.
it's my problem.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's
Yeah,
where
I get
Joe, he's
that.
like, I know Nick ain't doing shit. I don't know why the fuck he's taking forever to respond. So, you know,
if it's
hey, man,
actually
I'm-
serious, I'll just call you. Because that's the only thing.
Yeah,
If it's
yeah.
something that's actually important, I'll actually just call. I just call him.
facts. Yeah, and I'll do my
Or
best to answer
anybody
that.
near really. I text Zoe sometimes.
Yeah.
We text. You know,
Yeah.
I've
Yeah, we
texted
text.
T-Papa before.
Damn.
So-
Okay.
I mean, like that.
Yeah, we're texting.
Yeah.
Damn.
It's you know, yeah, we're pretty serious. So
Yeah. Yeah. Most of y'all I message on Discord or Twitter. Me, I go straight to the
That's
actual
right.
phone number.
that's right.
Wait,
You
okay.
don't have
I'm
her
gonna-
phone number.
What you were saying about gifts, this is kind of off topic, but I want to say it because I saw your tweet today, Saeder, about just like doing whatever the fuck makes you happy. And I've been crocheting so much, and I'm crocheting so many presents for people, and I was like, I just need to stream this. So I'm gonna do a bunch of crochet streams, I think.
Yes.
like,
Hell
for Christmas.
yeah.
I
yeah.
love to hear.
Oh, that'll
Really, really
pop.
cute.
Good for you.
Yeah. I think I'm
put
gonna
some
move my
good
desk all the way
tunes.
back and just sit on the daybed and just like crisscross applesauce, fucking crochet for hours. It'd
Hit
be
a
really
doll,
fun.
Oh,
hit a Dolly B
yes.
type
Yeah,
stream.
hit the
'cause
Dolly
must
B
be-
special. Yeah.
That would be awesome. I would definitely tune into that.
Yeah. I'm gonna
That'd
do
be
that.
cozy.
Good shit. I haven't bought gifts yet, and actually, this is a great place to ask you guys. I need to buy gifts for my family. What the fuck do I get them?
What are they
No,
like?
dude, it's like not defaulting to money or gift cards. Like
Yeah.
skipping that, like not doing that approach is
Bro.
so
Here's-
hard.
Just go for
good
something
advice.
useful.
Don't if they have like a really specific hobby, don't get them anything like exact in that hobby. Like, don't buy me like espresso machines or watches because I know more than you. Get them something related, like a gift. Yeah, like you
Yeah,
know,
Some
that-
nice
like,
ground or some
yeah.
like a
beans
gift
or
card
whatever.
to something, or like like a coffee.
The gift card thing
subscription
makes me
service.
so sad because like my older brother, I have like no relationship with him whatsoever. So every year I just get him a gift. I don't know what to get him. I don't know really
Prepaid
anything
Visa
about
gift
him.
card, so we can't
Like
spend it.
me and
all
my
now gift
sister,
card.
me and my sister are super tight. Don't make any K-Kona jokes. Fuck you guys. But me and my sister are super fucking tight. Like we're like best friends. But me and my older brother, he doesn't talk to me. Him and my dad don't get along. My mom is the only one that could barely talk to him. It's sad, man. It really sucks. But you know, I've tried too. I really have tried. But he's just like
Sorry.
super reclusive. Just doesn't want a relationship with me. And yeah, every year I get him a fucking gift card. It's fucking depressing.
Fine.
So
That's
kinda
like my
sucks.
my grandma. My grandma texted me in a group chat of like her grandkids, like my cousins and my sister and brother, and was like, "Hey, grandkids, what are you looking for Christmas?" I'm like, "Damn, you couldn't just like, you could."
You should
Okay,
just
I
put
mean,
Bugatti in there. Just type Bugatti.
yeah, I just said everybody was just like money. Like none of us have it. Like nobody.
so sad.
Every kid's money. By the time
We're
you're
just
12, it's
detached.
money.
And our
Oh,
grandma,
man.
she doesn't keep up with us, so yeah, she doesn't know what to get us. I respect her for being like, "Hey, do y'all want some money? Cause I got you some," and I'll be like,
True.
"Fuck it,
No.
money's
fair.
tight."
Yeah.
I think in terms of like tiers of gifts, I think like money's up there. The best tier of gift though is like if you've been conversing with somebody and like they remember something about you, like maybe from months ago, and they're like, "Oh, I remember this person into this type of hobby or something." They get you like just a small gift relating to that. You're just like, "Oh my god, they were listening to me." You're just like,
Dude,
it feels so good.
I have to suck my own dick on this, but like 2 Christmases ago, me and my brother, we used to shop on this website called Grailed, and him and I were just looking at different stuff, and it was a couple months before Christmas, and he was like, "Damn, I wish I could have XYZ," and like, I know, okay, outside of what's going on with Kanye West right now, fuck him for all the shit he's doing, but I found a hoodie on Grailed. It was pretty pricey because it's like from, I want to say it was the album where it's like, I hate being bipolar or whatever. Like, it's like the Yay album. I found this hoodie that was his size, and it was from a release party in like New York or Brooklyn or something. And I saw it, and I was like, "Oh my god, my brother would eat this alive!" Like he loves this album, he loves Kanye. It was 2 years ago, a little different time. And I just know when I got him that, and he opened it on Christmas, it was literally like the only gift that mattered. And he'd gotten so many other gifts, and I was like, I knocked that shit out of the park, baby. But
That's awesome.
I don't know what I'm getting this year, so. Pretty fun.
Ignoble, to answer your question, I think if you can think back to anything anybody in your family has said has bothered them recently, like anything that you could possibly think of to improve their life, whether it's like a kitchen tool or something like that, like anything for the house, like surely something is annoying and you can help make their life easier by fixing it a bit.
Good shout.
That's a good
I'm
idea.
just gonna throw it
Good shout.
out. Maybe get him a candle if you've not gone the candle route. Candle's always a solid choice. Shout out to
Ooh,
Candle.
They are now.
If
Yes.
you want to get a little personal, they might not even know that they want this, but they will appreciate it. Bidet.
Oh yeah.
Actually, yeah.
Bidet.
They're
Yeah,
not that expensive.
it's kind of
No, some are
provocative
pretty
too. Yeah.
It's like, hey, mom
A
and
little
dad,
sexual.
put this in your ass.
Hey, I want
I
you
mean,
to get your
yeah, if
ass
you think about it like
blasted.
that, yeah, I didn't, you
Oh,
know.
I figured Ignoble would think about it like that.
Oh,
You
yeah,
think your
if
parents would
Noble
think about it like
jerks
that?
off on bidets confirmed, bro. Like what?
Look, it's pleasurable. As all,
Listen, women use their shower head for certain things. Why can't Ignoble use a bidet?
Yeah.
You know?
no,
Thank
I
you.
turned that down for the first time. in college, man.
No, he's valid.
Like, damn. Like,
I will say, like, I don't know if you guys are like this. I'm hesitant on even saying this, but whenever I've gotten a gift that's like a mechanical toothbrush, like a vibrating one that's like nice, that is just amazing. Because usually by the end of the
Yeah.
year, your toothbrushes just suck, and like
Oh.
getting an absolutely fresh one, and of course, like somebody else could gift it as well, but like that's a nice.
Are we
gift.
all? Who uses like a standard toothbrush? I use like a nice the
I
Philips.
used a vibrating one that I received
Shout
for
out.
Christmas last year.
I have a vibrating one, but it's not great. So like, just if I were to get like a nice one, like damn, I'm like, I want to brush my teeth harder now.
It's worth it. It's kind of intense at first though, because like I got the Philips, like the Sonicare and the nice one, and like it is at first it's a lot. Like it feels like your teeth are just getting the shit beat out of them, but eventually you get used to it.
Yeah,
And
I love it.
nothing else compares. Like you can't go back.
Yeah.
I have the toothbrush
Yeah.
now. It's like a little circle brush, right? And the circle rotates and it vibrates. My teeth get so clean so
Holy.
fast. It's so nice.
Holy
God
Oh,
damn.
Sorry, I'm so sorry to say this, but one time
Mushrooms?
on mushrooms, yeah, I brushed my teeth. I brushed my teeth on it, bruh. It is like you learn so much more about your mouth. You're like, oh, like this is cleaning. Like this is cleaning.
I can feel the
Like,
plaque coming off
no,
my teeth.
You feel every single like, and you're like, oh my god, this is incredible. Yeah. I forgot
That's
that.
funny.
Damn, is it bad that I've
Everyday
been using
activity is
the?
amazing. Yeah. Sorry,
I've had
go.
the same toothbrush for like
No,
a
don't.
couple years.
It's working,
Bro.
That's
Whatever you
really
use it,
bad.
That's
Replace your
fucking
brush
gross.
every
That's
3
pretty
months.
bad.
Supposed to be
No,
3 months.
okay.
Yeah, dude.
I'm saying
Jesus.
that like the base of it.
That's
the base
fine,
Of it,
that's
the
fine.
base of it.
Oh,
Okay.
oh, I thought you were saying like the
No.
same fucking standard toothbrush.
Oh, that's fine.
My first ever Philips toothbrush I got because I used to be a housekeeper at this resort and someone left it. And those things are like $100. I was like, fuck it, I'm taking the base. It was in good condition. So yeah, I used some fucking random person's toothbrush for a few years. And what are you gonna do about it? My teeth are
That is
sparkly.
Nice.
No, that's
Gas.
yeah.
Live your
It's a
life.
good
I
move.
would do it.
Do you guys want to do Twitter questions? There's one I'm interested.
Oh yeah.
in.
One.
I forgot about that.
We
Just
can pull them
one?
up.
Yeah, I have one that I would.
Literally, it's only one. I apologize, Twitter thread. And we've kind of talked about it a little bit. Oh, I deleted the thread. Okay. It was, what's the difference between being a host of a podcast and being a guest on a podcast? Did you see that one too?
That is
Yeah.
a good question.
Yeah,
That's
that's
a good one.
that's a
That
good
was
one.
that was the one. That was like the
Yep.
only one that I was like.
A
I'll probably ask that
sacred
one.
question.
But there's probably a few more.
Let me look. Go ahead.
Saeder.
Saeder?
Wait, me?
Hello?
Oh,
Yeah.
wait.
Who else
I guess he
Where-
forgot he was a
where is that
guest.
topic?
He
I'm
forgot,
like,
he forgot he
still
was a
looking.
guest. That's what happened.
Hold on. I can
Questions
send it,
by
Saeder.
from
got the
Mope.
link?
Mope
Where's
Mope
I don't
Solo.
even see it.
Oh, shout out to him too. He watches us on Twitch.
Yeah, Mope had a good one. Mope had two good ones, and we already talked about one for half the episode.
Yeah, literally, it's a part of that question.
Yeah, it's the first
I put
one.
it in the.
Oh, I
After
see.
Dark.
So that is it. It's
Yeah,
his.
it's the top of
Okay.
it. The top of it.
I see. I was just trying to read it verbatim. What is it like being a podcast guest versus a host? It's a really nice kind of being a guest because I don't know, you don't feel as I don't know. Sometimes being a host, I just don't want to talk too much about myself, especially when you're on every goddamn episode. It's like, okay, people have heard enough about me. I really want to focus on somebody else. But when you're a guest, it feels like you can be a little bit more open and just share things. Because if I were to share what I just did on one of my own podcasts, it's like, damn, you're kind of into yourself, you know? Like you kind of like to talk about yourself a lot. But this is like, I hope people understand that have listened to this like up to this point. I don't normally talk too much about like my personal life, but I like to indulge in this because it's Based After Dark. It's episode 2, and I'm like for me, and I just like to indulge in it and just share stuff. So that's the beauty of being a guest is I can feel more open to just sharing stuff about me and not feeling like I'm being like selfish, you know, because I was invited on. But being a host is also fantastic. It's also taught me a lot. And I'm like very introverted, and one of the things like the one benefit I will say, the one benefit of being Mormon, one benefit was going on a mission.
Yeah,
because
that was it.
because like even though I was teaching just like stupid stuff, I still learned a lot, and I realized like I can approach people and talk to random strangers. That really helped me. And I didn't even know it would really help me, but it really has because like I can literally just pull up a call with somebody I've never talked to across the country or in another country and just have a 3-hour conversation with them.
You're really
And
fucking good at it.
thank you. And it's obviously it takes like work, and I'm not perfect at it. I still have a lot to learn. But it's nice because I feel like I'm getting more empathetic toward other people and people that I maybe didn't even really care to have on the podcast, but I still went for it anyway. Not like I didn't care about them, but like I was like, oh, this might not be as fun, but I still went for it and then I ended up learning something. I was like, oh, that was nice, and that guy's cool or girl's
I appreciate
cool,
you having me on, man.
Yeah, I was really not wanting to do that. No, truly, like every single guest I've had on has just been great. It's just fun getting to know them. And it also, the one thing I want to do, I know I'm extending this question slightly more, but is like, I want to start being a lot more personal on the Saeder cast, which is not what a lot of people want. Trust me, like almost every goddamn podcast, if we talk about 20% of IRL, they're like, dude, get back to the game. Talk about the game more. I'm like, God damn it. But again, it's going back to the thing, like, what do I want to do? And the thing I really want to do for like season 3, like year 3 of the Saeder cast is really like ask better questions, not rely so much on Twitter topics. Because I have noticed I really lean on those Twitter topics. We'll always talk about random stuff that comes up, but like sometimes I'll just read a Twitter topic. I'm like, why am I even reading this? This is like pointless. Like it's a pointless topic that I'm just gonna spout out because it's something, you know. And then sometimes I feel obligated. I've had people literally direct message me on Twitter and say, "Why didn't you read my topic, man? Like I offered a topic this week and last week and the week before. Like why aren't you reading my? Are you ignoring me? Like?" And it's just like, dude. I don't want to cover everything. So this year I'm going to take it a lot more methodically and really like think of my own topics and really try to get more personal. I don't know if creators want that though. That's the other thing I worry about. Is I don't know if people want to come on the cast to talk about personal stuff.
I feel like creators would prefer that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't speak for the
I would
audience.
prefer it. Yeah.
Well, I would think of it this way, like what do we? I mean, obviously a big theme of your podcast is RuneScape, and I guess every creator you brought on there is involved in RuneScape one way or another, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I would assume that they would prefer the personal just because they're used to being asked all those same questions about RuneScape. So it's probably refreshing because like when I was on there with you and Max, like it was refreshing just talking, sitting there talking and not worrying about RuneScape at all. Like I mean, we touched a little bit and talked about it, which is fine because that's like our podcast here. Like we stay away from it for. I guess it just depends. Like, cause sometimes we get on these tangents and rants, especially if like new content or something comes out. Like, then it makes a little more sense. But for the most part, I would assume, like, I don't want to speak for the males, but like, I would definitely rather have just the personal aspect. And it gets the people who are listening to the podcast, like people who listen to podcasts. I feel like one of the main things is like if they're listening to it for that guest coming on, they obviously want to get to know that person better.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe find something interesting. That way, they feel more connected when they're consuming their content.
Yeah.
I would
agree with that.
actually.
Yeah, that's a good point.
And it's what I want to do as well. It's like I'm trying not to listen to the people that are like. Again, it's like an internal battle with me. It's just like, what do people expect from the podcast, not what do I want it to be? So I'm trying to like change the direction.
I think you have a great balance. You keep it pretty.
Yeah. I think it really depends on like the dynamic of the cast. You know, I feel like for a lot of us here, like, you know, we have like, I guess, personalities outside of just that is not just I play RuneScape, and to be able to talk about all these other things is fun for a lot of us. But I feel like you might have other guests on who are very focused on the RuneScape side of things, who have certain opinions in the game, and that's what they want to discuss. So I feel like it's almost
and that's
like
what I've really tried to do is like really focus on that. I think the biggest thing is just kind of not taking the questions too seriously. I've gotten very lazy with it, especially like this past year's one. I'm just like, I don't know, not preparing as much as I really needed to, and just kind of relying on Twitter topics, and they're like not great. And I'm like, shit, okay. Well.
I want to touch on that because one of the questions that I liked was from Manic Marauder, and that was one of his things was. I'm sorry.
Damn.
Well, I'm just gonna get the second part was if I was to give your podcast one suggestion, it would be to try and rely on the Twitter questions less, because I've like listening to some of them, I've felt that you weren't as prepared as you could have been. Like you could have asked a lot more stuff, especially with some of the creators that like I know more or better acquainted with, that I like know extra stuff, and you didn't really touch on it. So just that really, and like that's something we need to work on too. And I've like when we have like I didn't do it for you obviously because we all know each other really well. I didn't really feel like it was necessary too much, but like going forward when we have somebody on here that we don't really know too well, maybe like really look into their background, really formulate like some good questions.
Yeah, it's tough, mainly because it's almost like it's not like you're bringing on, I don't know, when I listen to professional podcasts of people interviewing people with like PhDs and stuff, it's so easy to look up so much about them before they're on or read their book or something like, oh, okay, this is all about you. But with like a RuneScape creator, it's like, okay, I watched some of your videos, but I really need to get to know you through this podcast. You know what I mean? So it's just
That's
tough.
a good point, yeah.
It's really tough because it's really hard to prepare with a lot of these things. And I really want it to be like an organic conversation, which is, again, trying to lean on that. I honestly, maybe for the future, might not even tweet out that I'm having a guest on.
Wow.
I'm just going to do it. And we're just
raw
going to talk.
That would be a good experiment. I feel like
that's scary. That sounds
maybe
scary.
maybe with a repeat guest, so that it's not like.
I think you can do that.
You can do a repeat first.
or like a very specific guest you feel could talk.
Don't do the thing at the bottom that's like, hey, ask a question. Just say this week I'm gonna have X on. That's it. Just leave it at that. And
If you tweeted that, people would still ask questions.
Yeah,
They're used to it.
Yeah.
They're used to it already. But
yeah,
I don't know. I think, and like this is another problem is, of course, I want to get a lot of people on, like different people on, but there are people I just don't want to have on that I almost kind of feel obligated to have on one day. Not gonna name names, but
don't.
I don't know. The other thing is like I want to enjoy the cast.
yeah, name them.
And I want
Who is
to
it?
I want to talk to people that I want to talk to. So even though I get a lot of recommendations and stuff, and I even asked for it at one point, that was a mistake, I think, to ask like, hey, if you want to be on it, just message me so I know you're like willing. Now I'm like, Jesus Christ.
That was a terrible idea.
Horrible idea.
One of the worst ideas I've ever had.
I mean, I'm still learning. See, that's the other cool thing is like I can learn from these mistakes. It's not nothing like the end of the world.
I think what Noel said super important. Sorry, Nick. Just the dynamic of who you have on, like each week, because it's just like the RuneScape section. There's such a vast variety of personalities. So that is a good point. Sorry, Nick. Go ahead.
I just wanted to like say that it literally like if it makes you feel any better, which I don't know if I need to inflate your head for any reason, but I feel like when people get to be brought on to like a Saeder cast, like it feels like some sort of rite of passage of coolness. So keep up that level. Don't let it.
Don't.
110%.
Yeah, like don't just. Yeah, I know you don't just pick anybody, but like, yeah, definitely stay true to who you feel should be on.
Anybody been on twice on this call?
Like legitimate.
It's been held in high regard, and it feels very special when you do have a guest on, or when you get to be a part of it.
Dude, it does because when you messaged me and Tasty out of the blue, that like made my day. I was fucking so pumped, dude. I was jacked.
Oh
the
yeah,
fuck
dude,
up.
I was gassed.
Yes!
I was like,
I was
round
so
number
fucking
2,
stoked,
baby.
dude.
Dude,
Oh,
I
that's
called my
awesome.
family members and told them, I'm like, I get to go on the same.
Yes, dude.
podcast.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I told my mom and dad when I got to go on, I was like, yeah, I get to go on this pretty big podcast. You know, I'm a big deal.
I'm not gonna
Yeah.
lie, that I like really appreciate you guys telling me that, because a lot of the time, and it's always that imposter syndrome of like, I'm literally just talking to a guy about RuneScape. Like, there's really nothing deep about this, but then when people say like it makes their day or something of just me inviting them, like, yeah, thank you.
Bro, the T Papa cast saved my life. I had a 5-hour drive to Vegas, dude. with nothing to do.
Yeah.
Listen,
It's
That was
a-
good
I love
timing.
them.
I had it on the plane, dude.
Was.
I was like 7 vodka cranberries deep, just absolutely done for on the plane, just listening to T Papa, and I was doing Mode Alone Mine on my tablet in front of me.
Yeah.
Road to
Good
max.
I think a lot of us have probably had like defining moments in our streaming careers that are like, yeah, I made this, and by a long shot, the first one and that I can remember is when you DM me asking to be on. Like seriously, it's like
Aw.
it's a really big deal. So
That's awesome.
That's a
also,
crazy
yeah,
feeling.
I think you need to remember too that like the things that people recommend to you for the podcast are just recommendations. A lot of the time, they're thinking of how they would do it if it was their podcast, but it's not their fucking podcast. Okay, you do what you want. People are gonna
Talk your
listen no matter
shit.
what. Like you're at the point where you have like a big enough audience that I'm gonna listen to every episode. Like I don't care. You know, if I get bored, you know, I'll turn it off. It's no big deal. It's not like the end of the world. It's like if I don't like a guest, it is what it is. It's not like I'm not gonna be a return listener. You can do whatever the fuck you want. I'm not gonna stop
Facts.
listening just because you changed something up that doesn't necessarily cater to me.
That is
Everybody has different
facts. And
opinions.
podcast listeners are a different breed of like, I guess, consumer.
the rent-
I wouldn't say they're like your standard YouTube consumer. They're gonna listen to the first like 20, 30 minutes before they tap out of that bitch. Like they're gonna give it a real shot. Because I love
I do the
podcasts.
same.
And yeah, I will really I'm gonna give it an honest go. I'm not just gonna after the first couple minutes get out of there. Like I'm gonna let it get going because I know how a podcast is, especially two strangers. If like you don't know the person well, like it's gonna take a while to get it going.
It's called the Saeder cast, bro. It's literally
I know,
Saeder
imagine
cast, dude.
how into myself can I be? Just name my podcast my fucking name. The Tasty
It's
from
iconic.
YouTube cast and
This is
party.
Tasty
That's what this
After
is.
Dark.
Tasty after dark.
Who called it that? Tasty After
Somebody
Dark?
called us the Tasty After
It was
Dark
in
cast.
my stream. They came
It
in.
was
Yeah.
like a first time chatter. He's like, I loved you on the Tasty After Dark stream.
Yup.
I was in chat.
So good.
That's cool.
I think innovation is really good though, Saeder. I think like that's sick
Yeah.
that you like innovate. Like you don't want it to get stale and dry. Like you gotta like as a viewer, like that's super exciting to hear that you would even say something like that because like that's what I like. You know, not to cater to me, but like you know what I mean. Like this is sick.
Yeah, and I've
You're at
learned
the
a
place now
lot.
where you can take risks.
Exactly. Well, maybe, but
You can.
I'm willing to do it regardless if it's too risky or not because it's just for my own happiness and like what I really want. I don't want to start getting pigeonholed into like, oh, this is what people like, so I don't really like it, but we're just gonna go for it. And then realize 4 years down the line, like I fucking hate this. So yeah, I'm just gonna stick with what I think I should do. And I'm excited though because my YouTube, at least, I know this wasn't a topic, but like I love putting content on YouTube because I don't have to deal like anybody else. I just do my thing. It's just like so much easier. When I'm live on Twitch doing a normal RS stream, which is again why I'm like moving on. It's like I don't know what's gonna happen. Like I don't know who's gonna be there and ruining my day with stupid comments and stuff. You know what I mean?
I
Real.
feel like streaming is harder and YouTube is more work. You know what I mean?
That is
My
it.
YouTube's
That's
not
it.
work. My YouTube is
Oh,
not work. That's
hate
the beauty, though.
I
I
can't.
hate you.
Yeah.
Don't push
Someone
this false
just record.
narrative. Don't push
Yeah,
this
I
false
hate
narrative.
you so much.
Saeder's like, yeah,
recorded,
man.
Well, if you
I
I was gonna say.
done.
The hardest thing
Saeder
that I
puts up
do.
a EQ
Well, here's the thing. I
video
feel
with
like
trance
it's
music
your.
playing.
I feel like it's your style though, because I feel like, especially within RuneScape content that I've consumed, is there's definitely two different styles. There's the quantity style and there's the quality style. There's people who write scripts out like Max and really put a lot of thought into thumbnails, titles, etc., etc. They want that banger video. And then there's the people who are just throwing out videos left and right, just consistent, pumping them out, quantity. And yeah, it just depends.
Yeah,
You
I
and
mean, it would definitely has been a lot slower of a burn. Like I've never had just a big jump like, oh, I made a great video, boom. It's like, no, this has just been very consistent, like
Oh,
600
you
new
pump them
subs a
out,
month.
Daddy. The
I have over
rambles. They're like
400 videos now.
you're
Yeah.
consistent, man. You're consistent.
Jeez.
You and Only Trails talked about something on the cast that I love, where you were like, I think he said that he set his bar so high that when he first started, that everything else after that was just so stressful. And I think, like, you know, people will say that it's just like pumping out content, whatever, but I think you did something really smart and something that takes a lot of confidence, which is like, you don't have all the bells and whistles. Like, you make really simple videos that have good information and are well done and are interesting to listen to. Like, you don't need to hide behind the fancy editing and all that stuff. And I think that that is like artistry in its own. And like, don't let anybody say that like what you do is not quality, because it is quality. It's just like not fancy, but not everything needs to be fancy. You know, it's beautiful for what it is. You know, just it stands alone so well.
Thank you.
I respect that.
Yeah.
I'm your biggest fan.
Awesome.
Sign my baby.
Saeder number 1.
Yeah,
Thank you.
that's
Zoe.
it's this. I mean, the style works. It works. You know, like she said, you don't need all that, because I've enjoyed. There's definitely been videos that are just like a whatever progression series, etc. That clearly there's like minimal editing, but I just love I love the content, whatever it is, and it might be better than some videos somebody's been working on for months. It just depends,
Less is more sometimes. It really is.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's also just understanding. I'm never gonna get a huge like boom, great video, but I've understood that. And what the other really nice thing is I've never had any like lows with YouTube. It's all been constant progression, which has felt so much better. Like Twitch is like you'll have a great month, and then like a month later, you're like, holy fuck, like the career's over. It's actually over, And so that's been always like really stressful. But YouTube's just been like, if you just look at the chart, it's just always increasing. I'm like, damn, this feels so much better than like my Twitch graph. Like, yeah,
I think it's just your consistency being rewarded, because I mean, consistency on Twitch is definitely important, but I feel like it's not as heavily rewarded as it is on YouTube. I would assume, at least.
For me too,
Also
it's like
true,
YouTube is just so tangible. Like Twitch, you can do well, but then, your subs drop off, or like someone comes in and says something shitty and it ruins your day. Like, it feels like all your like work just goes out the window in 2 seconds. Whereas with YouTube, you just like see that increase, and it's just like, this is what I've done. Like, it's here forever. You can see a record of it. It's just so nice to have that there.
it's true. It's really true.
Mm-hmm.
You guys want to talk about the opposite side of that question? So I guess going back to it, the question that Manic asked was, give one piece of
Oh, yeah, I
advice
wanna
or
know.
suggestion for each other's podcast. So Seth gave
Okay.
one for the Saeder cast. I want to hear, how do you think we can improve the Based After Dark cast?
Okay, first of all, I just got to say it's already phenomenal. It really is. I feel like, again, this is just like advice that not everyone just even agrees with. But when I see a Based After Dark episode, like sometimes they're like, almost 4 hours. And even though a lot of podcast listeners really love that, I feel like having, I don't have your page pulled up, but it feels like a lot of them do go past 3 hours. Is that correct? Like almost all of them?
I would say
This one has.
Yeah.
This one
good-
definitely
this
has.
one
But
My bad.
I don't know.
think
Maybe.
I think the average time is probably anywhere between 2.5 to 3 hours. I think that's
Okay.
we're usually finishing up at the 3 hour mark. I can say that, like, from my
Usually,
memory, at least.
yeah.
Usually
Usually,
3.
yeah, typically.
Okay. I don't know. I guess
Unless
like,
it's
and this is I'm taking this as my own advice as well, is like sometimes a little bit shorter is actually a little bit sweeter, like short and sweet. Sort of like I've been trying, because again, like I've looked at the analytics. Of course, Bodie's is just like, Bodie was, no matter what the length was, it was going to do great. But generally, like, there's a huge drop off with a lot of my podcasts by like the 2 hour mark. It's just like nobody's really watching.
That's interesting that you bring that up. I'm gonna flip this on its head a little bit. I don't think that's as much a problem as it is a symptom of something that we're doing. I think the problem at the base of that is that we have zero structure for this podcast. Like we have no plan. We just
That's not true.
we talk until we have, like run out of things to talk about, then we do Twitter questions, then we do
Okay,
Twitter
that's
workshop, then we're done.
Yeah,
that is the
That's a structure.
That's the structure.
It is a structure.
It's like a
But yeah.
skeleton, but it's a very loose one. You know, so I think maybe we could work on that, honestly.
Well, I mean, I'll counter that too. Is that if like most podcasts I do consume, they don't really have structure. Like, there's not at least a lot of the more popular ones that I've watched. It's kind of similar to what we do. They have little segments, and that's why I suggested like when we like react to videos now, and then of course Twitter topics. That's just an easy one. But that's typically how it goes on those too. They get into it. They ask questions. They have questions prepared. Obviously, they let conversation flow. And then when it gets kind of thin, they move into one of the segments and try and milk that for as long as they can, or whatever it may be. So I don't know. What I really want to say is I don't think a podcast really needs a lot of structure, because at the end of the day, it's podcast. We're just talking. It's conversation based. So
really, the advice of that is it's really coming out of nowhere. I think your guys' podcast is great, and the reason I don't give this other piece of advice is because it just doesn't make sense. But it's like I get it as well, where I'll talk to a streamer on the Saeder cast and people are like, nobody cares about your streamer lifestyle. Like, quit talking about like what you do as a streamer. I'm like, he's a streamer. Like, we're both streamers.
You don't
like,
want the behind the scenes?
So,
dude.
So
like if someone was a doctor, we'd be like, we don't fucking care you're a doctor. No one wants to hear about medical school.
Like, it's not even advice, but it's just something I've seen in my own thing. Is just like, I guess you guys are doing great. I think there's really not much, and you guys are very respectful as well to your guests, is what I've also noticed, which is just great. Just keep doing that.
Can I ask you a question, Saeder?
Yeah, go for it.
Did you watch the Destructo cast?
I have not.
Okay.
That one was 4.5 hours.
I wanted to get your thoughts on that.
That one
I'm
seems
excited to
wild.
listen.
See, I see those, then I'm like, I need to plan this for like a long walk, because
it's an insane podcast.
if I start listening to a podcast on YouTube and I realize I'm going to be doing something in 20 minutes, it's like, I know I'm only going to watch for 20 minutes and then leave it, because it's going to be tough to get back in that spot.
That is the furthest After Dark has definitely been pushed. Was definitely the Destructo podcast. That's like we went to the brink for sure. That was a cast. It was really a roller coaster ride. It was crazy.
I love that this is following it. It's like a perfect palate cleanser.
It really
polar
is.
opposite.
The yin to the yang.
100%. It's not
like
even
the most
close.
wholesome, not talking about anything crazy.
Yeah, it's
Is that
I
nice?
needed this. I needed this
Yes.
cast.
This is one of my
so
favorites. I love this.
Yes,
Like-
after the Destructo cast, I definitely needed this.
As much as
I
I
hope
love,
listeners
It's a
appreciate
top
it,
3
but-
cast. Yeah.
as
I
much
need
as
to
I love
figure
starting
it
a cast at like 1 a.m. on a Wednesday night, just talking like the dumbest shit about dumb shit. It's just like, this was so
Yeah.
wholesome, and finally, like,
I'm glad. I
got
also
some
gotta say,
substance.
like, just because you mentioned that, like, I really have been kind of transitioning into not just consuming just stupid stuff all the time. And there's no flame. Like, I will still check out the Destructo gas. There's nothing about that. But just in general, I realized for years I was just literally consuming, I'm sorry, garbage. Just like, this is the content I get. It's just stupidity, basically. And I'm like, damn. And so my worldview was like shifting. And I'm like, this is weird. Like, I don't like this. So I've been listening to a lot more like audiobooks that actually have like editing, and like, this person took 4 years on this book and it's actually a good listen. And it's like, I don't know. I feel like the content I've been listening to is a lot more educated, I guess, in a way. And it's been really nice because I actually learn things. I'm not just like, it's like going on TikTok. I don't even have TikTok, but I can imagine what TikTok's like. We're just seeing stupid shit just nonstop. And you're like, what am I consuming?
to be fair, there is a side of TikTok where there are educational and useful things like fitness tips,
I'm not there.
food tips. Well, you're not there.
Surprise!
I'm there,
Ignoble's not
actually.
there either.
Believe
He's
it or not, I'm
capping.
there.
Yeah.
Whoa!
Surprise!
Do not.
We know what Ignoble's For You page looks like.
What? Yeah. What does it look like, Unix? Tell me. You tell me.
Anime titties.
Titties.
I will neither
Titties and
confirm nor
feet.
deny this statement.
Maybe not. I don't know. My TikTok's just full of depression posts. I don't know why, dude. I can't open TikTok. I'm not kidding, dude. It's shit that literally like people like trigger warning, but like it's just people talking about like wanting to kill themselves and shit. And I'm
Oh,
like, why do I
God.
look at this every day? Like this is so unhealthy for me to
Fuck.
absorb.
Not doing that.
Yeah, that's really not good. Like, maybe this is.
Yeah, maybe it's
also-
TikTok trying to get me to kill myself, bro. What the fuck?
You know, I really do love our podcast. It's got a great variety. Sometimes it's wholesome. Sometimes it's
Sometimes.
fun.
Sometimes it's degenerate.
And I
It's
will
a
say,
honest podcast.
as a guest, I absolutely love being on here. And like, you guys invited me again. It's just phenomenal. I love it.
It won't be the last time, I'm sure.
Lovely to
No.
have you.
Year
I want to
3
say too, the whole point of this podcast, right, was to like mimic the feeling of being in a Discord call late at night, because that's what people like wanted to be in the call with us, and we were like, well, no, but we'll make a podcast. So I mean, I just feel like it's authentic to like if I was in a call with you alone at midnight, Saeder, like we wouldn't be fucking just shooting the shit. Like
We wouldn't be
you're
fucking.
Just
Shit, wait, what?
whoa.
I got the wrong. I stopped after some word went.
That's a good Twitter clip right there. Someone write that down.
Yes. That was
Sorry, I'm on the
slick.
timer.
yeah.
Thank God.
That was smooth.
I mean, I would have said the same thing. I mean, most of us would have. It's okay. You know.
Anyways, what I was trying to say is that
sorry,
I
Zoe.
feel like this podcast has been authentic to like what we would talk about if it was not a podcast.
I agree.
Same with the Destructo cast, you know? It's just
Yeah.
different
Yeah.
vibes.
I think Tasty's right in the way of like structure-wise is that we don't really like we don't talk about anything beforehand. We do wing that part of it, but there's a little bit there. I feel like there's a little structure, but I do agree with them. Like we like go into these with just like tonight. It's like we got together tonight. Like all right, we're gonna touch on this and this, and like it's just
Yeah,
you
that
know,
wouldn't be
kinda,
as fun.
Yeah, exactly.
No, you guys have a good thing going.
Thanks.
Thanks, man. I think I love the dynamic of the After Dark cast. We just, literally hop on every 7 days. I get to talk with my homies with webcams on. That's
It's
about
really
it.
refreshing.
The
That too.
webcams are very refreshing too.
When we
compared
don't
to
do
mine.
it, I miss people. Like, I miss you guys when we don't do it. Like the week.
Yeah, like
I
me
think
being
it's-
on tonight after missing the Destructo cast, I was genuinely excited to get in, like, see everybody and say hi before we even
Hell
start the
yeah.
cast. So it was nice.
Because I don't really get the chance to hang out with like people in Discord as much as as I did in the past. Now it's just like a scheduled time to just hang with the homies. It hits.
100%.
Do we want to pull any more from Twitter?
Do
I feel like
you want to
the-
field? Let
good.
Saeder field run one RuneScape question.
Yeah, one.
Yeah, you
should
should pick one.
Pick one RuneScape.
Oh, but we have to do the question.
Oh yeah, we
We-
did
I feel like-
the
Okay,
question.
all
of
right.
course.
Oh, I
Because
guess
I don't
true.
remember.
The question.
Let's
I
do
feel
the
like
question.
Saeder's already
Been a while.
answered this, hasn't he?
I'm sure he's answered it, but I don't remember
There's
the
different
answer.
people here.
And
I
there's
wasn't
new
there.
call.
Yeah, there's
Yeah.
new people.
That's true.
Yeah.
What?
The question.
The question.
Go
Who's
ahead,
doing it?
Papa.
Who's sending
You're
it?
doing
Me? All right, all
Papa.
right.
This is your
If
turn.
you
All
bring
right.
it up, you have to ask from now on.
All right. I mean, I will never not forget. All right. So if you had to perform an Eiffel Tower with one other person in this call with a random person, who would it be?
I don't know what an Eiffel Tower is. I'll be completely
Let's
honest.
go. Prison
All right,
Joe
let's-
has had some experience. Take us through.
Whoa, that's not true. First off, okay.
Allegedly.
So, all right. So allegedly, okay. So, you're gonna be with you and another. Well, it could be a male or a female. She can have a strap on. That's fine. The other female, and then in doggy style between you two. Can you imagine that? You got this
Okay,
in your head
yes,
here.
yeah.
They're doggy style, hands and knees, ass up, mouth up. That can also be a male or a female. It doesn't matter. We're very inclusive here.
But that
So,
person is irrelevant. I feel
That
like it's
person,
important
yes,
to know.
they're,
Yeah,
it's
that middle
they're
person-
imaginary. They're just
middle
it's just
person
a
is-
in the
yeah.
middle.
That whole
Is-
person
Yeah,
don't
the
give a
middle
fuck.
person, they don't
A
exist.
random
They're just-
entity.
they're just a
Why?
exactly random
Okay.
entity. So you're picking your partner to Eiffel Tower them. So the Eiffel Tower is one of you will have the mouth, and one of you will have the backside, and you are going to perform sexual intercourse with the mouth and whatever orifice in the back that you choose, and you're going to touch hands together as you do that to make a Eiffel Tower, as Ignoble is demonstrating.
Jesus
So if you
Christ.
had to pick one of us in
Everybody
this
has
call,
answered. Don't feel bad. Every
single person,
every
man.
guest. We've gone through this with
Well,
every guest. They've
actually,
all
no,
given an
not every
answer.
guest.
Oh no.
Who didn't we
Yeah,
ask?
I'm gonna
I
be
did a good
honest.
job of explaining that. Was that good?
Oh yeah,
I'm-
yeah.
I'm probably
That was great.
Okay. All right.
I'd probably choose Prison Joe. It sounds like he has
Fuck
some
yeah.
experience.
What are you saying?
I think
past
he's
experience?
had the most. I mean, he's had the most people pick him.
Yeah.
Got a resume building up here.
Because
Yeah.
I feel like
Oh, actually, I'd choose Ignoble now. He's looking a little sad that I didn't pick him. So.
That's fine. That's fine.
Okay.
He
He
never
was
gets
getting all
picked.
excited.
He got the
whole
pity
explanation.
pick.
No,
I'll-
dude,
a
Sinferno
pick is a
just
pick.
picked him.
Well, they're
Oh,
based in India.
Finley
That's
Hams,
different.
dude. We gotta keep a
India.
running count of how many people have picked each other. Like we gotta.
We
have,
know
like,
who's
a-
number fucking one. I'll tell you that. Probably Joe. No?
I don't know. Hamzy gets picked a good bit. I don't know.
Look, I'll just say I think I'm
So-
the sleeper pick, honestly, and it's all right.
That's
It's because I'm a
true, yeah.
girl.
I
get
picked
it,
you, and
but-
yeah, I picked you.
People are
Yeah.
afraid to pick you because
We
you're.
People
can't
are afraid to pick
we
me, it's
can't
fine.
pick you. Yeah.
Yes, you can. Why
Zoe,
can't we pick me?
She's not going to
She
be
can
in the
strap
middle.
up.
I did
Yeah.
pick
I would like people to see me as somebody that they could be like comfortable exploring their sexuality with. Okay, that's the vibe I like to give off, you know, in a friendly
Yeah.
way. I'd like to
That's
be
fair.
somebody that you could at least discuss it with. Okay,
100%. Like
that's what I aim
if
to be.
if
Noted.
I'm in the middle of the Eiffel Tower and someone's got to be behind me, like I'm definitely gonna pick Zoe. I'm gonna feel
110.
comfortable.
Oh, yeah, I think Zoe would
Bro, I'm gonna be
Zoe-
cheering you on. Are you
Zoe
kidding?
would take
Yeah,
care of us.
She's gonna
yeah.
she's gonna take it easy. It's gonna she's gonna communicate. It's gonna be good.
Yeah.
The reason
Great.
I am scared to choose Zoe as my Eiffel Tower partner is I feel like I can't keep up. Like I would just not like I just be like I can't do this. Zoe, you're like you're just leagues better than me. I need somebody on
No,
my
that's
level.
valid.
You know?
That's
Yes,
valid.
the
Thank
Eiffel
you.
Tower goes beyond sex. It's really a connection.
It's a
of three
spiritual
souls.
connection.
Yes, it's really it really does go beyond that.
We're asking who you want to connect with and become close to in it using a sexual allegory.
It's not like
How
a
we gonna
fucking
have this
shitty Mormon cult.
We have this like super deep,
Yeah,
wholesome
maybe
podcast.
T Papa and I could do it with just like
There's
touch
gotta be some
priesthood
DJ.
fucking power.
That's where God is
got a
found.
fucking nun in
That's
the
where you
middle.
find God.
Christ.
That'd be good.
Is Joseph Smith in the middle?
Fuck that guy.
All right, one RuneScape question.
Yeah, if there's one on there.
Is
Let
there?
me
any?
see.
Yeah.
Of all your Clue expansion ideas, which would you most prefer to see come to the game? We have to ask one. I'm sorry, just one RuneScape question.
Oh,
It's
my
like,
God.
oh shit. we
Just,
gotta
just fucking. Just,
wait. Can you ask it one more time?
The question is basically asking like, what's your favorite Clue scroll expansion idea that you've had?
Clue Guild.
Nick!
I want the Clue Guild now.
Blue Guild would be
Ooh.
sick.
Just want a Clue Hunters
Hey,
Guild.
Nick.
But you can only use it if
Hello.
you've accomplished your
what the fuck?
It's Nemo. I mean Dory.
Yeah, what up?
Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, was that him talking?
You know, he's on there. Yeah, he's
Is
got
that like
yeah.
a super echo?
It's
Or like a
insane
super
how
delay?
like your jawline is face. You should just face your camera forward. You look at least 2 times more intimidating.
It's got that tasty jawline.
Yeah, I know.
Thanks.
It's Unique's jawline, actually. You can
Yeah.
exactly see mine. Like,
Yeah.
God damn.
He's the
Yeah,
Sorry.
thank you.
No,
Go
but
ahead,
for
Blue.
real,
Yeah.
Clue Guild, you can only get in there. Well, maybe it'll be like a farming guild, so you can get in like certain areas. But as soon as you become a Clue expert and you got all the like 600 beginners, 500 easies, so forth, then you get full expansion of it. And yeah, there's a lot that goes into that. I mean, I don't want to go through all the details, but I think a Clue Guild would be awesome. I was really disappointed that the Winter Summit didn't say anything about clues.
Yeah, it's weird
Bummed.
because I feel like a lot of people are on the like Clue train right now with
Mhm.
people like
100%, yeah.
reviving the completionist thing and everything.
Collection
It's
log gawk
interesting.
gawk.
They did
The
say
loggers.
Cloggers.
they said in the trailer, didn't they, that there would be something for completionists, or did I make that up?
I don't remember that. I don't think I watched the trailer though, so I'm probably.
Okay.
I didn't even watch the summit. I just got.
I didn't watch
the
the summit. Yeah, I just looked
Yeah, I
at
got the
Twitter after.
TLDR. Yeah.
You watched my ramble on it, right? Prison Jail?
I actually haven't yet.
I have not listened
bastards.
to that one yet.
Wow.
No, I interrupt
I
myself.
was on,
like
I
30
just got
times.
back from vacation.
I told you I listen to your rambles in shower segments. Like
yeah.
I continue it. So like I'm behind a couple of rambles, so I got to catch up.
You gotta
So,
shower more often, my guy.
I wanted to grab this question though, before we move on real quick. You take
Shower.
one RuneScape boss out of the game. Which one are you choosing? That's essentially what the question is.
Nightmare.
Everybody go real quick.
Baba and Nightmare, both of them.
Next.
The whole TOA raid.
Not Fasani's Nightmare, by the way. Normal Nightmare.
I don't want to lose a raid.
Dude, yeah, I don't.
Yeah, Nightmare.
Baba sucks.
Yeah, I take out both nightmares myself, just because I haven't done it. And I really don't want to do it.
Sire. I'm getting rid of Sire. Fuck Sire.
Fuck next.
Fire-
Next blows.
Jesus.
Sire's bad too, but at least you need the bludgeon. Like, there's nothing you fucking need from Nightmare. It's just.
I don't hate
completely
Sire
dead
as much as
content.
most people do. It was
Sire's
okay.
actually nice as soon as you get Dragon Claws. I love using Dragon Claws there.
I'm gonna
Or
try and
Tebow,
talk
it's not
as
that
little as
bad.
I can, but I feel like I feel like Nightmare is pretty cool. Like I feel like it's not a rewarding fight, but like
Fasani's is cool.
Fasani's
Yeah, I'm talking normal night. Nobody even knows what that
Okay,
is
okay.
anymore.
valid.
Just
Nick,
delete it at this point. It's just pointless.
Nick, you
In
have
fact, get
really
that whole
nice
pool. Just remove the pool and just put Fasani's where normal Nightmare is. You run past this like a beautiful looking thing that nobody ever interacts with because it's total dog shit, and you just run up to this other portal. So I'd say delete it.
True.
Yeah.
All right.
Cool.
I'm good to move on unless someone else wants to pluck one off of there. I don't really see anything else
No, I got
that I would like to ask.
tweet today, Prison Joe. You're gonna like this one. Oh wait, no, you already know it.
Actually, you know what? I'm gonna bring up one.
Okay.
What's your best dipping sauce for chicken nuggets? That's coming from Lukey. That's actually a decent one.
Okay, that's a good. That's
I
actually
eat a
good.
lot
I
of
didn't see
chicken
that.
nuggies.
Honey Mussy.
Ranch.
From
Anywhere. Some are better than others, but in general, Honey Mussy.
Ooh, that's a tough question.
Or Chick-fil-A.
Sweet and spicy.
Chick-fil-A sauce. I was about to say
I was
Chick-fil-A
about to
sauce.
say
Like, Jesus Christ, that
Chick-fil-
stuff's
probably-
good.
Probably Chick-fil-A sauce for me too.
Cane
Chick-fil-A
sauce.
sauce.
Really?
Or
Have you-
barbecue,
cane
depending on the day.
sauce.
A really good barbecue sauce. Just depends.
the Chick-fil-A's
I'm just
honey
gonna
barbecue is gas. All I'm gonna say that shit. The Chick-fil-A's honey barbecue hits so good.
Chick-fil-A sauces are just.
Do you feel like I feel like
Oh.
sauce is kind of like it's a mood thing because like it really
Yeah.
depends for me. Like it depends on the mood I'm in for what I'm gonna choose.
I would say my top 3 are. I don't know if you guys have ever had hot mustard from McDonald's.
Oh yeah, that's
Hot
actually
mustard. That shit is good with just like chicken nuggets. Like that is a go-to. And it's like very nostalgic because I used to eat it when I was like 6. You know. So like,
I need to
oh my
try
god,
that.
just- hot mustard there is good.
Sounds
They-
good.
Mhm. It's
Yeah.
McDonald's too, so it's like full of
Yeah.
fat. It's not even like the 0-calorie mustard you normally get. This
Nice.
shit's just like dense.
it's
But Chick-fil-A sauce and cane sauce, I would say. We don't have a Cane's here though. That's unfortunate.
Cookout sauce.
I like
Cookout
that.
sauce also hits.
Cookout
We had
sauce is
cookout
good.
here like twice, which is crazy
Spicy
because it was so
ketchup
good.
from Whataburger. Very good. I
Mm.
like the spicy ketchup is good. Solid
Fry
choice.
sauce
Yeah,
from
spicy
Freddy's also
ketchup.
really good.
What, Zoe?
The fry sauce from Freddy's.
Yep.
Good.
It's like Chick-fil-A sauce. It's similar.
Yeah, I don't feel like you can go wrong really with sauce. Like I'm not gonna roast anybody for your choice.
All right,
unless
my
it's
number
something
one.
crazy.
This is because I eat the chicken tendies all the time, and my go-to Parmesan garlic Buffalo Wild Wing sauce, and then you get the Buffalo Wild Wings like dry rub desert heat, and you do those two and you mix them both, and it's just like this Parmesan garlic spicy bomb, and it is so good. I probably eat it like 3 or 4 times a week.
Probably
It's like
experimenting. I like that.
it's my
Three
favorite.
to 4 times
So
a week.
hungry.
Hold on.
It's like what I eat. I just eat, I just
Bro,
got
honestly, though,
I don't
if-
eat out. I don't eat out. I just eat at
Guys, you
home.
don't
I
eat
don't
out, it's
DoorDash.
healthy.
I just got the tendies in the freezer, and I just go eat up the tendies and throw the sauce on them.
If
My
T
older brother
Papa
does.
was a guy selling sauce, I would buy it though. Like if
I would
I
too.
saw you on a
Oh,
bottle of
100%.
sauce,
People that eat
like,
a lot of
it's gonna be
chicken
good
tenders
sauce,
like
yeah.
know their sauces.
Yeah, I ain't fucking
trust them.
around. I eat
You gotta
it.
work. You gotta get a job at Addison, bro, and just like upsell sauce or something.
Oh, dude, that'd be a good one. I would do that.
Dude, let's go with based merch, and we'll make like those little glass bottles and put T Papa's face on it. Like it has like Newton's
Based
Ranch,
sauce.
except it's like based sauce and T Papa's face,
Damn.
I'm down.
and it's just regular Heinz ketchup inside.
No. Disgusting.
That'd be good, yeah.
Dude, you know what's really good? I don't know if we talked about it on the Saeder cast with you too, but I was talking about nut butters, you know? I've been getting really into nut butters, just not nut butters, but you know what I mean. But this pumpkin seed butter has changed my life. Get it at Sprouts, tasty.
I did. I'll go to Sprouts like next time I go shopping.
Listen.
100%.
Get all the stuff I already showed, but if you want to. But pumpkin seed butter is so good. It's such a weird consistency too, but it's absolutely phenomenal. And if you get like some little graham crackers or something and dip it in it, it's actually like one of the greatest snacks. It's actually OP. But yeah, huge fan. You guys should try it. Pumpkin seed butter.
I don't like pumpkin butter. I'm gonna
Does
be
it
honest.
pair well with bread?
It's
or
not
no?
Almond butter
pumpkin.
girl
It's
all
not.
the way.
It's not
Sorry,
pumpkin butter.
seed butter. I'm not a fan.
It has
Is
no.
it-
It has no taste of pumpkin. It's just like the
It's
seed.
just-
You know.
The texture's not there for me. Almond butter is my like one and only.
Nah, I don't even like almond butter anymore because of how great other nut butters are. Pistachio butter just tops it extremely.
Whatever, man.
Got a wine.
You ever had pistachio butter?
I've never had pistachio.
No, I
I
actually
love
that sounds good.
pistachios,
Pistachio
but
butter's
God
absolutely phenomenal.
damn, are they expensive, man? Fucking.
Y'all ever had pistachio Oreos? I mean, come on,
That sounds so good.
they're so good.
I've never had that.
I'm down for anything.
Pistachio ice cream.
Yes,
Yeah.
the
I
best.
I haven't done that in a
It's all
minute. I haven't
good.
had my
Shit
face
hits.
cam stream on. That felt good.
Tweets?
Let's send it.
Yeah.
I got 2 good ones today.
You guys
Saeder,
made me
did
too
you bring any,
hungry.
by the way, or no?
Oh,
You cook up any
Man.
heat? I didn't either. I'm gonna be honest.
I'll tweet one of mine and then someone else can take the other one.
Okay.
All right, I might need
Enjoy.
one. I have one, but I realize it's like, it's not good. It's not good. I feel Nick good.
T Papa tweet or what?
Oh,
Wait,
wait,
he's
here,
coming back on his
He's back.
computer.
He's
That's all
back.
that's happening.
Okay.
Oh, no, never mind.
Oh gosh.
No, I feel like this is. I just feel like this tweet could get me canceled, but I'm just gonna say it anyways because
Let
it's
it
the
rip,
Based
let it
After
rip.
Dark
That's fine.
concept.
We're on YouTube. Go ahead.
Diversify your portfolio, boys. Invest in a fat girl.
Oh, dude.
I like it.
Zoe laughed.
I
Send
like
it.
Yeah, you can tweet it. You can tweet it.
Really? I feel like it's
Yeah.
bad.
No, that's acceptable. You've tweeted worse things, bro. Are you
You
serious?
tweeted way worse.
Yeah, like honestly.
It's honestly nice.
Yeah, it's a joke. It's a
Shout out
joke.
the fat
It's a
chicks.
joke. It's clearly.
If you
Okay.
take fat as a derogatory term, that's on you.
Yeah.
You know
It's
what?
just an adjective.
If someone
Thank
says
you,
something
guys.
crazy, respond to it and just say, "I used to be fat." That's all I gotta say.
To be fat.
Yeah, I used to be fat.
I can
All
get
right.
that joke. I have a fat friend.
All right. I'll hit send when we're all ready to go.
Yeah, we can sync up. Everybody, hold your tweet until we get synced up.
I am.
Who's up?
I'll let him rip real quick. All right.
I'll go
The
for
first
you.
one. Do British people ask for meter pics?
Oh my
That's
god.
so good.
So dumb.
So good. So good.
That's
They went right
So
over my
Fire.
head. I don't. it went over
Yeah.
my head.
Feet. You get it?
Meter, feet,
Yeah.
meter.
Oh, okay. I got
That
you.
was pretty good.
That's pretty
That's
fire.
You have to
Very
make sure it's
American
RE and not ER.
That's really good.
Oh, that's actually a good point. I didn't even think
Yeah.
about that.
Yeah.
This is
Our-
the workshop. There we
holy
go.
shit,
Look at
Zoe, That's
that.
so good.
Workshop is
Yeah.
working.
Oh, wait, no. I said this one last time on the Destructo cast, didn't I? The microwave one.
Maybe.
No,
like
just
that.
read it.
I like
Send it.
my microwaves like I like my women, clean, hot, and ready to kill any baby I put inside of them.
Jesus.
You did not read that.
Oh my
Did
god,
not
did
read that, but that is
dude,
that's a lot.
that is wild. I love
Just let
that.
Zoe tweet that. That'd be good.
That's
The she they let me she them titties. Or
That's
something.
really good.
I like that one too. Those are all heaters, dude. Holy shit.
Yeah, those are great.
I like the Cole.
Just
I like the
schedule
Coleman's
them,
tweet.
honestly.
That one was funny.
Schedule them.
Saeder's just like, we just spent like 3 hours being super wholesome. Now we're talking about microwaving babies. I don't know how I feel about
It's the
this.
circle.
okay.
It's the,
It's all right.
I
Way
love
to
the
get it out.
dichotomy of man,
been-
baby.
We've been holding it in. That reminded me of the Coleman's tweet about he's something about transitioning and that took balls. I forgot what he tweeted.
yeah, I
That
saw
was
that
pretty
one.
funny. That was a funny one.
I don't
I'll
have
read
anything
mine.
good. Oh, sorry.
I just got
I'll
one.
just
You want me to go? Sorry. You
Talk now.
want me to go?
go right ahead.
Are you sure?
Yep. Yeah, you can
Okay.
do it.
I'm sorry I
wanna go?
interrupted you. Yeah,
No,
I
no,
got
no.
it.
You can go. It's okay.
I got it. I got it.
Go ahead.
I say
No, no, no,
Zoe
that's
goes
all right.
Mine is my cousin got bit by a gay dude, so we'll see what happens.
That's pretty good.
Ah, dude, from you, that's really good.
That's pretty good.
Okay, I'll send that.
That's
Mine's
pretty
like,
nice, actually.
mine last week was good, but this one's not good.
Go ahead.
Real world trade don't count if it's with the homies.
No, because then
There's
they're gonna look at
potential,
our accounts. I
but
want to be bold
Don't
you
do
guys.
that.
So,
yeah.
you know.
Hmm.
They're gonna investigate my account. I don't need that. I'm good.
He really does not need that, actually.
You really don't. Yeah, I don't know about that one, T Papa. The only one
Yeah,
I had.
it's not amazing. I know.
This is a real workshop one. Okay, this is like genuine workshop. I have a screenshot of Tasty's latest YouTube video where he's laying in bed. It's his hands, and the tweet says he's typing a tweet that says, "I think allowing women like Zoe Pancakes to play RuneScape is what is ultimately killing the community. We should not let women play." And I just feel like it has potential for a good caption. I don't have the caption, but I have the screenshot there just in case.
smart.
You know?
I actually like a format. I like.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen
Yeah.
the screenshot in your the
yeah,
After
of
Dark
course.
channel?
Yeah,
let
I'm
me,
gonna read this. We could probably shop something up for sure.
Hold on.
Nick, should I add any emojis to my tweet? It's just my cousin got bit by a gay dude, comma. So we'll see what happens.
Nah, you could leave no emojis on that.
Okay,
No
all right.
emojis.
I'll leave
Yeah.
I'll leave it blank.
All right.
I don't know what's going on with my internet, by the way. I still no internet.
Sorry.
Damn, dude.
Odd
Sorry.
black. It's kind of hard to read.
Yeah, it is. They probably could make your video a bit higher quality or something, but I don't know. I just felt like it had a little potential. That's
No,
all
I
I got.
filmed it
got
on
nothing.
my phone because my camera battery
okay.
was dead, so that's why it's dog shit.
Gotcha.
Wait, you took a photo of?
Damn, he got
yourself
2
like that?
phones.
That's
Damn.
my old iPhone. That doesn't even work. I just opened up Twitter and like.
Yeah, then I got nothing. Sorry.
I
You
like
can
where you're going,
workshop that a
though.
bit. I like the idea of it.
I haven't really been tweeting recently. Like, I'm just a responder. I don't really even. Do y'all ever just have times where you're like, I didn't even think that I existed on social media. I'd just be looking at stuff, and then I'm like, wait, I could also post that too, but that doesn't occur to me on the daily.
Whenever I
anything.
don't stream for 2 days, I forget that I exist on the internet.
Yeah, I completely forget too. Because I have like all my notifications turned off too. So I'll
Zoe,
randomly check and get like 300 followers and be like, where did that?
I would
didn't
just
do
like to say,
anything.
Zoe, I can tell when you wake up because I have your tweet notifications on from like the "Hey babe, wake up" stuff, and I can literally tell when you're like on Twitter because it'll be like 10 Zoe notifications of you replying to like everyone's tweets. It's pretty
I get
good.
it all done in the morning.
Oh my gosh.
It's good.
After
Networking.
meditation, right?
Yeah, I saw you
I'm
call
working.
Hunter a sexist today. That was nice. Thank you. That was
Bro,
funny.
he sent me the fucking screenshot of what he was gonna say. I'll show you. Hold on.
Was it not good?
Dude, what happened?
Was he
Where
gonna
was the
double down
tweet?
on sexism?
Oh,
What
okay.
did
So
he
somebody
say?
was talking about how
It's
people
funny.
are embedding their streams like really small, like 1 pixel onto whatever fucking website so that they can get extra views and it works towards ad revenue and stuff. And who was it? I think it was maybe Tedious said like, oh, I hope like they should put my stream in 1 pixel on like the collection log page of the wiki so that I get the extra views, like in the ad revenue and stuff like that. Oh, I gotta find it. Hold on. I'm sorry.
So far, this is funny. I like this.
Hold on. We're getting there. Give me 1 second.
We're getting
One
to
second.
the sexism. This is my favorite part.
We're getting there. Yes. Hold on. Okay. Yeah. So Tedious just quote tweeted this tweet and said he's onto something. Can someone embed my stream as a 1 pixel unviewable image on the collection log wiki page real quick? And then Hunter replied and said, "This has been known about and a thing for years. It's not borderline viewbotting. It's legit TOS friendly viewbotting, and the views count for ad revenue too. Devin Nash made a video about it a year ago. Like." Okay, So I was like, okay, so what website you gonna put me on? That's what I said with the money eyes emoji. And he said, that could have been worded better, Zoe. So I said, sexism in broad daylight. And then he DM'd me and he said,
What do you mean?
he DM'd me a screenshot of him saying like, yeah, I was gonna tweet OnlyFans. And then I was like, yeah, nah. And I was like, oh, Hunter, you're so funny. That's
Damn,
really-
bro. He
Damn,
funny and edgy at the same
Dude.
time.
Damn,
I
dude.
didn't get it at first. I'm not gonna lie, and I'm a raging sexist. I feel like I
Yeah.
should be better
Me
at this.
too. I'm the
Common.
biggest fucking like fake
Yeah, but he's
misogynist on the
British.
internet.
You gotta cut him a break. Like it's just they're behind.
No, I just thought it was funny. Yeah. You just the trends will get there. They'll figure it out.
It takes a
eventually.
while for it to like travel across the
Tamagotchis.
waters.
Did you
Yeah.
know that? They just got Tamagotchis.
No comment.
That's a comment.
Damn, they're real behind. You think
Like
women will
Nick
be able to
staring
vote
into
there
my
soon?
soul.
I
Damn,
hope
dude. They'll show their ankles one day, bro. I swear.
Hopefully.
All right, Nick, what you got?
I can't
hell yeah.
open Twitter without my video disconnecting.
Oh man.
All right, save it for next
Really?
week.
I just had a tweet that I was gonna put out where I said if I don't get some pussy soon, I'm gonna start saying some racist shit. That's like-
Dude, can you please send that with us? Please just send it.
Gosh.
I was thinking maybe I could flip it to like misogyny though. Like I could blame women instead of saying racist shit. But
You
I think
think
it's pretty
that
funny.
misogyny is better than racism?
I think misogyny is
It
more
makes
popular
more
in the RISC
sense.
community than sexism.
You could say like if I don't get some pussy soon, I'm a sympathize with incels or something like that. I don't know. There's something there.
I should just drop the I'm gonna start saying some racist shit. But,
I like that the most. That hits the
Yeah.
hardest.
It's a funny one,
Yeah.
yeah.
all right.
if I don't get
Hopefully
some
nobody
pussy
thinks I'm
soon, I'm
racist.
about to start following Andrew or some shit like that. I don't know.
I'm dying. Andrew Tate. Fuck him.
Are we ready to send?
Wait, so what do you guys think? Should I do
Oh,
microwaves, she, they, or the meter picks one?
Meter first.
Meter.
Then
Meter.
she, they,
Meter.
then microwave.
yeah.
Okay.
Those are all tweetable. Like they're
Those are all
good.
those are all great.
Yeah.
Probably save this for later.
Yeah, if
in
you
the
don't
week.
want the nuking the baby one, I'll do that one too, because it aligns with the whole fuck pregnant bitches vibe like I put off. So
Yeah.
if you just
Yeah.
if you feel like
I
not
get
doing that one,
5 gifted is yours.
okay.
You guys see this tweet?
Did we click send yet?
All right.
Sent.
3, 2, 1. I'm hitting.
Sent.
God, I'm gonna fucking wake up tomorrow morning just
I'm gonna
like
have to send
base
mine
is
after
canceled.
the podcast.
Please like my tweet. Uniques, please like my tweets so they don't come after me.
I can't like it till after, bro.
Bro, I need you to like it now. What the
I
fuck?
can't close. I can't leave. I'm stuck in this call.
Oh fuck!
I mean, I've come out as a power bottom, so they can't be mad.
Wait,
Saeder, do you have any?
Wasn't Tasty supposed to put the R before the E?
Yeah, what the fuck?
Yeah,
You
it's
fucked up.
fine.
Whatever. Americans will understand this one at least.
Linguistics
same
degree.
thing.
They'll be like, "What is Metra?"
Mitra.
I don't see the Zoe one. Where is it?
What's Zoe one?
Oh no, you decided not to do it. Okay, yeah. Never mind.
Yeah, I had no heat this week. I didn't exist this week. I was on vacation. Okay, give me a break.
That's
I
fair.
don't
That's
think
fair.
it-
We'll figure it out. Oh,
Awesome.
do you want to throw these videos up, T Papa? Somebody
you
put
said-
some in there.
You
No,
said
you
said
Ignoble's doing it. Ignoble's
Ignoble-
recording.
I got
so-
her.
Ignoble.
Okay,
You
fine.
ruined your tweet. You said diversity. Your portfolio,
Oh,
boys.
delete it. Ignoble,
Oh, it's
delete it.
ruined, dude.
Okay,
Everybody's
I'm
fucking up,
resending
dude.
it.
What is going
Retweet
on?
it.
I didn't fuck up. My tweet was just bad to begin with.
I'm deleting. I'm
Almost good.
remaking, boys. I'm sorry.
All right.
Dirty delete, man.
All right, well,
Oh,
Saeder.
Yeah.
It's been a pleasure.
I don't
Yeah,
know.
I
awesome.
wanna
thank
wrap-
you
I've
guys.
never ended one of these. I don't want to do it. I just
No, it's up to you,
do it.
Zoe.
No,
Do it.
I'm
You
ready.
can do
I'm
it.
ready
You
for
can
the
do it.
Zoe
Come on, do it.
ending.
I'm
You
a
can do
woman.
it.
I'm not good at
You
things.
can do it.
Well, Saeder, it
You're
really has
great.
been lovely.
Finally,
I want
somebody
Zoe to do
does
it.
Yeah.
Okay,
What
I'll
are
do
your
it,
some
fine.
closing thoughts? Go ahead.
Closing thoughts. I think I think a lot of us took inspiration from you and your podcast when we started this. So it's really cool to see that you are, enjoying it. You're a fan. You like being on it. I feel like we have like a really good symbiosis going, and it's beautiful to see. This was like a really refreshing podcast. I hope maybe the viewers heard something that resonated with them. I think that we all at least heard one thing in this call that resonated with us. So I think this has been a lovely experience. Do you have any closing thoughts, Saeder?
Thank you guys for having me. You guys are all awesome. Ignoble, you're a king. Seth, keep doing your thing. I'm glad you went full time. Seriously, it's awesome. Nick,
Appreciate it.
we better see each other in Mexico. Tasty from YouTube, you're a beast. Keep at it. T Papa, I fucking miss you, man, and I feel like we connect way more than we think we do. And Zoe, thanks for being here, and just keep being a fucking queen.